First time.
Fucking shit, this fucking timeline is lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow, this fucking timeline is all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Fucking shit, this fucking timeline is lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow, this fucking timeline is all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Fucking shit, this fucking timeline is lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow, this fucking timeline is all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Fucking shit, this fucking timeline is lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow, this fucking timeline is all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Holy fucking shit, this fucking timeline is lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow, this fucking timeline is all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Holy fucking shit, this fucking timeline is lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow, this fucking timeline is all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Holy fucking shit, this fucking timeline is lit all over.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Mihaly Sogor. We are back with another edition of the Ciderhouse. The Ciderhouse Rules, a 1985 novel by American writer John Irving that no one has ever read before about children who perform abortions on other children, and we like that. Joining me today is Kale.
Hi. What was that? What in the world? I didn't know that.
And along with Kale, we have the world famous, the one, the only, John Ward.
What's going on? Oh, shit.
Running in from a cigarette break.
I was having a cigarette, getting the other Ciderhouse channel working. You can now watch Ciderhouse on its own YouTube channel. It's at Ciderhouse Podcast on YouTube. I'm probably not in focus. Can't really tell. I'm blind.
No,
But
you're
good to me.
we're going to stay on this channel also. We're going to do both at the same time for the time being. But just FYI, there's its own channel out there.
And next to John Ward, Mr. Michael Scott.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can speak with your chest.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Mia. How's everyone doing today?
Well, not too bad, not too bad. But before I forget, last but not least, Mr. Jack Kentner.
Jack.
What's up, everybody? What is up? Hope you're all doing having a great holiday month so far.
Happy
We're
birthday,
not near
Jack.
Christmas yet, but oh yeah, thank you. It is.
We're
my
getting
birthday.
audio is very low, Mihai.
Audio low.
So here, I'm gonna come over there and help you for a second. But somebody keep talking about something.
Well,
Yeah, happy birthday, Jack. How
yeah,
you spent
it's
your
Jack's birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
What'd you do? What'd you do?
Yeah. I went out to eat steak. Watched a couple movies today. They weren't Christmas movies though.
Oh, okay. Are these movies from Kinoflex?
I don't think it is. I think they're
Your
trolling,
YouTube
John.
channel?
Now they're kind of old movies. I saw this one neo noir called Night Moves. It's a detective thriller. Pretty good. I also saw a David Cronenberg movie called Spider. That was also good, but it didn't have any body horror, which is what Cronenberg is known for. It's a
Really?
it's a great
Body horror.
schizophrenic.
This guy said up 10 decibels. I think he's trolling you, John.
Huh?
Who said it?
The OG tilt.
So wait, what do you mean by body horror? Like chopping off like arms or?
Yeah, something like that. So like, have you ever seen the movie The Fly? Like,
Yeah, he's known for
Videodrome.
Cronenberg is known for his body horror. Jesus,
You talking about the one with the birds?
Do you guys like that kind of stuff though?
I do.
The one where the birds
Yeah.
terrorize that small town in
Yeah.
New England?
No, that's
Oh,
what?
no, I think that's
no,
something else.
that's what's that director? What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Hitchcock.
I knew that one.
The movie's called The Birds.
Yeah.
Yes,
word.
yes.
Yeah.
Go Birds. Nah, it's like
I don't know
Have you
what
seen the
you're talking about.
ripoff version?
Funnily
Have you
enough,
seen
we now sound lower to ourselves.
I turned our headphones down to turn the. You want to boost each of our headphones just a tiny bit?
Yeah.
Not too much.
Have you guys seen the ripoff Birds movie Birdemic?
I think I have actually, Jack.
sounds like Sharknado.
Sharknado 2.0.
In a lot of ways, it is. But in case you guys didn't know, I have a side channel called Kinoflex. I uploaded a movie review of the new Transformers movie, and I'm happy with the reception it's been getting.
No hate.
Congratulations, Jack.
Wow, I love
Is
that.
it? Hold
Yeah,
on,
on his
because I
birthday,
do
too.
hear, I do see people that I know do watch. The audio is actually low. You're saying, chat, is that genuinely true? Because everything on our end looks good. It looks like it's going out pretty loud, and we do get trolled on that. But I see some people that I do know watch regularly. Oh, there we go.
There's the chap.
Yeah.
Particularly Chronic. Up just a bit, he says. Is anybody else having audio issues? This could also be because we're doing 2 YouTube channels or something like that.
Yeah, I can hear you guys just fine on my end.
So this is what I don't understand. Because I know Chronic locks all the time too low.
Thank you, Chronic.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
If you're not lying. No, I'm just
The
kidding.
Room, Samurai Cop.
kidding.
I
Yes,
still
those are
don't trust 'em.
classics, Jim.
Oh,
Do you want me to just crank everything?
Everything is pretty cranked. But see, now I have other people saying it's acceptable, a little low, too quiet. All right, I'm now trusting it is genuinely too quiet. So you guys keep going. I'll get it fixed.
all right.
Okay. But yeah, Kale, you said that, speaking of movies, Kale, you said you wanted to do an icebreaker for Christmas movies, like
Ye-
best and worst.
Yeah, I was gonna say best and worst. I can't even think of worst right now because
Oh,
I
I
know.
can.
Well, I hope your worst isn't my best because that'll
It's
make
a
me
hot
feel
take.
really bad. That'll make there are
Yep.
wrong answers.
No, there are
wrong
right answers. There
we
are
should start
right
off with
Who,
Jack. 'cause I
who
feel
wants
like,
to go first?
No, you, Jack. Because
Yeah, Jack, it's your birthday. You go first.
Okay. So the worst Christmas movies, I would say, are every Hallmark movie,
Oh
every
my
Hallmark Christmas
gosh.
movie ever made.
Yes.
And on
Sexist.
so on that, like, if I were to just give one,
Yeah.
I would say Love Actually. That is the worst Christmas movie because it feels like 8 different Hallmark movies just
You just
put
hate
into
women.
one.
You just hate
a
women.
long compilation.
You hate
yeah, I do.
women.
They have terrible taste in movies. But
Okay.
like I am a film snob, so I could give like several obscure answers. But I'm just on principle. I'm gonna say Die Hard because despite what people will say, it is in fact a Christmas movie.
Nobody's going to start that conversation with you tonight, Jack. That's not the point of the stream.
Okay, but
I'm going
a
to
lot
shoot
of
you
people
down right
feel-
there.
A lot of
We're going to shoot you down
a lot
right
of
there
pe-
about that.
I'm laughing
no,
because someone
but
said.
seriously, a lot of people feel that Die Hard being a Christmas movie is simply people trying to be edgy about the holiday, but it does have genuine holiday themes related to it.
Okay.
So-
valid.
Yeah.
Well, my confession is I've never seen Die Hard.
That's
I've
wild.
never seen Die Hard,
and I like
wow.
Bruce Willis a lot. I haven't seen it.
How do you like Bruce Willis, but you've never seen Die Hard? What
Yeah.
movies of
It
his do you
happens.
like? I don't understand.
There's so many
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, he's great in
Well,
that.
Yeah, Sixth Sense, stuff like that. No, I like Bruce Willis a lot, but I haven't seen Die Hard. At least not in its entirety.
Yes, Jay, thank you.
No, whoever said Happy 10th Birthday Jack is crazy. Wait, so is Love Actually, who does that have?
I will never watch that
Hugh,
movie,
does
so.
it have the Hugh guy, Hugh Grant, and Julia Roberts, or no?
It has Rick Grimes in it.
Rick
the actor who plays Rick
Grimes.
Grimes from Walking Dead. Yeah.
Like Jay said, make sure you
Oh.
like the stream so we can try to get back into YouTube's good graces at least a little bit.
Okay, interesting.
Might never happen, but still,
Okay.
for John's sake.
Mike,
Oh, it
you're-
really should be good. I have everything all the way up, everything on the computers all the way up.
Yeah. Now my ears are getting raped.
It's not. Well, you can turn
Wow.
that down independently.
What a word.
Did your ears attend a Diddy party?
Oh,
My ears were
Jay-Z.
consensually assaulted.
Jay-Z, more like it. Anyways.
all right.
Michael, what's your favorite best and worst?
Okay.
Quickly.
We're
My-
doing
my-
the icebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite is not. My favorite's not.
Yeah, welcome to the conversation, John.
It's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
It's not bad. Not
I agree.
bad.
That is a really
ultimate
good one.
classic. Then worst movie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be a little bit controversial
You started
here.
with best?
I hate. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Thank you, OG
Elf.
Tilt and Chronic, by the way.
Yeah,
okay.
That is
also
such a bad
I
take.
wholeheartedly
fair.
agree. That was gonna be
No.
my worst. I hate
Oh,
Elf.
both of you.
No,
I hate Elf.
because again, I'm not really a fan overall of comedies. I understand National Lampoon
Same.
is a comedy, but like Elf is the kind of comedy that makes me sit there and I'm like, my brain is literally dying. Like,
Okay.
like I just can't
There are
watch
jokes
it.
to be
I just
made
can't
there. I
do
won't
it.
make those jokes. Okay, well, that's a bad take. I don't respect you. No, Elf is funny, and I don't even like comedies. I don't even love Will
What part
Ferrell.
about it is funny?
All of it.
Which scene?
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. The dad who plays the guy who plays the dad, I think his name is Jim Can. He's from The Godfather. He's such a good straight guy. Like, I don't know. He makes me
Straight
laugh.
guy as in not gay? What do you mean?
Of course you think that, my
Straight man,
Mihai.
as in
straight man.
he's someone who reacts to the jokes.
Don't explain
Yeah.
it. He doesn't understand. It's okay, Jack. Yeah. Okay, I'd say probably my worst film would be Christmas with the Cranks. I've only seen it one time.
That's actually not bad.
No, it's not bad.
I've
It's
never
just
seen it.
like
no.
of all
as
the ones
a,
I've
like
seen.
as a take for worst, I that's down there.
All right,
Oh,
best
okay.
Christmas movie. What's the one with Arnold?
I'm sorry, I'm not done yet, sir.
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle all the way.
Wait.
I saw that yesterday, actually.
Let the woman finish.
We will fight outside
last
in
thing I
30
want to hear.
seconds. Okay. Anyways, so I would say, yeah, Christmas with the Cranks is probably my worst. I would say my best is Home Alone 2, which I feel like is a very easy answer. And this is a hot take. I don't hate Home Alone 3. I don't hate Home Alone 3.
I kind of
Ooh.
despise all three Home Alones.
Despise.
Yeah, they're kind of down there
All
too.
Do you
Three.
know what that word means? Despise?
Yeah.
You don't? Okay. All right. No, Home Alone 2 is great.
Turbo Man.
Yeah. So wait, Michael, does that mean you like the Home Alone movies after the first three, or you hate those two?
No, I just like. Again, all the Home Alone movies fit into the same sort of like. There's a certain kind of Christmas movie I just don't like, and all of them fit into that. The only ones I ever like, yeah, all of the basically give me a Christmas Carol and I'll usually like it, or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Those are like the two constants.
I like the
about
DuckTales
Christmas.
version of Christmas Carol with Scrooge
Yeah.
McDuck.
Yeah.
I will say, Michael, like Christmas Vacation is one of my definitive Christmas movies. So
Oh,
you're right on that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, my favorite Thanksgiving movie. We didn't talk about this on Thanksgiving, but Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Such a solid comedy.
Another good one. I
It's
agree,
a very
yeah.
good movie.
Has anybody said a Christmas story?
Yeah.
No.
That's
I don't really
also
get the hype.
overrated.
Is that
I
the
don't
one
get
with
a
the
hype.
every time a bell rings, an angel gets swings?
No,
No,
that's the one with the
that's-
BB gun and you'll shoot
one-
your eye
it-
out.
I don't
That's
really
what
like
I
that. I'm
should
not
have
gonna lie. I don't really think that's that good movie.
It's incredible.
It's great vibes.
The parents,
Great vibes.
the parents are good in that movie, and I will agree with you, Mihai. Maybe I might want to switch my worst. It's a Wonderful Life is just so pessimistic.
Did you just say that? That's the
What?
worst?
Yes, I
That's
can't
the best
stand it.
Christmas
No, I
movie.
can't stand it. And I get that at the end it's supposed to be hopeful. Oh, they lift him up finally after a whole movie. I don't care. It's 3
You thrive on
It's
outrage.
3 hours of shitting on people before you get to that point. I just don't want to sit through those 3 hours of just shitting on this human being. Like, please, it's Christmas. Like, National Lampoon's, at least the shitting on the main characters has, pays off in the end, and it doesn't take 3.5 hours to get there. You have some fun along the way.
So do you just hate old movies in general? Or?
No, Like,
Okay.
like there's, now I can't think of it. Donald Trump's favorite movie is up there as one of my, Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane?
is
I wouldn't call that a
fantastic.
Christmas movie.
Well,
No, he's just
I'm
saying
just saying
old
like old
movies in
movies in
general.
general. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
okay.
what do you classify as an old movie?
Before 1960, probably. Then there's
So
this,
black and white.
then there's
Yeah.
then there's the 60s to 70s, which is this gray area. They're usually westerns in there that I like. Then after that, it transitions to like the 70s, so you get into the cult classic films. Then you have the 80s, which there's some very good and some very bad.
Okay.
90s films pretty solid, especially for horror.
Peak.
And then after that is all modern. Past 2000, I usually lump kind of into the same group.
I don't hate them, just most of them. OGTLT is pretty funny. Okay, Mihai and John.
John.
Best and worst.
What
best
was
and
the
worst.
question?
John just said his
Best
favorite.
Christmas
Best
movie and worst
and
Christmas
worst
movie.
Christmas
Do it
movies.
quick so we can wrap this up and move on. Run past schedule.
Indifferent, honestly. I do. A Christmas Story is a bit nostalgic. Die Hard. Does anybody say Die Hard for the best?
Jack did.
Jack.
I said mine. Yeah, for me. People say that's not a Christmas movie, but it fully is.
It's a Christmas movie.
Okay.
Worst Christmas movie? Oh, there's a shit ton. Something on Hallmark. I don't know.
Why so
That's
much
literally
Hallmark?
what I said.
It's
You
almost
literally
like
gave
John
mine.
wasn't
Women
here for the
hatred.
first 15 minutes.
Women hatred.
Is that what
it's
Jack
okay.
said? I would believe
You
Jack
just-
and I have similar.
Repeated everything everyone said.
They just hate
opinions.
love. They hate love. They hate love.
I soaked it all up by osmosis while I was listening to you guys, I guess, or something. But hey, I heard we were like doing a show not about Christmas movies.
I know, it's just a way for us to like
It's just an
mask
icebreaker.
our technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's a good introduction.
Am I hosting, Mihai?
No, I'm here. I'm letting them know we're going in here. These are the topics. And we're going back now. We're gonna hit Daniel Penny and Jack. Is this your topic or who was this?
What are we talking-
It wasn't mine.
We don't have to. I don't think anybody
I think
officially
it's just a
claimed
general
that one.
topic for us all to all talk about. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Yeah, we can just play this and yeah,
He's just like
Daniel
me,
Penny,
for real.
who's been accused of murdering Jordan Neely on New
Well,
York
maybe
City's
chat. You
subway
can let
train,
us know,
has
but
been-
I don't know that we need to play a 2-minute video about it. I
We
would
don't.
imagine everybody's pretty familiar with this. But give us the details on who Daniel Penny is, Jack. Just the quick
Yeah,
story.
so Daniel Penny, he's a 24-year-old working class veteran who was riding New York City subway train, and Jordan Neely, a former Michael Jackson impersonator, and like a repeat felon who's been arrested like more than 40 times
On drug charges.
Started harassing a bunch of people on the train, saying, I'm gonna hurt all of you. I'm gonna kill somebody. I don't care if I go to jail, et cetera, et cetera. And like people felt really unsafe by him. So Daniel Penny took the initiative to restrain him, and because he kept on resisting, Jordan, there weren't any cops or anything. Penny and other passengers had to restrain Neely, and afterwards he died. And people Penny was prosecuted afterwards, and they said that they tried to present it as a racially provoked attack when there was no evidence for that. A lot of the people that he was defending, actually, who were black, Hispanic, etc., outright said that Penny saved them. They said that he's a hero, but he still went to trial anyway. And so he went through a couple months worth of trials, and ultimately he was found innocent. And I think this is a great outcome. But a lot of people, namely on the left, think that it was unjustified and that he, like Kyle Rittenhouse, is a murderer, even though I would say it's just clear self-defense.
All I want to say on this topic is that Daniel Penny is just like me, for real. Love him. Second,
What does that mean?
It's a meme. Second of all, he is everything that Kyle Rittenhouse tried to be but failed at.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
okay. Well, he
Kyle Rittenhouse.
give us some time.
Kyle Rittenhouse ended up. Well, that is also true. I will never forgive Kyle Rittenhouse for selling us out and then 2 hours later backtracking because of all the hate he got from
Oh,
Trump
is this
supporters who had helped get him out of that situation to begin with.
Is this
Kinda like
about
Caitlin Clark just
not
did?
endorsing Trump?
Yes,
what
this
did
is
she
about
do?
not endorsing Trump. That whole situation, I will never forget that.
He's a
and
private-
people shouldn't forget that.
I think that's our fault. We gave him too much of a say. Like we gave him too much of a platform too
That is
quickly.
true.
He's a victim. He's a victim, and he happens.
He's a victim.
He is a victim. He's a victim of a terrible system, of a terrible media, of a terrible. Something's going on. Am I too loud? Anyways,
No,
but
he's just being an asshole.
No,
Yeah,
you're like
he's
right
a-
back where you started now, though.
It's
But-
a little bit up. That's good. It's good
so
here.
am I supposed to believe that Daniel Penny's 24? Does he look 24?
Wait, he's 24.
No.
Am I tripping?
When he has
The
a
better-
beard,
like-
he actually looks younger, in my opinion. Like I
Yeah.
think he looks like 28, 29 without the beard. With the beard, I say he's 24.
I've never
Yeah.
seen him with the beard.
Yeah.
When he has the beard going, he looks exactly like you would suspect that is a veteran of the U.S. Marines. When he has
I'm very
beard.
Yeah,
happy that he
serving
was a
serving
good
definitely
person.
ages you.
Well, yeah, we can confirm.
So he was a totally acquitted and on all, everything, everywhere, and forever, correct, Daniel Penny?
Pretty much.
Yep.
This is true.
Yep. And
It
then
was
did
a-
you see
It was a rare win.
this?
Though Neely's family is going to take him to civil court and try to get money.
Oh yeah, this is
civilly from
playable.
him.
19 seconds. Let's all be oppressed, except for you, Kale. You get to enjoy your black privilege.
Vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us.
There's nothing you can do about it. This is just a
Kill
quiet
us
video.
For being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired.
Tired.
We need some-
Dad, why is he missing?
Kale,
a tooth?
are you
Tired and I want to
I'm
go
tired
home.
of being tired.
I'll tell
Have
you
guys
what,
heard that before?
black people, that gentleman in particular, if you're ever on a subway and I come on there and start threatening to kill everyone, you can go ahead and choke me out.
Same.
I will
Yeah, and I gotta
I'll allow it.
And this is worth repeating. Like black people were victims of Neely. Like they were, like one of the witnesses on the stand said that she thanked
I do-
Penny for what he did.
I think that's why he got
It's
off.
total nonsense.
Yeah, there was enough reason.
There was also
It's because Trump won as
a
well.
black guy. There was two other guys, and one of the guys that helped him
Yeah.
reprimand the guy was also black. So how
I'm not
could-
gonna lie.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think if
well,
Tru-
he was Latino. That guy's Eric Gonzalez. But yeah,
Okay,
I
fair
agree
enough.
with you, Mihai. The only reason Daniel Penny was charged is because he was white. Let's make no mistake.
well, yes,
If-
that's
Yeah.
true.
I heard he was considering filing a wrongful prosecution suit.
That is
against-
also true.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yeah,
I'm sure, yeah.
His attorneys plan on doing
Well,
that.
also think about it. When it becomes a national story, then at that point, lawyers take it up so that they can have that on
yeah,
their
because he's never gonna be able to
like
get it
on their personal record. So he's probably he didn't even like the best lawyers came to him is what I'm trying to say.
Everybody's coming to him now.
Yes.
I smell
Yeah.
money.
He's gonna have to move out of the liberal states and go to like Tennessee or Florida. People were being serious when they told him to move to Tennessee or Florida because
I don't know. Maybe he should run for mayor of NYC.
Ooh.
he'd lose. He would lose because Eric Adams is probably switching to become a Republican again, so it's kind
What?
of over. Yeah,
He did say that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not in
he's-
the loop. I'm not in
He's
the loop. There.
he basically the Democrats are trying to prosecute him because he's trying to be a little bit more of a moderate compared to the usual, and the more migrant problems they're seeing in New York City, the more radical he's getting on the topic, and the more he's hating the Democrats. Who like it's becoming a feedback loop.
So we're getting
much.
a black Rudy Giuliani or.
Pretty much, potentially.
Black
potentially.
Rudy Giuliani.
Well, I guess if
I
you're
thought
selling
you
your
were.
cool.
Wait, I thought Rudy Giuliani was black.
I know he's Italian,
Oh,
right?
wow.
That works.
That's
It's the same.
Yeah, I mean,
Is this an Italian joke, Mihai, you're making?
oh boy,
No, I'm saying he's getting RICO'd right now. It's
Luigi Mangione.
just saying. That doesn't happen to white Protestants.
Daniel.
Comment from Jay. There was another stabbing in New York around the same time as Daniel Penny, black guy. He walked. Doesn't surprise me.
Also,
Yeah, I don't even know. Is anybody? Does it?
There was another black guy that stabbed someone 30 seconds ago in New York.
I do have to say though, real quick, I do think
stabbing someone in New York right now.
I do think Daniel Penny would have been convicted if Trump would have lost. So,
You think so?
oh, absolutely, absolutely. This whole case was only swung at
From
the
what?
last
Do you think the
second.
judge would have been more scared to take the stance that the judge took had Trump lost? Do you think in Trump's America gives him the.
I think partially that, but then also at the same time, I think the jury can be influenced by outside and like.
Well, the jury already was
seeing-
influenced. The judge had to overrule, right?
Well, no, the judge overruled because they couldn't come to a decision.
Yeah, so I'm saying that already happened.
What I'm saying is that the jury probably, the MAGA people on the jury probably would have given in.
Funny thing.
If Trump would have lost.
Funny thing, Daniel Penny's going to come back up later when we talk about the CEO, United Health, whatever.
Luigi
thingamabob.
Mangione.
So what's the next
Yeah.
thing? What's the next topic?
The next thing, mega slut loses her soul.
Can we talk about this in like less than 5 minutes? Less than 5
This
minutes.
is a while ago.
Less than
Is
4
this
minutes.
the topic that I brought up a
Less
few
than
weeks ago?
3 minutes.
Is this the topic? I
Yeah, but
brought
now
up?
there's fallout from it all. And
90
you can
seconds, please.
Yeah, it is.
90
Same.
seconds.
Yes.
woman.
I saw the video already on Ben Shapiro's show. We don't need to play it.
Yeah.
And then
saw that.
and then right after doing this video where she cries and begs for money, she turns right around and says, "Ooh, are y'all ready to see me get ran over by 1,000 men? It's gonna be a world record. 1,000 men in one day. That is disgusting."
So I don't know the full details of this thing.
Disgusting.
That I just,
wait.
How, it was in what? It was
It was
24 hours or what? 120 in one day.
So it was 124 hours. Hold on. But now she's saying
127 hours, and she came back with one arm.
I saw that she's now, so I'm confused where this is going because you're saying that she regrets that now.
But she wants to do it.
But I saw a thing now
Yeah,
where
so-
she wants to do
so there's
1,000
a
guys.
clip.
Jack, let me talk. She wants to do 1,000 guys. My question is 1,000 guys in 24 hours. I forget the breakdown. Something like that's like a guy every 48 seconds.
there was a woman.
How
in
can you
Poland-
find 1,000 guys that can last that long?
There was a woman.
Yeah.
48
There was a
seconds.
woman there was a woman in Poland. There was a woman in Poland who had 919 in a day, and she's trying to beat that record. But like I
But
watched.
that was when the Nazis came through and they raped her.
no, that was in the 90s. That was in the 90s, and
That
then
was the
that lady-
Soviets, actually.
Hey, you're right, probably the Soviets. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, but the reason
Jack.
this is in the news again is because there's a documentary about her, and there's a clip to it labeled "Mega Slut Clip."
Oh, we do.
I wonder which one it was. Yeah.
She looked completely devastated. Like her like soul is like gone from her body.
Yeah,
That's
Jack,
honestly
I
why I
just
found
talked-
it interesting too. It
Jack,
like,
I just talked about that. She e-begs in this clip
No,
and
but-
has
no,
like
quiet,
so much
Michael.
regret.
Jack, did you put that link? Did you put that link in the?
It's not a clip. It's the same exact
Yeah,
link
yeah.
as the first one.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's the link,
sure?
Jack. Yes.
I'm positive. I just,
Yeah.
There
I
was
just
some
pulled it up. It's the same.
Land Sharkian social commentary about this, but like she was crying. Yeah, my soul left my body. Not whatever. If I ran the world, if I was king of the world, I would
Which
let
he is.
I would let people of adult age do that kind of shit if they really wanted to. Doesn't
No.
mean I wouldn't laugh hysterically at the soul crushing, life changing outcome of it. But
We've lost morals.
I think philosophically, right? It does raise the it's just a weird subject, but I mean, is sex totally meaningless? And I think that's been the position that's been pursued by the postmodernists.
Keep going. Yeah.
It was just that her reaction to doing it was I think a strong argument for the possibility that maybe there's more to sex than just the physical sensation of it. There's something
there is.
happened to her. Now I don't doubt she's almost left with no choice because the conscious side of her brain will through cognitive dissonance justify why she did this and then go for even more. It's a drug addiction in a sense. And you,
Yeah, I changed the clip,
you
by the
gain a tolerance to that dick.
Kale's facial expression perfectly encapsulates my issue. Like,
Wait, here,
my-
hold on. Let's
my
watch-
You want to
disgust.
switch
Let's
off my
watch the
camera,
clip real
bro?
quick.
Do I need to be up there still?
A, she was a hooah. B, she was a hooah.
Hooah.
Sopranos, great show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kale, what's your take?
I don't really
I
have that
see-
many words. I was watching the clip of Ben Shapiro talking about it earlier today, and I couldn't get through it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't.
Really?
No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I mean, first of all,
You want to go to Colley's camera, bro?
from
It is
a
very uncomfortable.
from a mathematical standpoint, 100 to 1,000, that's like another decimal place.
Yep.
That's not even proportional.
The word you're looking for is order of magnitude.
Whatever he said.
It's not like you're an engineer or anything, though.
I'm not. But I'm just like, I don't know. It's crazy stuff. I have no words. I really don't have any words. I think it's really nasty.
Well,
We
here,
have to
let's
stop giving her attention.
If you
She
don't
has
have words, let's
become
use her own words.
uncomfortably numb.
No, I think it's worth giving attention because it's
Well-
a positive thing for people that don't believe in what she did, and it's because you can go watch the video if you want to.
No,
I
no,
guess.
I agree. I
She
mean,
will it's also great from a perspective of like, how do you understand a politician? Because she's talking in the same way, a little more transparently.
Yep.
She hates every single thing about what happened, but she's locked into pushing it even further, and you can see it on her fucking face.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's worth talking about. I think my brain just can't handle it. I think that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say. But the thing is, to go back to what John was saying, like, is this like actually useless postmodernists try to just act like sex is just something that people do or whatever? But then like people for all of history, for all of time, particularly the Christians, just to give us some credit, are like, no,
Well,
this is bigger than this.
What she may have done for us in the name of science. So for like,
Science.
is marijuana bad for you? And you take one puff, you haven't conducted a study. But if you take 5 trillion puffs,
Oh my gosh.
you'll have some useful information at the end of it. And so what she did is she just did a little drug experiment. She took a lifetime of dick and rolled it all into one single day. And I don't think it was good for her.
That's not even a lifetime. I mean, no comments.
Well,
No
it raises the
comments.
question of like, is one casual sexual experience 1/100th is bad for you, or is it different? Is there some sort of threshold? But
Do you think it makes a difference after 50?
I just think she
the part of your
clearly
soul
was
that it
willing
takes?
to do it going into it, and coming out of it through cognitive dissonance had to verbally say that she enjoyed it or something, or is going to keep doing it. But she didn't. And I think that's
Yeah.
interesting. Hey, on your OBS, on the chat doc, click auto. Do you see it at the bottom? It's like a little yellow button. And there was a super chat from Tredek. A bastard son of 1,000 maniacs was a put down in my day.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm talking
If
about?
I could-
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, if I can give
Sadaka,
a
thank you.
take, what I find disturbing is how people are infantilizing her, calling her a victim when she's the one that planned, coordinated, and consented to the act.
Whoa,
Are people
Jack.
saying that?
If she's feeling bad about it afterwards, then she needs to own up to what she did was wrong. She's the one that consented to it. Yeah, the guys that consented to it are gross. But,
Yeah, it's not your fault you're number 34.
Oh my.
But it never would have
Yes, it
happened
is.
if she it never would have happened if she didn't organize it in the first place. It's either
She's still a
women
victim,
are.
though.
But so here's my
I
question,
wouldn't
though.
say so.
Well, I said
Not that this
isn't there
changes
some- I'm sorry, go
my
ahead.
opinion on the matter and my personal beliefs towards having sex with 100 up to 1,000 men in one day, but how much money did she make off this? That's the question.
Is this part of your calculus?
Well, at what point it is sort of like, X meets Y and, coming across what time, at like what point is the amount of money worth it? Everyone,
That's kind of what I'm
this is
get-
similar to like a conversation I've tried to have before.
Yeah, no.
Like, how much money would you suck for dick? Somebody, like your friends say that. Everyone's like, fuck, I have a $5 million. But in reality, if I walked up to Jack with a briefcase with $5,000, then he'd probably be like, fuck, ah, shit. Because you see it all in person to have just a band of cash. Be like, well, fuck, that is a lot of money.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, though, is I think she clearly did it for the money, if not the money and the attention or whatever. But she's getting, there's a perceived payoff, or you just don't do shit like that.
I thought she made millions, not necessarily from that.
I'm
but from
saying,
all
in
her
spite
things.
of the fact that it
I'm
went,
sure in total,
as
yeah.
far as a production of porn, it went off great for her, and yet she still was like crying and overwhelmed by.
Should we watch the video?
By
we-
a feeling I imagine she lacked the IQ to understand
Can
inside
we,
of herself.
like,
Yeah,
There's
I
one
don't
thing
think
I-
she understood that you can get STDs without necessarily penetration.
She did, didn't she? She got like 3 STDs.
I
It's
don't.
lower than I thought.
Anyway,
Here, hold on.
It's not for the weak girls,
There
if
you
I'm
go.
honest. It was hard.
It's a veiled suicide attempt, says the
I don't
comment.
know if
That's a
I'm
good
It
way
is.
to say it.
That's
It
very
is.
true.
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, it's kind of like being a in a sense of like,
it is.
Kind of.
it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
It's not like
This is
just
making me
having
comfortable.
sex with someone.
yeah, just one in, one out. Like it feels intense.
like more intense than you thought it was.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had enough of this video.
Oh no. Yeah. I saw someone on
That's
Twitter.
actually really sad. I mean, the problem is,
Okay.
But
she is an
I saw
objectively, undeniably, I would even say, beautiful woman. And there is no reality in which she ever marries a tent now. She may be able to have sex with a tent, but she could never marry a tent now.
Isn't there some saying that if you absolutely hate someone and want to do the worst possible thing you can to them, give them everything they want?
I think all of you have had somewhat of a bad take here. I'm not gonna lie.
There's a story. It was a TV show, and our religion teacher told this story to us though secondhand. But it was a good story. It was this guy who died, and he thinks he went to heaven. He was a bank robber, and he died during a bank robbery. And he gets to heaven, and he gets in this perfect luxury apartment. And
That's a Twilight Zone episode.
It might be. He's met with it by this guy, and thinks he's in heaven. He tells him like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "Oh, I really like pool, like pool table there." And finally, that's enough. Like everything, all his wishes. Like, you know what I really want to do? I want to do a bank robbery. I love doing that. Like he said, he's like, yeah, boom. He's in the middle of bank robbery. Everything goes right. Everything's perfect. Not a thing goes wrong. And finally, the episode ends. The guy going, man, I don't know. Like, I don't think this place. I'm not cut out for this place. Heaven, man. Everything goes right. I'm just used to things going right. It's like, oh no, you're in hell. Everything's gonna go perfect.
Who said you were in heaven?
Yeah.
You are in the other place.
Yeah.
I just think that's interesting. It's kind of going off what you're trying to say.
What
John.
specifically do you not agree with, Michael?
I just we need to get rid of the word in America and in the West in general right now, victim. I'm so sick of it. She is not a victim. She did this
I'll explain how I think she's a victim after.
This to herself, and she can victimize herself, sure. But
I don't know if we can go out and I don't know.
The West uses this as a buzzword.
This is a preposterous take, though.
It just pisses me off.
What can I? Okay.
And then the other point is, I don't know. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting.
Michael,
there's another layer
done,
beyond this where it's just like, and I know that Kale agrees with me. I know probably most of the people at this table do. Sex is not just a physical act. People need to understand that.
100%.
And regardless of if you can tune your brain out, the reason why she's disgusted at herself there isn't necessarily because of what she did to her body, though there might be problems there. It's because of what the irreparable damage she has now done to her soul in just one day. The irreparable scarring that has happened that she will never recover from.
That's why I think you see that in her eyes. It's like it's not yes, the STDs are disgusting and all the specifics of the act are disgusting. No one's arguing that. But aside from that, there was a non-physical wound that she took in the midst of this process, and you see it right there. I find that interesting.
Being promiscuous is a demon that people need to get out.
Do you think she is possessed in some way to do such a thing?
Well, I would agree with Chronix that it is a spiritual act. I mean, that's the Christian take, that it is a spiritual act. Not even just Christians. So then when you do that with first of all, 100 makes it very obviously wrong, but even if we scaled it down, it would still be just as wrong. I think this just makes it more obvious to people who aren't super religious. I would agree with Michael that the word victim is overused, but when I say she's a victim, I think she obviously is crazy, but I would say she's a victim of a system or a society.
Fair enough.
That has made her think that this is okay. She was a victim long before this.
Yeah.
She was an OnlyFans. If you're an OnlyFans, you're a victim of a society that makes you think selling your body is okay.
That's all. And her mother runs all of her accounts. Her mother's her manager.
Her parents hate her.
So she is a victim of her mother, if you want to say that.
I would also agree with that. How's your mother your accountant?
At what age or after what amount of experience, though? At what age or after what amount of experience is it her response? Like, we can look at this and know how fucked up it is. What's keeping her from being able to see the same thing?
I think she sees it.
I think she did this time.
She just doesn't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah,
she just doesn't want to acknowledge it.
Oh my god.
But she's gonna do the 1,001. What makes somebody do that? Being able to see it, and then I think it's like a drug. It's the same neural pathway as a drug addiction. Honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Sex.
I don't think she'll do it.
Sex and all that stuff, like porn is. It is along the same neurological pathway. I think they've actually done research on this. It is the same thing as a drug addiction, and it again goes to show there's most definitely another element there.
Well, there's this. I remember reading this famous fucking news story of this guy who got arrested. I think it was in Disneyland, and he would go into the men's bathroom.
Very interested to see where this goes.
Well, after people would piss, and he'd lick the fucking urinals. The reason I bring that up is I'm pretty confident that guy wasn't faking that fetish. Like, there's no way you're like, you know what would be funny if I fucking pretend that I like licking urinals. That guy truly must have loved licking urinals more than like anybody's ever loved anything, because he went through with it, and he knows he wasn't like retarded. He just had I remember that was my first epiphany that whatever natural sexual pathway for a man that attracts them to a human woman could possibly be changed from that to pretty much any inanimate object.
It is
are you born with that being
It is
fucked up?
pervert. Well, okay. When it comes to that sort of thing,
This is a
it's
nature
just
nurture
following.
argument. I don't know if we can get into that.
When it comes to that sort of thing,
I think regardless which one causes it, it's interesting that guy fucking loved urinals, and there's fucking just nothing you can do about it.
That's what we call demonic possession.
No, it is. That's exactly what I was going to say. He is possessed by one of his demons, and these kinds of people need to be A, institutionalized, B, physically, like, these are the kind of people that, like, in a base, like, kingdom-esque, like, old medieval style society would have gotten hung. And there's a reason for it. Because, like, when you're possessed by demons like that, you do not fit into normal
church. No
men in 24 hours is one every 14
Freeman Jack.
minutes.
1,000 men at 24 hours is one every 14 minutes all fucking day.
There's an echo in here.
Welcome.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but what you guys are
Get in
saying
there,
is
Jack.
correct. I want to call her a victim. However, she definitely feels guilty about what she did. Like, I saw someone on Twitter look at her body language, and notice how she covers her privates, like, as if she's covering up the crime scene. Like, she knows
I'll take
that
your
she
word
fucked
for
up.
it,
She
but
knows
yeah.
that she fucked up.
Which is, self-conscious. She suddenly gained consciousness of what she herself had just done. Maybe for the first time ever.
I do want to say, in a society that, like, holds up the most perverted aspects of our society, there's a reason why the guy at Disneyland. I'm never gonna get over this. I'm stuck on this point now. This dude at Disney. That's disgusting.
A reason what? What are you gonna say?
Like,
it wasn't me.
It's like. There is no other society in history, for the most part, where that would have been okay.
There was a urinal. I went to a urinal one time.
These people up, like, that now people feel like they can do this, and that's a problem. There's no shame. Where's the shame? That person needs to be brought out like, like Game of Thrones.
He wasn't ashamed. He wasn't like openly doing it. He was trying to do it secretively.
He was trying to be cool about it.
Like in Game of Thrones, he needs to be brought before the whole town to go, shame.
He wasn't really doing any harm.
Even on top, again, like this woman, but just like the urinal guy, on top of the act itself being disgusting, and he obviously knows it, he's also aware that, like, if other people see him doing it, they're gonna think it's disgusting. So he has a theory of mind, like, and so, there's no other explanation. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that dude genuinely and truly has a sexual, like, he needs urinals. He needs them. He must.
Yeah.
It's like a guy that's got to kill somebody, or a guy that was weird women that fuck dogs. It's the same. Like
like that professor.
Well, it almost implies there's this part of your code, like a computer would have, that says sex drive, and you could drop any little bit of code into that little container that you want. For most people, it's the opposite sex.
You just have self-control, and I don't think he has self-control.
And then the next most common is like the same sex, but still in a normal way. But then, like, at the bottom, you get people like fucking feet and like all these weirdos.
But here's the thing, though, about this thing, this idea of self-control. Yes, but it's like, why do you even want to do that? It's like, why would you even want to do that? Then there's something deeper there. It's like, if you have that
it's
desire,
not conscious.
Well, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But there's certain desires that I think that just have to be like, you have to look at the bottom, the foundation of it. Does that make sense?
You know what I would do?
Okay, so the base foundation desire would be that he is gay. Because it's a guy going and licking urinal. So
in a men's room.
Presumably he's gay. So beyond that point, then you have to look at what part of gay society, which there's a lot, that could have perverted him to that point.
But
then you also have to look, is he a believer in any sort of religion?
Well, I'm not
Probably
specifically talking about that act. I'm just saying this
Possessed
idea
by a
that
demon.
everything is about self-control or consent. It's like sometimes it's deeper than that. It's like
Would you
No,
say
not
to
everything
go
is about
back?
consent. Not everything is
I know,
about
I know, I
consent.
agree.
Let's pick one
Consent
thread.
is not the only thing.
Let's pick one thread and keep on the one topic. Sorry. Mihai, what were you saying?
Right.
To go back to my question, how much money she made? Say it was a lot of money, exorbitant amount of money.
Oh my god.
Whatever that is to you, would you consider that a deal with the devil, John?
Nobody,
Nice segue, nice segue.
nobody can
Nice
ever make
segue.
a deal with the devil, like.
A Faustian bargain, yeah.
Faustian bargains.
Faust!
Am I leading this part of the discussion?
It is your
I mean,
topic,
I think
so-
it is one of those. For me, I this is more about Jay-Z and Diddy, but it's a universal archetype. You see this story across all cultures as far back as stories exist. This sort of concept of the deal with the devil. You could do Internet 3, I think, is the one you want to put it on. And so there's a whole list of them. This is the Wikipedia page. The most famous one is the Faustian bargain, right? So Faust or Faust. Based on a real guy. Let me actually pull up my own notes, but do you have my links there?
I do.
Yep.
So all of this stuff, this and Jay-Z and everything else, this isn't, we all, everybody in the chat and everybody somewhat suspects this, that there's some kind of satanic group, let's call it, or devil worshiping group out there, and they are in control, and therefore for you to become part of that ruling class, you must make some sort of deal with them. And in Jay-Z and Diddy's case, you're just testing out
Which one's Internet 3?
gilded screen.
That's right.
That'll give you the third window. It's not bad either. Oh, you're jumping all over my links here, though.
The other one was already on the
Well,
website.
I think this is the one that will deal with the devil that most people forget about and don't realize it falls into that category. But the temptation of Christ is a deal with the devil that he rejects, which is, he's not the only one, but it can go either way. And there's a million of these. I think I listed some of them out. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Okay, preach.
Have you ever read Paradise Risen or Paradise Regained?
Yes, part of
Or Paradise Lost?
It's
the same
it's-
thing.
Okay. No, I've only seen
it's the
Paradise.
opposite. Paradise Lost is about Adam and Eve,
Yeah, I've only seen that.
whereas Paradise
Right there.
Regained is the story of Jesus' 40 days in the desert.
So I like to talk about Scorsese movies, and I don't know if you guys all know this, but there's one of his most controversial films ever is called The Last Temptation of Christ. And the reason it's controversial, aside from a number of other smaller reasons, is that the movie is about that on the cross, Christ has this vision of where he doesn't stick to his faith and ends up not getting convicted and crucified, and he goes and marries Mary Magdalene and lives out a life with a woman. So Scorsese said the real last true temptation of someone that would like to be like Jesus is a woman. And it's an interesting idea, I think, and regardless of the other things about the movie that Christians don't like, Christians did not like this movie. But this idea that, yeah, you can get tempted by power and literally the actual temptation of Christ from the novel, the 3 different temptations, but a very real one, especially for like a 30-year-old guy, 20, 30-year-old guy like Jesus was, is like, hey, you could skip all this bullshit, just have a job, have a wife, love your family. And in a weird way, it's almost saying that prevents you from being Christ-like. So to do something that we all think of as good things prevents you from doing something Christ-like. So someone like Jesus is not meant to have a wife. Having a wife is bad for him. But what I think is interesting about it is that Scorsese treats it as let's make Jesus a little more human than divine, and imagine that he was attracted to women. He's a straight guy, and straight guys are attracted to women. And what sort of temptations would that cause? It's not necessarily sex. It's more the temptation for not being a
You
revolutionary.
sure you're not talking about that movie with Tom Hanks?
What the fuck?
Angels and Demons?
That was a weird. That was a
That
weird
was what?
Did they talk about
I've never
this in
seen
there?
it.
I've
Yeah,
never
it's all
seen
about how Jesus had a kid with Mary Magdalene.
Oh, so they just ripped off Last Temptation of Christ?
I guess I didn't
Well, no,
know this.
there's a whole
I'm learning this now.
Well, no, there's a whole conspiracy around it that fat left-wing Redditors like to push.
Oh, the
that
whole
Jesus,
bloodline of Christ.
that Jesus had sex with Mary Magdalene and all that.
And had a kid, and then
Yeah.
There's a Christ bloodline out there or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's beside the point. I think again, not to get philosophical or anything, but for the types of leaders maybe we need guys that are sort of like the guys that went to those monastic orders in the Middle Ages and shit, vow of celibacy and all that. They say, I ain't licking no urinals. I got shit to do.
Yep.
I got spiritual battles to fight.
Yep.
But anyway, so this deal with the devil, it's not unique to Scorsese, it's not unique to Jesus, it's not unique to that Only Girls fan, and it's not unique to Jay-Z. But in segueing the topic with these deals with the devil, I'm a believer, man. Yeah, the famous story is by the German poet Goethe, I believe is how you say his name. And it had a really good quote in there. I found this interesting. So some of these artists around this time started thinking about, like, how do you deal, what's the solution to some of these problems? And I found it interesting that Goethe came to the same conclusion that Voltaire did with his novel Candide, which is also about a shitty world where everything goes wrong. And so Candide by Voltaire famously ends with, "We must cultivate our gardens." Here's the Goethe quote about Faust. Quote, "I never doubted that the readers for whom I effectively wrote would grasp the principal significance of the portrayal straight away. For the smart people, I never doubted they get it. It is time that the impassioned dispute between the classicists and the romantics should finally be reconciled. The principal thing is that we should properly cultivate ourselves. The source from which we do so would not matter if we did not have to fear the possibility of miscultivation by appealing to false models." So I'll say this part again. This is the deal with the devil. The source from which we do so, from which we find our strength to cultivate ourselves, wouldn't matter. You could choose Satanism. You could choose any religion at all. You could choose any sport to play. You could choose being a construction. It wouldn't matter as long as you were cultivating it, except that we have to fear the possibility of miscultivation by appealing to false models. So there are some models that if you follow will miscultivate you. That's the OnlyFans girl.
Mm-hmm.
She might be the greatest whore of all time. Being the greatest is not always great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's the idea of this demonic possession. Is she a victim? She's possessed then.
Yeah.
Is she not a victim? She's a conscious person following a false model. It's probably somewhere in between.
I think you tied that back down
but
pretty
John,
well.
I think
you did a good
thank
job.
you.
Something I think this touches upon is
The
how
land of Nod.
unhealthy of a society. If someone like the OnlyFans girl can thrive in our society, I think that's the sign of grave unhealthiness. Because, like you said, she's not the same as a guy that licks piss off of urinals, but those guys are the ones demanding that she does content like this. And I think that the fact that she can get super successful off of doing this, it is a very ominous sign for the way our culture is going.
I mean,
I was gonna say
We're seeing more and more temptations. Is my point.
the dualism of man. I always say the duality of man to my friends. That's
Is
funny
that
you
not
brought
what it
up.
is?
Yeah. But it's the name of a group chat I'm in, which is really funny. I saw it brought up. So it reminds me, this lady or this woman, human being now, soul, shell of a person. Matthew 6:26.
Childbirthing person?
Cervix holder.
Birth person.
Matthew 6:26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his whole soul? And what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? And that's exactly what she did. There's nothing that's worth it, but she clearly has nothing.
Is that
left.
so different than Nietzsche's stare long enough into an abyss, and the abyss stares also back into you?
No, I wouldn't think so.
John,
The
have you
actual
ever considered the possibility that all these
or maybe, or hold up,
philosophers that you quote are just re-quoting the Bible?
Yeah, it's all the same thing in one way or another. It's the quadratic equation that has a positive and negative.
Yeah,
answer.
everything's already been written before. It's
But
just
then
how do
wouldn't
you redo that now?
He's got a thought. Let him get it out.
Well,
Michael.
Wouldn't you say though that maybe the abyss is just not staring back at you? Maybe you've gone crazy and you think the abyss is staring back at you, but it's not. It's just
It's
yourself.
not a literal state. The full quote. Nobody ever says the first part. Just like nobody has ever said she fucked the gold. She is the abyss, David. She is the abyss. The full quote is, "Be careful when fighting monsters, lest you become a monster."
That makes sense.
And stare long enough into the abyss stares always. It's more like if you want to go kill all the pedophiles in the world, so you get your trusty what's like a really aggressive
Oh, it's like from
weapon.
The Dark Knight.
You get your fucking mace, some weird your scythe, and you just start hacking people. Probably the first one, adrenaline rush. You're like, yeah, fuck. You know, they probably felt, but you probably have a little party that's like, man, I just killed somebody. And then you're like, no, it's cool. He's a pedophile. And then you kill the next one, and then you start to get numb to it. You're just fucking pedophile. And then one day you wake up and you're like, I just killed 100 pedophiles in one day.
I
And
just
that's
voted for Hillary Clinton.
a lot of killing. That's a lot of killing. It's the dick girl. It's the same thing. It's a misinterpretation of the way to solve
So
problems.
too much of anything is a bad thing.
Oh, for
I always
sure.
liked, well,
It's
so I always
basically what we're
liked
just getting at.
Epicurus's everything in moderation, including moderation. I think he's the one guy who thought hard about that. But that's you moderate yourselves, and then when you're truly being moderate, then you let yourself have a little bit of fun. Moderation in moderation, also.
Yep.
And John, there's a real life example of what you described, like the Snowtown murders in Australia. Like there were these guys that formed a group to originally kill pedophiles, but then they just started going after random people.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe they just realized what they actually liked was killing.
Yeah.
So about this deal with the devil, we were talking about Jay-Z.
Yeah,
What's that all about?
Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, accused of raping a 13-year-old girl in the year 2000
Hova.
with Sean Diddy Combs. That's leaving out the other part that I really find interesting about this and no one else is talking about, which is that an unnamed female celebrity was there watching.
You really think it's Beyonce?
I do, 100%.
No, it was definitely Jennifer Lopez.
It could have been Jennifer Lopez, too. That's right.
It was Beyonce.
So the MTV 2000 Video Music Awards happened on September 7th. I looked this up. I just made a breaking news video about it because I had a suspicion. You're right, though. Now that you say Jennifer, she was there, too. But so I don't know if anybody knows this. Beyonce and Jay-Z are very opaque. Is that the word? They hide when they started officially dating.
To interrupt you real quick before you go off too far, did you also see that LeBron James is now sitting out for the season?
Did he go to Diddy parties or
Some might
something?
say, what is that for?
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
Isn't he just old though?
He is
Injured.
old, too.
He's injured.
Yeah, but he would have retired then. Why
but
would he
John,
go
he's a little
start a
wants-
season and then
he wants-
actually I'm not going to play
He wants
now?
to play
Lots
with
going
his son.
on.
No, he wants to play with his son.
But it was
His
like
son's
something
on his
weird. He's
team.
like,
If he
he
wanted
was
to
like,
play with his son,
it
he'd
was
play.
His
but it
son's in the
wasn't.
G League
It
right
wasn't
now.
because of like it was for personal reasons. Was the reasons given? It wasn't like normally like if he's had
stressed
injuries.
out or something.
Why are we
He said
complaining?
he's doing like load management and was invented by LeBron. Like he's the person to say like, I want to play as long as I can, so I'm not going to play all the regular season games. Now he's saying I'm going to sit out for personal reasons. It's totally different than anything he's ever
Yeah.
said before.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
About
Now,
them not being-
no,
the
let John
thread.
finish. I interrupted him.
You said-
to pull the thread, John.
Yeah.
I'd seen some videos recently, and they were breaking down like the timeline. Beyonce and Jay-Z should have already started dating by 2000, like because they
That's
met
my
in,
belief.
like,
Yeah. So this was
97,
also
98.
this was interesting too. So when I started researching this, the internet said that they met when she was 18.
No, it was 17. She was
No,
17.
no. Well, so then it changed even after that. Yeah, because there's a few things that say 17 as well, but I think that's been adjusted to now say 18. But they didn't start dating until she was 19. Well, when she was 19, that was they said they started dating in late 2000 or early 2001.
Jay-Z
and when
was
I
30, by
finished
the
the
way.
video,
Crazy.
it now says they started dating in 2001. So the news keeps moving their dating further and further away from this incident, which is I find interesting. But yeah, she was at the 2000 Music Video Awards. So was J-Lo. That's fair. That's a fair.
They
point,
met when
but-
she was 16 and he was 28.
Yeah,
was
that
the
I
initial-
think.
That's
Well,
always
I've
been
heard
a weird
they met
age
when
gap.
she was 15.
No,
Oh
it's
my
disgusting.
gosh.
Like,
Oh my goodness.
But
it's
so
different
speaking
from-
of in the context of deals with the devil, not just Jay-Z, but Beyonce was part of that whole Destiny's Child. You guys old enough to remember all
Oh,
that?
that's my
Yes.
joint.
Well, which one of those three made it?
Out of who?
Beyonce and whatever.
Kelly Rowland and other
No, you
girls.
know their
What is the
names.
group? I don't even know.
yeah.
Destiny. Beyonce blew up as part of a trio of females singing called Destiny's Child.
Kelly Rowland is a bop
First time
herself,
I'm hearing
though.
this.
One of them
No,
kind
she
of,
is,
but
yeah,
there was a
but they're
big
not
falling
Beyonce.
out, and she launched her solo career. The other two became nothing. She became the most famous.
No, Kelly Rowland's known. She's
No, they're all known.
Not
but
sort of
no,
like
they're not
Outkast?
She had good.
Beyonce.
She had good.
No,
music.
but they don't like people don't worship them. Like Beyonce has a fan base called the
Kelly
Hive.
Rowland isn't fucking famous.
That's
Nobody knows her name.
I know
I
she's
literally have no
famous, but
idea who the
she's
fuck
not
that is.
Beyonce. She's
She's
not
not
Beyonce.
famous.
Obviously.
She's pretty famous,
Yeah.
but she's not Beyonce.
If you went to the average person and said, name the 3 people in Destiny's Child, they'd see Beyonce and those other 2
I'd be
people.
like, wait,
Are we in State
Destiny
College,
had 3
or-
People?
Destiny's
Destiny's
Child.
children.
Destiny's
That's wrong.
Children.
Next,
Well, I have a
next.
suspicion that like maybe something of the nature went down of Beyonce is like, hey, I want to be solo famous, and they said, hey, we got a party for you to come to, some stuff for you to watch.
Well, have you guys seen the trend or the meme where you have to thank Beyonce or else you're gonna die?
Did you
Yeah.
know Kubrick?
It's been going on for like a month.
Died?
Thank you, Beyonce. Thank you, Beyonce.
Thank you,
After
Beyonce.
Eyes Wide Shut.
While they were finishing Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide
After
Shut.
he screened it,
Yeah, yeah.
And did you see Tarantino on Joe Rogan, or the guy that was with him? I forget his name, but they said that there was supposed to be a commentary on the movie the whole time, like a narration over,
what
over
movie?
the Eyes Wide Shut that got cut out in the final cut.
Never seen it.
That was Kubrick's last movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it got edited
Yeah, yeah.
after he died.
I believe, is that the one that
Huh.
Kubrick said he wanted all the Jewishness edited out of it too?
I don't know. There's apparently a hidden tape somewhere of him like screaming at people
Well, no,
for fucking up his movie.
but that would all, well, okay. Kubrick was very meticulous with his editing, his filming, everything had to
Yeah, once
be
again, he died, though.
perfectly correct. Well, yeah. So like what I'm saying
Guess
is
he
that
wasn't careful enough.
Well, I mean, what I'm
Yes,
saying is that Kubrick
he's
that
probably
was
the
not
greatest
his-
filmmaker
Well, yeah.
ever.
To your point, you can tell that it's different than all of his other films.
Yeah, exactly. It was not his movie.
Quick thing. I don't know if anyone noticed. So I remember I was looking on Instagram and I suddenly started to realize I didn't even know another Lion King came out. Like I don't.
Mufasa.
Yeah,
Well,
wait,
I didn't know.
It's coming out this week.
Is the
Are you talking about Lion
Beyonce's
King
kid,
too?
Is the kid in it? Is there a kid in that movie?
Blue Ivy? I don't know.
Wait, so
She's-
this
she's
is
been
this is
touring-
now the 4th Lion King movie?
Well, they're not all the same. It's like I don't even consider.
Well, yeah. There's
them-
Lion.
No,
there's
I don't even.
So-
consider
Lion
them
King
part of-
1. There's
I-
Lion King 1.5, and there's Lion King 2, and then there's a Lion King live action.
Yeah, this is live
And
action.
there's
there's
Lion
gonna
King
be a
on
prequel.
Broadway.
There's
Lion
gonna be
King
a
on
prequel.
Broadway too. Don't forget about that.
There's Lion King in State College. No,
Yeah.
we know.
There's gonna be a prequel starring Mufasa.
We
too.
know it comes out this
But
weekend.
the reason why I brought it up is I remember I was seeing all these posts about Blue Ivy. That's their firstborn daughter, and Beyonce and Jay-Z, whatever, on all these red carpets, and none of the comments in anything said anything about the allegations against Jay-Z. I was shocked. I was like, come on, y'all. Like, what? Literally. And she's the
Yeah.
age of the person who's accusing him of this in 2000.
Oh,
so
really?
I was, yeah. She's like 13 now. She's like 12 or 13.
Yeah. So
So,
yeah,
there was.
Ray,
If I can play-
Ray
if I can play-
Sist
if
has
I
the
can-
other one
if I-
about Beyonce real quick that she faked her pregnancy. We're not going to get into
Absolutely.
that, but that's an
Yeah.
interesting.
if I can be devil's advocate real quick, so I don't doubt that Jay-Z could be capable of this, but as we saw with the statement, it is a civil case, so currently there's no criminal case being reported. So what are the chances that the whole thing might be exploited to attempt
Oh, I
to win
think
money?
it's
Well,
possible.
to Jack's point though, where Jay-Z in his statement, right, if I'm not mistaken, said he encouraged them to turn it into a criminal case. Would it not be past statute of limitations?
I
And
believe
would
it
he
is.
not know that?
Although, didn't they change that in New York to prosecute
They
Trump?
did, and there was a bunch of Me Too things that happened after that.
They
Yeah.
I
I
think
actually even want to say that was part of why Diddy's girlfriend tape came out, but
it's part of this.
It could be a 4D chess move here. Like, so say I'm a serial child molester. My name's Sean Carter, and I know my best friend Diddy just got arrested, and he knows all this crazy shit about me. One tactic I believe does get used is they hire someone to accuse them, pursue it so it becomes a big news story, and then let it all fall apart as a fake accuser.
That's convenient.
That's pretty high IQ.
yeah.
Because then when the real accuser comes along, you're like, didn't we just fucking do this?
4D chess. It's like 8D chess. Yeah.
I don't like the 4D chess thing. It's just called playing. It's called playing politics smart. That's what it is. It's
Maybe
playing
this whole Diddy
politics
thing is a
smart.
distraction, but it's very Epstein-esque. It's like
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
It's there. I'm inclined to believe it was a real operation. I think it was run by the government, if anybody.
Absolutely.
And the reward
Which
for that, the
government?
deal with the devil, if you will. So I was there when rap became popular back in the 90s. Well, the people that survived and ended up on top. So you have Jay-Z, you have Diddy, Snoop Dogg is one of those guys. There was a number of them that went through movie star careers. Ice-T, Ice Cube,
The white guys.
Iceberg.
Iceberg, Ice Lettuce. No, it was but like so and then you had people who just died and never went anywhere. So I mean it's almost impossible to believe that they didn't all make these deals with the devil in the music and movie industry, which are intertwined. And then it wasn't until recently that we realized the kind of person Harvey Weinstein was, but he was the kind of person running those industries up until recently. And there's probably a lot of them still doing it.
It is different now when you see that Weinstein company or whatever before movies like Django Unchained I watched recently.
That used to be a good barometer. That was
you're like, oh, it's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh fuck.
Now you're like, it's gonna be
I know
a
how she
good
got
movie
that role
made by a rapist.
Yeah. Wonder how the lead female character got the job in this one.
Well, it's not. I was talking to somebody about this earlier today, but it shouldn't come as a surprise that people that are good at pretending, actors and being creative and stuff, they usually develop that skill because they start pretending from a very young age because they have to, because they think and do a bunch of fucked up shit. Like in Roman times, actors were hated. They were pariahs, is the word they use. Like people liked going to shows, but they fucking hated actors. Yeah. They hated them. They were not famous like they are now. They were saw as like loser pieces of shit. The show as a whole was great, but actors were faggots, for lack of a better word. And I don't mean gay, but just like the Romans hated actors. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. There's something about that, like it was early enough in conscious
like
development
Edison.
that are like, yeah, it's something about playing with your consciousness and pretending you're something you're not gives you a yicky feeling, like the uncanny valley, right? Like we talked about that.
You also have to be an emotionally unstable person to be able to fake cry at any given moment.
Have any of you guys ever talked to
actually,
like a serious
I disagree
actor?
with that. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, like I'm gonna disagree with that whole bit right
That
there.
is true about what the Romans thought. There's nothing to disagree with.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just like the whole base concept of it, like.
That you're going to
Never
disagree.
mind.
Well,
Never
no,
mind.
hold on.
I just completely forgot my whole.
Well, are you saying you're disagreeing that actors should be shit on? Is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying, like, I think that it all it ties back to something else that hasn't been mentioned yet, and I was hoping that somebody was going to mention it, but
Yeah.
I'll just bring it up myself. So the whole thing when people say, stop acting fake, that sort of thing. Everyone acts fake all the time.
Oh, sure.
Everyone always, like, regardless whoever, you always have a little bit of a face on around whoever.
Sure.
Like, when I go home and I talk with my parents, I'm not going to talk to them about that bitch who we just talked about who got ran through. Okay?
That's not having a face.
No,
that's not pretending to be something you're not, though. That's just politely.
but
you're
John,
still you, and you're just not mentoring shit.
But anyway, this whole thing ties back to don't necessarily think like I don't know where I was going to take it. Never mind.
Well, John, earlier before you asked if any of us have ever talked to actors, and I've talked to a couple like professional actors before, and sometimes yes, there is fake crying involved. Like people are talented enough to fake their emotions, but a lot of other times. The emotions you see are real. They just hone into like a sad moment in their life, or they just take emotions they felt.
I'm not
real
talking
life
about an actor acting in a role. I'm talking about have you like talked to them having breakfast or lunch or something like that?
That's what he just said. Yes, he just said he's taught.
But I was about to grab that. Sorry, that was distracting me too.
Yeah, no, but I agree with Jack. I know Mihaly was saying you have to be kind of like psychologically off to be able to make yourself cry. No, you just have to believe what you're thinking, so. Yeah.
Are you not psychologically off if you can make yourself believe something that's not really happening?
No.
That's what I wanted to get at. That's what I wanted to get at.
If you're acting, if I wanted to cry right now, I'd cry about something that's totally not related. I could just like think about like my grandfather or something and start crying.
But it's still objectively true. You have nothing to cry about for real.
I don't think. Okay, that was my point. I don't think that actors are necessarily like. Now, some of them are, yes, but I don't think that all of them are necessarily schizophrenics or whatever. Just because they can fake their emotions.
Putting words in my mouth.
I don't say that either. Yeah.
Speaking of ill.
Okay.
What do you mean?
That's
I didn't
exactly
say that.
why the Roman public was suspicious of them. It wasn't. You're not suspicious of something you know.
Acting right now, Michael?
To be or not to
well,
be?
like I'm not suspicious of a grizzly bear.
You know what that's from?
Right? Like I know where the grizzly bear stands. Yeah. It's not pretending. So like I just know.
What's that from?
Jesus. What did you say?
Let him talk.
She said to be or not to be. What is that from?
It's from Shakespeare.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah.
Well, let him talk. Golly. I'm gonna change the topic, so let him talk.
Well, it's just that the especially back in those days, and I honestly think we need to get back to this a little bit. But it was you were more appreciated for being what you said you were and doing what you said you would do or wouldn't do, then it's just that. Like an evil person who's always evil is predictable, and so you're not quite so scary or weird or off-putting. It's realizing that the type of person, I don't mean someone who says they're an actor. I mean an actual good actor. Not necessarily a famous one, but just somebody who is actually good at it. And it's kind of a trick
So
question.
like you, John?
If you've ever met somebody that is genuinely good at acting, you're not going to fucking know it.
Don't mind me.
Okay.
All right.
Hard to do.
Is that for the next topic?
So, man, if you notice somebody is acting, they're not a good fucking actor. And I'm saying this from personal experience of having known this one particular actor who was, I realized it took me about 10 years that they were just lying about fucking everything and anything. And it took that long because they had to get caught in their own lie. Like they finally started saying shit that didn't match up with earlier versions of the story. But they kept it all going. And it wasn't even about, it's not like I got burned for $10,000 or something. It was just, they liked pretending.
I'm sorry for lying to you for 10 years.
Okay, so
but it was
basically they were
truly
a compulsive
incredible.
Liar.
No,
they were
better
a compulsive
than that.
liar.
No, it was this whole story. And stories
Robert Downey
within
Jr.
stories. Like, I bet, I don't know about Brad Pitt, but Robert Downey Jr., if he wanted to, could make you believe he was whatever he wanted to make you believe.
Yeah.
There's not many people that are that good, but it's just, the epiphany you have is when you realize this person could be anything they wanted to me and I would believe it. And then you don't like them anymore, as you shouldn't. Just like you shouldn't like somebody that you realize is putting on different costumes every day. It's the same feeling as if you like have this friend who always dresses like a pirate, and he's known in your town as like this cool pirate.
The guy from Dodgeball?
You find out, yeah.
You're not a real fucking pirate.
It's a terrible example, but like say Mihaly.
So Johnny Depp.
Well, no, say you've known Mihaly for years, and he always wears this kind of redneck shit and all that stuff. And then one day you're like at this black tie event, and he's there and he's speaking in a perfect British accent with a clean shave, and you're like, this motherfucker's a totally different person. It would make you uncomfortable. Yes. It's realizing how skillful some people are at it that becomes creepy.
And to clarify, I don't think it's the same thing as code switching, because I know I can code switch, but it's not necessarily you being like totally not true to yourself. I was gonna find a segue, but there's no segue.
Well, I think maybe that's what implies is somebody that can switch into multiple different people genuinely. There is no like Kevin Spacey. How creepy is that fucking guy?
Is he even? But I think that I don't even know if they're switching at this point.
Well, is there a one true Kevin Spacey? Mm-hmm. Is there anything even inside there, or is he just this? Or Tom Cruise? I think is another.
Yeah,
example.
Tom Cruise is good.
Like, is there a Tom Cruise that's sitting on a couch watching football on Sunday? I bet there's not. He's like sitting there.
No, he's poking his wife in a cage.
Fucking acting
with
like
a cattle rod
as some character.
Yeah.
But then doesn't that bleed into like the general conversation? Like, are you a product of your environment, or then like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you mean like the
well, I'm saying great actors occupy this unique space that's maybe it's like this liminal space that's not really either. It's there's no one there. It's American Psycho that we love for the theme of this show. It's when he says, "I have no identifiable human emotions except maybe disgust and greed." I think he says. It's like, I'm simply not there. That's kind of what he's like. There's all these people he's trying to be, and there's a famous line when Reese Witherspoon says, like, why are you being like this? And he says, because I want to fit in. Remember that? Well, maybe anyway, he does.
Well, then he would act.
He's a psycho because there is no him, but yet he has an awareness that there's no him, and other people are people, and so he like wants to be a person.
Well, then he would be a. What's that? What are those people who have genuinely what are those people called?
Sociopath?
Yeah, then he would probably be an undiagnosed sociopath.
It's not.
Yeah.
I think a sociopath and a psychopath are understood as still having personhood, whereas an actor, like a truly, they are sociopaths for sure, maybe psychopaths, but there's no one there. You push into it, and there's nothing.
That's a sociopath.
To wrap this up, John, can you explain to me in 2 minutes or less how we got from Jay-Z raping a 17-year-old to actors being...
more and more something that was considered a massive conspiracy in 2016 when I started YouTubing is now, I think, almost scientifically confirmed and verified. There's some sort of entity that has a ton of power, not all of it, but a lot of it, and they can make you world famous if you agree...
John Ward.
To certain things. Yeah, I'm fucking world famous, but... yeah.
How do you think we all got our jobs?
Don't let your memes be dreams. Don't let your memes be dreams.
To wrap it up, by the way, it's Hamlet. And when he says to be or not to be, he's asking himself the question of, should he kill himself?
Oh my
So you should know that.
goodness. Thank you. I just learned something new. Speaking of illness,
Oh boy.
You ready to go to yours?
yeah, I think so. Speaking of illness or lack of emotion,
Or I'm going
or
to step out
apathy.
for 30 minutes while Kale talks about her stuff because I'm kidding.
Wow.
I can't fake cry well, if you guys don't know.
All
Anyways.
right, there you go.
So we're gonna talk about real quick the hot assassin, or people who call him the hot assassin. He's not even.
I thought you were about to
this
say the
guy.
hottest ass east of the Mississippi.
Nah, yeah, I don't really talk like that. Yeah.
He just looks normal to me.
He's 5'7", though, I heard. Bad news.
Okay.
Wait.
this is-
Can I talk? Can I talk, please? I brought it up. I want to take a little bit of
It
credit,
is her
please.
turn.
Yeah, so I don't know. A lot of people are very aware of this. It's definitely happening on the left and on the right, but I still think it's more happening. It's happening more on the left. People are praising Luigi Mangione. I think is how you say his name. Mangione.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
For allegedly, emphasis on allegedly, because I don't even know if I think it's him, honestly. Blowing out the brains of Brian Thompson, the United Health CEO. I have so many takes on this, but I brought this up last week when Michael was like gung-ho for being pro CEO murder.
okay.
I'm just kidding, but that's how it felt. That's how it felt in the moment. I guess my point is, this has happened before. Things like this have happened before, and even though we don't love the way insurance works, we don't love the way the system is so broken, and the way that they take advantage of so many people who are dying of cancer and all these other diseases, I am still very scared of the public's reaction to all of this. I think it's actually kind of insane.
It is.
The same kind of people who are so like infatuated with this guy, Brian Thompson, dying, they remind me of the people who wanted Trump to die. And if you wanted Trump to die and you let me know it to my face, I am actually worried. I'm scared around you. Like, I'm not going to let myself be that vulnerable around you because I feel like you'd kill me if you think it's justified if I were like a CEO or if I were Trump. So I brought this up to say, this happened in 1977, so that's like over 40 years ago, almost 50 years ago. Tony, I can't pronounce his last name, Kiritsis. Tony Kiritsis was...
I know this
I always
story.
pressed the wrong one. Though, sorry.
But it's always with me, too. He just hates me.
Because it's set for you. Sorry.
Tony
It's such a good last name.
Tony Kiritsis. Anthony Tony Kiritsis, whatever his name is. The morning of February 8th, 1977, he was a real estate developer, entered the office of Rick Hall, president of Meridian Mortgage Company, and took him hostage for, I think, 66 hours with a one-barrel 12-gauge shotgun, sawed-off shotgun. And there was a dead man switch with his shotgun connected to Rick Hall's neck, where if you can see him on the left, if he fell, the trigger would be pulled and his head would be blown off. If Tony fell, the trigger would be pulled and his head would be blown off. If he slipped, if he pulled the trigger, if anything happened, someone was going to die and that person would be Rick. And this was publicized because Tony wanted it to be publicized. And I think at that time, the news stations didn't know any better and they gave him what he wanted, even though they're not supposed to negotiate with terrorists.
Well, no, and he also paraded this dude out on the streets forever. Took him back home.
Well, there's a lot of things that could be done out in public, but it wouldn't be on TV. So like I'm just saying. So my point is, this was publicized on purpose because Tony wanted it to be publicized, and then the news let him get what he wanted. And in the process, people were watching it, and much of the public was actually rooting for Tony. The same way I think people are rooting for Luigi right now, and they weren't aware of the actual details of this entire debacle and the fact that the dude was actually innocent. I'm not saying Brian Thompson's innocent. I just think that they're very similar. We could probably watch a clip from this. Oh, it's muted.
What happened? What's the matter? Jim, I told this man before this thing was over that he'd think I was a goddamn witch. I read him all these things, all these charges that were on that paper, plus some, that I typed up a few months ago and tried to recall back 4 years. I called every goddamn one of them, didn't I, Dick? Didn't I? Right. Every goddamn one. That's right. I hope this doesn't go off. I'm having too much fun. I said, ladies and gentlemen, that these people were lucky they were dealing with me. I haven't...
Something about that being in the 70s makes me way more on the terrorist side. The idea of like this boss hog character holding down some small town and screwing everyone over on their mortgages, and then this Guy comes in and is like, fuck it, I'm gonna just hold him hostage. I actually kind of get behind that.
He had a very
Yeah.
specific
It's kinda like
story.
Roadhouse if you think
he
about
thought
it.
this company was screwing him over for a piece of land that he's been trying to get off of his hands. But then people didn't really know the details of this story, and the fact that he actually was just like not making payments on this piece of land, or was not treating it the way
Well,
he
no,
was supposed to.
it wasn't just that. The company had brought people through to look at the land, but he wasn't upkeeping it right, and then he would deny some of these people who tried to buy it off of him. He wanted very specific circumstances for how to get rid of this, and then later on he was just like, why was my land never sold?
But to be fair, not even to get in the weeds, let's say he did the right thing and the company was screwing him over.
Well, yeah.
It still wouldn't justify
No,
this. And
it
I think,
still doesn't, no.
I don't know why this is so much clearly wrong.
Would you say Marvin Heemeyer was justified?
I don't know exactly who that is right now.
That is Tank Man.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't want to get into this.
What about
weird-
Killdozer? Killdozer.
I don't want
he
to
just said,
get
Jack.
I don't.
He didn't say Killdozer. He did not say Killdozer.
I don't want to get into this weird. I feel like I hear myself less.
Yeah, Killdozer. Sorry, Jack.
Killdozer, yeah, not Tank Man. I don't want to get into this whole thing about like Waco and the ATF, and I think it's separate. I think it's different.
Waco is not in the same category.
No,
It's
I know, but it's the
fundamentally a
same.
different category.
But I don't want it to get there. It's less about what actually happened and more about the public's response. And
Yeah.
then maybe the last thing I'll say about the public's response is, so 2 years later.
Well, just real quick, the reason I did bring up Killdozer guy though is because he's still looked at today as like an icon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily. I don't want to
And
put
that's
them
partly because of the feat of engineering he pulled off.
For sure.
Yeah, but also I think he was more clearly being harassed by the government than like
That is also
two
true.
citizens. It's citizen versus the government, and this is just two normal people, two private people. If that makes
That
sense.
is also true. I mean, like this.
Can
so,
I move this?
Oh.
It messes with your focus.
The whole Tony Curtis story is fascinating to me, and it's one of the stories I need to do more research on. But like, when I thought of Luigi Mangione, like last week, is this whole thing was coming out, and like they found out who the person was over the weekend, and the they were like I was saying it as a joke last week, but yes, I was. Then over the weekend when it came out who this person was, and all these people were just like going gaga over him. I thought of this story.
Well, no,
like
great,
it is insane.
But remember, last week we didn't know it was Luigi. Last week the
that's
guy
what I'm
was still at
saying.
large.
No,
but I
was
remember
scrolling Twitter all day over the weekend. It was just insane. All
we
these
still
people
got into it
simping
though.
over
We
him.
still got into it though because I was saying like just because you are in charge of an evil corporation that is being evil legally doesn't mean that your murder is justified. I think that's why we got into it.
Yeah, as Kale points out, there are numerous times when a criminal has received public support. Like, so in addition to your example, Kale, there's also the Killdozer guy, the guy who tried to shoot Ronald Reagan, Christopher Dorner, and the John Wojciechowicz story.
I don't think
which
the
is
guy who
based on,
shot Reagan.
Dog Days Afternoon. And he does get support. He does get support online. I categorize these people as all being one and the same in the sense that they're self-entitled sociopaths who take out their problems on ordinary people who had done nothing to them. And this applies to Luigi if he did do it. I strongly think he did because they found a manifesto of him admitting to it, which I linked. It's really short. We can go through it. But going back to Daniel Penny, I think it's very fascinating how people despise Daniel Penny for doing something selfless, while Luigi is someone who's just.
Do you mean that we flipped all of this
resentful.
Do you mean that we flipped the whole morality on its head, and now up is down and down is up? Because I very much agree. And also, thank you, racist. What about Thomas Matthew Crooks? We know everything about Luigi Mangione, pretty much every single freaking thing about his life, and yet we know nothing about Thomas Matthew Crooks. I want this for Thomas Matthew Crooks. Where is it? And for the other guy who shot Trump. Why is none of that released? This is another example of why the federal government is not trusted right now. Give us the information. We know you have it. Give the people the information about these other two shooters. It pisses me off.
What about the Vegas shooter?
Real quick about that is a good point. You had the biggest shooter.
You mean the attempted assassination of Mohammed bin
I have
Salman?
my own theory regarding this. So there are people that are going viral online for doing look-alike, for dressing up like Luigi.
That's insane.
And like there's this one guy who recorded himself with his mom yelling at him saying like, we're getting in so much trouble, like your pictures are going viral, they think you're actually him, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that explains a lot of the conspiracies.
Ooh, Gary Plausch. I think that's how you say his name. Sorry. Oh, that was Andy Johnson's comment. That's a good one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gary Plausch.
You know what that is?
Isn't that the guy that fucking screwed over Marvin Heemeyer?
No, it's the guy who sits at a payphone and then shoots the fucking guy that raped his
Oh yeah,
daughter.
Gary, no, Gary, no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but let's get back to the morality real quick that people are justifying. So people think the murder of Brian Thompson, the United Health CEO, is justified as they view insurance companies as already being no different from murderers for not giving everyone coverage for their treatments. And I personally, I just find that insane.
Jack, before we go
Because
there,
me not giving you something is not equivalent to murder. Like murder is an action. Not giving someone something is something absence of action.
Why did we kind of switch the topic up a little bit? Because I don't think we were finished with the whole morality stuff. And again, this is kind of Kale's topic. So
No, that's not necessary. I would disagree though. I think even like a pro-life take, I do think you can withhold something for someone and then still be responsible for their death. If it's the legal, like specific term murder or whatever, I don't know if that's true, but like if you're a mother and you are intentionally drinking and ingesting like alcohol and cocaine and your child passes away while they're inside of you, people are going to call it like that manslaughter or something. Like it's something, it's not okay. So I do think it's possible to withhold something for someone and then be responsible for their death. As for the public or the morality aspect, anyways, I don't know what's going on.
The special needs.
I'm parenting.
The special needs child in the studio needed to have his blistex removed from him.
As for the public morality aspect or whatever, I just think it blows my mind how many people on the right are just like, he had it coming, or like just really weird takes like that. Like I get it. Like if they experience something, you could tell it's coming from somewhere personal. Like maybe they had someone who passed away because they were denied a claim. I hate these companies the same way most people do, but it's just a very scary concept to think that some random guy who might not even have been directly tied to that, maybe he was, but maybe he wasn't. It's just not the same. It's like this is the worst version of vigilante justice I've probably ever seen.
I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, thanks.
Well, okay,
Thanks.
okay, but
has anybody taken the side of the shooter yet? Just for the sake of argument.
Like here? No.
Yeah, here.
I mean,
No.
last week.
Well, last week it was you. And I was like, holy crap.
I can't believe nobody's mentioned the fact that guy was arrested in Altoona, which is like 30 minutes.
My dad called.
Out of McDonald's.
I've been to that McDonald's. I was like, what the hell?
I think we probably all have at some point. Yeah.
Well, I was there last weekend coming up, and then my dad called, and he was like, I heard something about Altoona. Isn't that like, what, 40 minutes
But I do
away?
want to say, but I do want to say something real quick.
And he's from Maryland.
I
you got
do.
fucking 10 seconds.
MK Ultra. He was part of, just like how Charles Manson was. I think Luigi Mangione was an MK Ultra person. I think he was inducted into MK Ultra, and this was an MK Ultra assassination.
Show me your proof.
Yeah.
I honestly believe
the
he was just a
TTPs,
smart.
the tactics, techniques, and procedures the government uses to keep the people in their loop.
The back pain angle seems.
Yeah.
This is one of the few ones I think was real.
Oh, okay.
Well,
never mind. I'm going to
so-
pull that back.
So
Yeah. Well,
I think a lot of aspects of the story are true, but I don't necessarily know if they're put together the exact way that the media is telling us that it's supposed to be. Like, I do agree that he had a terrible surfing injury. His back probably hurt, but he was so wealthy.
But guys,
He was so
we're
wealthy.
just jumping so far ahead right now.
There's parallel construction is when the police find someone using illegal means.
Like, I feel like we're skipping over a major part of the story. Is like, is this even the guy?
Well, let's just say it is.
Yes.
I don't know if it is because I think he just looks a little bit different, just a little bit.
No, that is the same person.
But this isn't even this picture right here on the right. That still shot isn't even from when the guy shot him.
Yeah, that's a meaningless picture. I don't think it's the other.
Yeah.
There's a different picture.
No, that picture right there on the right was him.
That one.
When he,
This is the one. Yeah.
That one.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like his eyebrows were like clearly farther apart. And I
That
don't know.
is such a low resolution camera
That's
on
true.
the left.
That's true though.
You
But
know
then-
what I mean?
but
It's
then-
what is the average color value of the pixels between his eyebrows? It's probably closer to skin than it is to hair.
I just like.
There you go.
Women are in like.
It's more believable based off that
fantasizing-
picture.
What is the word I'm trying to look for?
I think in fantasizing.
Thank you.
Fantasizing.
In fantasizing.
No, just fantasizing.
Oh shit! And fantasizing.
No, just
would be, Yeah. Okay.
fantasizing.
There you go. Fantasizing. Thank you. Women, gays, whatever the fuck, are fantasizing over this dude, and I'm like, with every image we see of him, he gets uglier and uglier.
But to be fair, they were fantasizing him. They were fantasizing him last week before they knew what he looked like.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that is true. That is
More
true.
about what the act represents that I think is
I would agree.
attractive. It's
I
a
would agree.
total ability to overcome the
Not gonna
authority
lie.
structure.
Well, I just the whole thing is weird. Like, did this man used to objectively look good? Sure, but he is also evil, and you can see the evil now starting to flow. He's starting to look evil now. When
He looks mentally ill. Yeah.
Do you
he looks
consider
mentally ill, just like
Ted
how
Kaczynski evil?
Yes, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Not
What's
even
up?
a little
Ooh,
bit.
What was the
yeah,
question?
I don't think I would
No, I think
consider
I
him
would-
evil
I
though.
mean, I would say
I'm not even
yes.
trolling.
So wait.
Well,
Did
but
you guys see?
Well, actually, Ted
did you guys read his
Kaczynski
manifesto?
did.
Yes.
Ted Kaczynski did have
See
MK
what?
Ultra happen to him.
Did you guys read his alleged manifesto yet?
No, I've seen,
personally,
like, 3 of them
personally, I
going
think it's
around.
complete personally, I think it's complete shit. But the one that's being reported on as actually his by Ken Klippenstein is pretty much accepted as his right now. If you want to pull that up, and I'm looking at this and I think, yeah, he didn't really have like a coherent ideology or anything. I think he just got pissed
That's the
off.
Jay-Z one.
And went crazy.
Well, I mean, no, he didn't, because at one point he loves somehow communism and socialism, but then at another point he's following these right-wing influencers and spouting off like
Yeah, he's a
like Nick
centrist.
Fuentes type stuff.
He was
It
a
was
s-
crazy.
He's a
Well,
smart
not Nick
centrist.
Fuentes type stuff. He was like
there were a
quoting,
couple
Tucker
comments.
Carlson. He's been described as like a radical centrist in a lot of ways.
I just
That was
like
scary.
okay. Going back to the point I was trying. What the fuck? Never mind. Boy, I'm.
No one's interrupting
old
you. Why are
tonight.
you doing this?
I
No,
don't
it's okay.
know.
It's okay. I could take over
was-
for a little bit.
okay,
So
well,
about
okay.
the I don't even want to really talk about
That's
the
what
Unabomber
it
all too much.
was.
Well, I don't want to talk about the Unabomber too much. It's not. I don't think it's that necessary.
Yes, it is.
I just do think that killing innocent people, or here's the thing. I think people don't realize how quickly it is you can be radicalized. If you actually believe what you're doing is okay, that's what makes you. People don't do things and they know it's evil.
Well, isn't that like
Well, that's the thing. You think it's okay.
every person that's been radicalized ever?
Well, that's most of them, I'd say. You think you're doing the right thing,
Yep.
and then that's
It's every child soldier back home.
So, Kale, are you saying no one is ever evil?
No. I think you can be evil and still believe what you're doing is good. That's what I think. Like a lot of abortion is. I mean, that helps me to like put myself back at point zero of what I actually believe. Like that's a perfect example in my mind.
Here, can I?
As for the guy and Brian Thompson's death, people are not. I don't even think people are talking about it enough. Joy Reid and BuzzFeed and all these other people are basically ragging on conservatives and saying, how are we pro Daniel Penny and Kyle Rittenhouse and then anti Luigi, whatever his name is. And it's like they can't even process a single abstract concept, as if one person
They don't
wasn't
understand
saving
self-defense.
people in immediate danger for self-defense and the other person was killing someone as the logical conclusion of their ideology. It's like they're not the same.
Real quick, like to add on to that. First about the Unabomber. The Unabomber was part of the MK Ultra program.
It's not adding on to what she was
it does-
talking about.
Okay.
Just
Then, well, no. Then,
I am part of the MK Ultra program.
yes, Kale is.
Are you MK Ultraing this right now?
I founded
Michael?
the program.
And to
Hard to believe.
Michael K.
to add
Ultra.
a quote onto
Dude,
Kale's
change
thing.
your YouTube name to
from-
Michael Ultra. Michael K. Ultra.
Okay.
Should that be my YouTube channel?
It's not bad.
Okay. So
Are we talking about Michael?
I have I have a lyric for you, Kale.
Okay.
So
That's
from,
not where I thought you were going.
from Johnny Cash. So
Oh, okay.
that was me, Kanye.
Man in Black.
Something in Paris.
So this was the lyric. Shush. Jesus Christ.
Finish.
He's quitting. He's
And-
giving up.
And I wear it, his clothes, his black clothes, for the thousands who have died, believing that the Lord was on their side. To add on to what you were saying about people believe they're
Dude,
in the right.
we did
that
this.
brings me to
Hold on.
Islamists-
Everyone
I'm
stop
just kidding.
talking for 2 minutes.
Oh God, here we go.
Michael tried to quote this song like 3 weeks ago,
I
and
did
he
not.
fucking fucked up the quote and missed that whole part. And I told him, but read the next line. And just now, 3 weeks later, he's read the next line.
So he did read the
I
next
did.
line.
I guess we got there
song.
eventually.
I love that song.
I guess we got there eventually, but I
He
mean,
listened. He learned.
Okay, I don't. Okay, anyway, all of you are crazy. Call it. Okay, this is okay. I think that we
Get yourself together, man.
We need to put a pin
I think
in
if you
this
say okay one more
and
time,
we
it will
need
be
to-
okay.
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 Stop.
I think for the sake of conversation and argument, Kale, I think the difference between you and the left is that the left assumes that the CEO of a big company is a bad person, right?
No, but I think people on the right are doing the same thing.
You're assuming that he's a good
I think there's
person.
a large percentage of the new
No,
right
I'm not assuming
that
he's a
would
good person
agree
at
with
all.
that.
No. I think,
Well, is it?
I am not
how do
assuming
we
he's a good
know
person.
that dude wasn't a giant piece of shit and deserved to die? How do we know that?
I think
Because
he might have been. No.
if I can
I
answer.
think he might have
Jack
been.
seems to know.
I think he is. Okay.
Jack with the answer.
So this is why I want us to look at his manifesto, because it's really short and it made any sympathy I
Jack,
had for Luigi
stop,
just go out the window.
stop,
Because let me answer. Let me answer. Let me answer. Let me answer.
Stop. You're not answering what I'm talking about. You're talking about the killer.
Let me answer. Because the reasoning behind why he's a piece of shit is nonsensical.
Who are you talking about?
Brian Thompson, the CEO.
All right,
the
go
reason
ahead.
why Luigi thinks he's a piece of shit is because, so in his manifesto, he blames the mortality rate in the United States on insurance companies denying care, which is retarded on so many levels because
that has nothing to do with you knowing.
It overlooks murder.
You don't. So how do you know that Brian Thompson was not a bad person? Is my question.
Well, my point is, you don't need to. Like, I probably think I would if I
you
could
don't.
bet.
Yes, you do.
No.
Because
I
if he
would.
was a child raping piece of shit, even if Luigi didn't know, then he accidentally did something good.
But no.
Do we-
I am
did it out of a
not.
place
Does
of
anybody
evil.
actually
He still did it out of a place of
factually
evil.
fucking know whether, just for the sake of a piece of information, was he or was he not a good person?
I
Do
think
we know that?
This
Okay,
wait. Okay,
John,
wait, before
the
sorry,
accusation-
Jack, quickly. But this actually ties really quickly back to.
Let her
Does
speak.
anyone
Let
know?
the woman speak.
Does anyone know
This-
for a fact, if you're not saying yes I know or no I don't know, then you're changing the subject. Does anyone
reason-
know?
No, but my point is,
You don't know. Kale doesn't know. Do you know?
You
Michael
wouldn't.
doesn't know. Do you know? Mihaly doesn't know.
no
Jack,
comment.
do you know?
You don't need to.
Jack, do you know?
For the
don't
reason-
need
to,
John.
You're
Do
innocent.
you know?
Don't need to.
All right. Everyone's mics are off right now.
All right.
Here's what's gonna happen.
So you don't know.
John, one at a time. Kale, do you know?
Do I know what?
He's a piece of shit. Okay.
Do you know what? Do I know what? Do I know what?
Is he a good person?
I know he's not a good person.
Is he yes or no?
Yes, I know he's not a
You
good
know
person.
he's a bad person.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
John, what is your stance?
I'm being autistic. The question is, you're still on Jack, by the way. Yeah, we don't know.
Oh,
At least
so
nobody
when I
sitting
said that
here knows.
like 30 seconds ago, you were mad at me?
You answered.
Thank you.
We were waiting for Jack to come on board, but it said, I'm not trying to hijack your. I'm making a very, very fucking valid point. Though it's not kindergarten anymore. There is no. I fundamentally disagree with this idea that you never kill anybody, and I also fundamentally disagree with the idea that you kill somebody and the killer is an evil piece of shit, and they were totally wrong about the person they killed. They killed the wrong person even, but that person still might have been a piece of shit and ended up being an act of good by accident. Isn't that not an act of God in a sort of way? God works in mysterious ways. Take one crazy person and have him kill another crazy person.
What?
And neither of those two people ever knew what the fuck was happening. Isn't that your whole fucking belief of how God operates?
That only works because you're on the
Can I
right.
answer?
Someone on the left who tried to kill Trump, 4 months ago, would have the exact same thought process.
Isn't
and we know
that
they
an
were wrong.
equally excellent argument of the way God operates?
But they are
Look what
clear-
happened.
But we know they're wrong, though.
But he didn't die.
But what if he did?
He didn't, though.
It defeats
He
the
didn't.
purpose. No.
Okay,
it defeats the
Maybe that was
John,
God right there.
okay.
And
John,
maybe this
John,
was
can
too.
I answer?
Maybe
John, can
this
I
is the
answer?
same God that was involved in the Trump shooting that was
There's no
involved in
need
this.
to make it spiritual. You're innocent
I'm
until you're
just
proven
saying
guilty.
you don't know.
Okay, but John,
You're
you asked me a
assuming
question. Can I answer it?
that he's a bad guy, and you don't know. He could be a piece of shit.
Or whatever.
Could be a piece of shit.
We're getting bogged down rhetorical questions here.
It's an
Well, that's
important
what-
part of the
One that
discussion.
that's what he
John
loves
made
to do.
himself.
That's what he
Yeah.
loves to do.
Because Kale is making the point that a person being shot by a crazy person is a victim. This is kind of central to what we're saying, and I'm saying I don't believe that. Go ahead, Jack.
Okay. Getting back to my answer. Do I know that every single aspect of Brian Thompson's life is squeaky clean? No. But the reason the left is calling him a piece of shit is verifiably like untrue. If you look at his manifesto, like Luigi's manifesto, we can get into that.
No one wants to look at his manifesto.
I'm just saying I think that's irrelevant to my point, which is I don't give a shit what the left thinks, and I also still don't necessarily think that guy was a good person.
But by that reason, nobody's a good person. Nobody beyond a reasonable doubt.
And that was my initial point none of you wanted to listen to, which is this. It's a fundamental question. The left assumes the CEO was a piece of shit, and the right assumes that he wasn't.
No,
and no one listened to me.
That's just not a good take. I'm sorry.
That is a genuine, accurate take. What's wrong? Your whole point is that he's an innocent dude. You're assuming.
No, it's not.
That's why I say, do you know?
No, it's not. No, it's not. My point is not that I think he's an innocent dude. My point is there's a way justice must be taken out in a civilized country.
Exactly.
If we set this, if we set this precedent, then people.
That's pussy shit.
No.
That is pussy shit.
Going to me.
Kale, do you know what he's doing? He's playing devil's advocate.
No,
he's purposefully playing the devil's advocate.
He is devil. No. I get it. You're talking to someone who's pro-death penalty. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you just can't.
You got the home crowd. You got the home crowd. That's not fair.
That even when I'm wrong, I'm right.
So you're saying you're wrong. Oh my.
Okay. Is that what that says? Is that what that says?
Yes.
Do you want to read it out loud? What's that say?
John's so right that even when he's wrong, so you're wrong?
So, yeah.
He's right.
Is that what that said?
So for you to be right. Anyways.
Is that what that said? To say John's wrong, but he's right? Is that what that said?
Okay,
the
abstract concepts.
We've gotten
only for John.
We've gotten off topic, and clearly no one wants to watch this. So we are
throws the Monopoly board.
We're gonna continue down. We're gonna continue. We're getting off the topic of the fucking Italian mafia guy. Next topic.
Did anybody see the assault of a black woman on screen?
What about?
We're gonna have to start the next show with everyone taking a knee now.
What about? Hold up.
Can I say one thing for?
No, please. I like to hear what Jack has to say because I don't know how serious John is, but that's a scary thought process.
Okay, so again, from what I've read from his manifesto, which is shit, it's very short too, like 3 pages. Luigi, the guy, or allegedly Luigi, said that the reason he shot this guy, Brian Thompson, is because he is to blame. These insurance companies are to blame for the low life expectancy in the United States. That is fallacious thinking. That's fallacious thinking because it's assuming that our life expectancy rate has nothing to do with our obesity, murder, car crashes, and drug use. It's completely nonsensical thinking. And if we're judging like whether or not Brian Thompson deserved to die based on that reasoning, I would say no, he didn't deserve to die.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and I'll go back to I don't give a shit what anybody leftist said about this. That's not. They haven't convinced me or anything like that. Still got hair, motherfucker. Joke's on you. Now I look even better. Now my genetics are on display.
Whatever you have.
Great news.
Whatever you have to tell yourself.
Whatever.
Yeah. You guys are mad that I just won.
I'm not actually.
And dominated all of you.
That's wild.
Like Novak Djokovic versus a vaccine. I won.
No, I like Novak.
Okay.
I like Novak. We're not
anyway.
Wait. So my question.
I
thought you were going to change the topic because you keep saying so anyway.
I thought you were going to change the topic because you're Michael.
I did want to change the topic because clearly we divulged, but I have a response. So if
so after your response, I'll
go ahead and then I'll dominate it.
Sure.
That's wild.
I don't even know what it is. I just know I'm going to crush the fuck out of it.
It doesn't matter if he was a good person, if he wasn't a good person. The matter is the morality of the situation.
I got to interject right. It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Because killing in no universe is killing a see.
Literally, the commandment is thou shalt not murder.
Whatever the hell you guys are going to say, I'm holding you right now.
It intentionally makes a distinction between killing and murder. Murder and killing. God doesn't say don't kill people. He says don't murder people.
We were just talking about this like 3 weeks ago. Yeah. You know I know this. I'm
go reread the Old Testament and let me know how many motherfuckers God killed.
Well, but he
You think you're so smart?
He killed somebody.
One.
He didn't murder
at least one.
Well,
yes,
No,
that's
no,
my
no. God
committed
can't
out of
murder.
active
I'm not.
argument.
Okay, I don't want to go theological because if you go theological and talking about God killing people, I don't believe God can murder. So, but that's the.
Well,
I
he did
agree.
murder. He did
besides-
murder all the Egyptian babies.
No, that's not
And
murder.
yet here you are
That's
saying
not- we wouldn't-
God
we wouldn't say
murdered
it's
Brian
murder.
Thompson, and look at you
No,
just
we're having two
taking
different.
the side of
It-
Satan,
he's-
Lucifer.
He's testing
You're
us.
making a Faustian bargain, if you will.
What his name? What this dude is testing us. So about Michael's point.
I can give you all the power in the world. Do you want to turn that rock into a piece of bread?
Okay.
If you give me a fruit roll up,
You want to turn a rock into a fruit roll
Okay.
up?
I'd certainly
Call
do
it,
that. So,
please, just-
about Jack. Jack, I have a question. You really think this
Yes.
dude's manifesto being in his car, it only being 2 pages, and him being caught in the McDonald's parking lot, and then his Twitter account being like just so perfectly set, like that doesn't ring any bells for you?
It is a bit.
Well,
I
he
just think it
stopped
sucks.
using his account like a while ago. And his family also reported him missing at around November. So he clearly had some kind of mental breakdown.
No, I
understand he went to he's an Ivy Leaguer, but he was
So
really
it's what-
smarter back then before his accident.
No,
like,
I
before his
believe,
accident.
60
I am
days?
not-
I don't think you can lose.
What happens to a man in 60
I don't
days?
think you can lose, Jack. I'm gonna have to hit against that point. You cannot lose your intelligence level.
I think you can.
No, you can't. Your intelligence level is
Your
the
re-
same.
your
throughout
reasoning
entire
ability, yeah,
life.
yeah.
No,
yeah,
Yes, you can.
You
That's
can
not-
lose. You can lose your ability to gain information and to verbalize that information, but you cannot lose your intelligence level.
What are you trying to make?
You're
What point?
born with an intelligence
A
level, and that
race-
can never change.
but
That can never change.
Intelligence doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Until
it just
someone
means you
hits
know
you in the head with a
things.
Well,
fucking
but
that's
he
fucking
just
retarded.
no. Jack just said that he lost intelligence after his accident, and
Okay,
I'm
so-
fighting no, that
Because
is
he
not
was
a
in constant
valid
pain.
point.
Do you want me
Erase
to
the word-
stab you right now and then
Or-
give
You went through
math
something
class?
traumatic,
Loss of
obviously,
intelligence.
and that's
That
You
was
guys-
the
all
loss
right,
of the
everyone fucking
ability
stop talking.
To hold information.
Everyone stop talking.
Okay,
You guys
boss.
are missing a key point to what Jack just said. He said he had been off the mat, like off the radar since November, right? Off the reservation. Nobody heard from him. And his family reported him missing. What happens to a man in the space of 60 days? What is enough? What is the straw that broke the camel's back in that 60 days where he decided he was going to go murder the CEO of United Healthcare? What is that moment? What is that thing that really just sets him over the edge?
I don't know that I agree that he
Yeah.
came up with this plan within 60 days of executing it.
I don't even
I
know
guess
how he
you could
contacted
argue that.
or-
I would argue he probably did. This doesn't seem like
I
don't know that,
I
but-
think he could, but there are other things that are much more important than this 60-day thing that I think makes it very suspicious, which is like you were caught in a McDonald's parking lot with a manifesto on the seat in the car.
Yeah, that's
with
weird.
the exact gun that you used to commit this crime in the car. It just doesn't make
Having
sense.
demonstrated the ability to be smarter than that many
It just
times.
is weird. It's weird. It doesn't mean MK Ultra. It's not
That
necessary.
being said, have you ever had bad back pain? Like it will fuck with your
well, I
mind.
personally have had a tumor removed from my spine.
Yeah, you probably know better than anybody. Like constant chronic pain, what that fucking does to you.
I
No,
believe
yeah, I
it.
understand the whole
I
background.
believe he was hurt. I believe he actually believed this. But I'm just saying this idea that he carried it out by himself. The manifesto literally says, "Stop your
that's-
investigation now. I did it by myself." What kind of manifesto is that? That's so weird.
Yeah, didn't he always say like, I have a lot of respect for the feds?
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, just stop your search now. It's like, no, this other people are clearly involved, and I don't think enough people are saying.
FBI clause.
And then, by the way,
typed
to the
this
max.
post.
By the way, from what I was saying earlier, I had mixed up the two. He murdered the CEO. He did not kill him. Killing is yes.
You must kill to murder. You must kill to manslaughter. You must kill to do any of that. So someone died. So there's killing. The type of killing.
But I'm turning it around because that verbiage could open the pathway to what he was doing.
I'm your
he was trying
number
to
one fan.
he was trying to uproot our arguments about the death penalty.
Correct me
That's
if
what he
I'm
was
wrong,
getting
He's
but
at.
you're
pro
saying-
death penalty, so I don't even care.
He was trying to get at the death penalty thing,
He's
trying to work us to the
pro-death
death
penalty. I don't care.
know that,
Yeah,
but I was trying to tell
real
you
quick.
what he was trying to do.
Go ahead, Jack.
And
I
he
hear
made me
Jack.
say the wrong thing.
Real quick, thank you, Dr. Tatanus, for 5 memberships, and thank you, Mark Peer, for the $10.
Thank you.
Oh, I missed the first one. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Well, yeah, thank you, Jack.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, John, for warping our brains constantly.
You're welcome.
No, don't give him that credit, please.
You're welcome.
Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please.
All right, so
wait,
Mihai,
Jack-
we have your topic, right?
Wait, so, okay,
sorry,
last
go ahead,
thing,
Colin.
please. Jack, are you not sussed out by the manifesto? You're like
I
one of the
am.
smarter people I know. Are you not sussed out by it?
I think it's like incredibly low IQ, and if this guy is smarter than he lets on, then yeah, sure, it is suspicious. But again, like I think some of you guys overestimate how far people can fall from being super rational to being irrational if they go through something traumatic. Which is clearly what
I'm with Jack.
Well, that's my question. What is that traumatic event that happened? Because I don't
No, he broke his
think
back.
that's not enough. It's not enough.
That's not it.
There's no.
He hit a point of he dealt with it for a while, but like it seems like if we're taking all these stories
it's not
at
enough.
face value,
No, but
It's
that's
not.
That's
And again, that's
subjective.
where
to
my
you.
like the
couldn't-
manifesto sounds insane. From what to back up what you were saying, Kale, the whole situation of how he was found is insane. That's why it's suspicious. That's why I do not think he worked alone, and that's why I said that he was at least MK Ultra, because there's no way that this back condition does it alone. I think truly the government. I can't.
it would.
You guys, I'm gonna say my favorite word. I haven't said it today. It's not mutually exclusive. I think the back condition can make someone want to do this, but I'm just saying, just because you want to do it doesn't necessarily mean you're capable
I
of
don't
doing
think
it.
so.
No,
I think-
wait, I'm not done. Just because you want to doesn't mean you can. Like, who told him that Brian Thompson was coming out that door at 3 a.m. in the morning?
That's a good question.
No,
See?
no one.
Okay, just because it's really easy to figure out where the CEO of a company is going to be on the day of their earnings call, speaking to their board.
Great answer.
At 3
Two.
a.m. in the morning?
Yeah, he's going to he has to be there at 4 when the stock market
Luigi
opens.
say himself in his supposed memo, but this is the only part of that rang true, which is as he didn't work with anybody. It was an elementary, I think is the word he used, matter of some social engineering.
We said that a couple of
So he
minutes ago.
probably just like found some lady and flirted with her, and she told him where he was going to be or something like that.
Well, I mean,
Assumptions I'm not willing
he
to
saw.
make.
Well, I mean,
The point I'm trying to make is the back pain is not enough. Is not that will not force someone to go to this extent. Is an excuse for his
how do you
deeper
know that?
reasoning.
Yeah, it is.
How do you? But no,
It's not though.
I've known fucking people that would kill people because of back pain.
But
yeah.
like,
Yeah, and Mihaly in interviews,
it's
like his friend
chronic-
said that he was never the same person out there back.
So why did his family
They did
not
say that.
help him then?
no,
That's another.
Why are we
He vanished.
arguing
He
about that?
vanished.
That's
That's,
not-
what they
just
said.
to
They lost
me-
contact with him in November.
Just to Mihaly's point, it's not just back
John.
pain; it's being in constant pain for
What
years.
does him being have? What is him?
He
in
wasn't-
what
the
is
main
him?
thing
Just
is he
stop.
wasn't
Just
able to have
stop.
sex.
Liz,
He wasn't able
what
to
is
have sex.
what does United Healthcare have anything to do with that?
That's my.
How does United Healthcare have anything to do with him even getting surgery?
Well, if we're
that's
going
more
with
related-
Who in United Healthcare made the decision for him to have surgery?
No, that's more related to the point, not necessarily his back.
So how is it not an excuse to
We're-
take out the
you're
CEO?
saying
How
you
is it
don't
not
bel-
an excuse? How is it the reason? How is it not an
The
excuse?
pain was so I don't know about this specific to that, but it's downstream from what we're talking about right now, which is when you are in chronic pain, it will change your brain and make you go insane. It's like you say pain's not enough to do that. Dripping a drop of water on your head constantly will make you go insane and do shit like that, let alone pain.
Yeah.
So imagine Chinese water torture, but it's excruciating back pain all the time. Plus, you're a good-looking dude who's probably gotten laid
Yeah.
a bunch of times, men and women, apparently, is what I understand. And suddenly that's taken away from you. It's that whole, like, it's better
So again, to my point,
never have anything
the
than
pain
to
is
have
the
it and lose
excuse to kill the CEO because the CEO has no direct correlation to him having pain.
But
If we're accepting the story at face value,
you
it's
let
more
Kale
that
finish?
no, it's we got to correct this. The pain made him go insane. That is the point.
Yeah, and the point is that is the
Anything
excuse.
after that is irrelevant. Insane people do all kinds of things. He blamed the
Even still,
healthcare
okay,
industry.
insane
Why
people do
United
things.
Health? Because he was insane.
Insane people do insane things, but you don't think an insane person still has a reason as to why he specifically chose that guy in that company?
No, that's
so
why.
that's there's the conspiracy. Did somebody else direct him to that guy as an outlet for his frustration?
But do we all
Very
realize
possibly.
that these are two separate
But are
things?
you are you now agreeing that back pain is enough of a motivator for someone to go insane, not to kill somebody, but to go insane?
To speak from me personally,
Wouldn't
no,
you
but I
say
can't speak
Chinese
for him.
water torture? If that will do it, then anything constant will do it. It's a constant stimulus that makes you go insane, like not sleep deprivation. Same thing.
Yeah.
But like, why? It doesn't even matter.
The second
Like, who-
part, this is why it does matter, is because when you go insane, you do fucking crazy shit.
No, I agree with the second part. I'm talking to Mihaly. I'm like, this idea of that I don't think that this is enough for someone to go crazy. Who am I? Like, who am I to say that that I don't believe that that's enough for someone to go crazy. And then you justify
He is agreeing now.
No, but I'm saying you justify his point when you say, "Oh, I think it is." My point is, it doesn't matter. People can go crazy. We just watched someone who said that you didn't let me sell my land, so I'm going to hold someone hostage for 66 hours.
That guy wasn't crazy. That guy was sane.
He's the same guy as Luigi.
It doesn't matter.
Same
We
guy.
can't actually make judgments on people's mental state all the time. The point is, how in the world did he do it
Spearhead.
by
Pain
himself?
makes you fucking hopeless. That's a good way of saying it. You lose all hope. Everything that you had value, I'm good looking, gets taken away from you. You can't do any of that shit anymore. You look for something to blame. The health system.
So
But see, I just
here
what
my last
usually
point.
doesn't
like,
happen,
from a
like the
fundamental
Jets-
perspective.
Well, most people don't take that final step of choosing an
But
individual
I don't even
target.
think I think pain makes you stronger, not weaker. I think if you have
that's the dumbest fucking thing.
but it's not.
It's not the same as fucking Nietzsche.
No, it's not though. I like
surviving something
To a
painful
certain extent,
and
yes.
getting back to a state of lack of pain so that you can think clearly. That will
in
make
the
you
same
stronger.
way that a veteran comes back and if like this drink falls over the table, they're not gonna be bothered by it because they've seen the worst, most excruciating shit.
But then they kill themselves.
They would have been better off.
My
not
threshold,
seeing
my
shit.
threshold
I'm just saying.
for like bullshit is higher because I'm constantly in pain.
Fair point.
No, it's
You're
possible.
also dealing with a lot more shit in the way of your thinking that you're not acknowledging that most people don't have to deal with. That's way harder for you.
It's hard to argue against it because the point of that was that I'm not
But
acknowledging it. So maybe that's true.
But why are we attempting to make objective
I don't know.
takes on something we will
Because
never
it seems
know?
like you're struggling to come up with the belief that it's possible that pain could make him do this.
I
Who,
don't
me?
think that pain
Me?
alone could do
Yeah.
it.
No,
you
no,
said,
no, no.
why are we talking about
I don't
the
know if
pain?
it's confirming. I will say
I'm
there
just
was
saying there's no purpose in making like an objective claim about something so subjective as to someone else's pain that we talk about it for this long.
Kale,
When
I'll-
the topic is, did he actually do it by himself? Like, what are we talking about? Literally, what are we talking
Well, I
about?
think the question John is asking is pain enough to drive him to do it.
I
Absolutely.
think it's enough to
Anything
drive
can
him into the
drive you
same
enough.
sort of federal piece of shit as
And
like
to Kale,
Thomas
to your
Crown.
point, I think
aloneness
I
might have
don't
driven
think
him.
pain- I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
I think my argument is that he couldn't have acted alone because pain is not enough to drive someone to act alone.
Okay, I think that a lot less can make someone want to kill someone else. It doesn't even have to be pain. It could just be, you know what, I'm having a bad day is enough for someone to kill someone else. Then we could be like, you know what, maybe that person's crazy.
The right
well.
person, yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. My point is, it doesn't matter if it was pain. It doesn't matter if Brian Thompson killed his mother. The point is, how did he do it by himself? I just feel like they're totally separate. They're not necessarily related.
Well, let me ask
Yeah.
you this: if you truly, whether or not it was true, but you're in constant pain, you're losing your mind, you're angry all the time, you start to blame the healthcare system for whatever reason. Your crazy mind selects Brian Thompson as the that's the guy that caused all my problems. So now you have an objective. I need to find Brian Thompson and kill him. I think you're smart enough to be able to do that from that step. I think so am I, and so is pretty much probably everybody. So let's say, irregardless of
disagree with
why
everyone
I
could do
decided on Brian Thompson, let's just say that I have, because I'm crazy, I'm finding his ass.
Do you think you could get away with it?
No, I don't think anybody can anymore.
I
don't-
disagree. I think I could.
Oh wow. Well, I think he
Can
could have.
we not get on that?
Every
okay?
man is
that's-
asking that. Every man has asked himself
we are
that question.
not
before.
doing that on no.
True.
That is a line even worse than the horse cock from a few weeks ago. We are not crossing
You're
that.
acting like finding.
What is worse? What did I say?
Sorry.
You're acting, Kale, like finding a human being in America is some magical thing no one can do.
We are
I
not
can
No,
do
no,
it.
no,
I
no,
can
no,
do
no,
it.
to
no,
know
I don't
someone
think
on a
I am.
podcast.
No, I don't think I am. I don't think I'm raising the threshold of suspicion too high for this entire thing.
Well, like
I just
me, I was saying, he's a. So
No,
you
I
use
just
a
think
couple.
if you're too smart, I think if you're smart enough to have pulled it off and have been at large for as many days as it had happened. I mean, we didn't know who he was last week, and that you're stupid enough to keep the manifesto and the gun in the car.
That
You
is
keep
where it
agreeing with
gets
that.
weird.
No, but that's just like not a detail. That's like the main thing.
Yeah.
The first thing you do when you kill someone in Minecraft is toss your weapon,
Well,
not keep it in your car.
the assumption you're making is that he wanted to get away with it then.
Yes, because I think.
But he doesn't.
but
How does he
no,
become
okay,
a
okay,
martyr?
get away with
How does he
it.
become a
I'll
martyr?
turn
Whatever.
around and get away with it.
Maybe he didn't want to get away with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's actually a good point.
That's why
I never
he
thought about
fled
that.
from New
Can
York
I
City
say
to Pennsylvania.
one more thing?
Go.
Okay. I'm going to
All
play
right, you
devil's
said
advocate.
your one more
no,
thing.
I'm going to play my devil's advocate here. I don't think pain enough. If we're going to split hairs, pain enough is not. No one can do a crime with just pain alone.
Who are you? Who are you to say that. That's my point. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And yes, it is. Like you're the sky.
It matters because we're on
It's
that
not like you're
conversation
like,
right
ouch,
now.
my
We're on
elbow
that
hurts, I want to
conversation
kill
right now.
someone.
So
Might as well
real
just
quick,
stay
real
on that
quick.
topic.
You guys are so interesting.
Okay, so real quick, you guys are familiar with Alfred Hitchcock's Rope, right? That movie was based off of two Harvard students who murdered a guy because they think that they were too smart and could get away with it. They didn't go through pain, but they were still like sloppy and thought that they could get away with it. I think what's going on with Luigi is a mixture of pain and him thinking that he was morally righteous in what he did. So I don't. Yes, he was sloppy, but I think he was sloppy on purpose because he wants to make himself look like a martyr of sorts.
And I also think we should keep in mind that the storyline the day of was this guy's a fucking professional. Did you see this? Look at this video. This hitman just took this guy out.
Counterpoint to that is I think most smart people after seeing that guy shoot that gun did not have that thought. They were like, that is not a fucking professional. That was my thought. I was like, that ain't fucking professional.
What part about it made you think that?
Because he fucking had to...
That's what made him professional.
Huh?
That's what made him professional. He didn't even take the chance of a jam. He just... He cleared it every time for 100% success rate. Okay. I mean, okay. If it's a 3D printed homemade gun, then it probably jams a lot. So the fact that he did that was actually smart.
I'm honestly, if you ask me, I don't think the shooter and Luigi are the same person. That's my.
Well, and that's what I've been trying to get to. So we're arguing over nothing because I don't even think it's the same guy. Yeah. And I don't think that back pain caused this random guy from Altoona to go do it.
He's not from Altoona.
He's from Maryland. So I guess here are the questions. Here's some.
What was he doing in Altoona? There's nothing to do with Altoona. There's only heroin in Altoona. It wasn't him.
Do you speak German? You should do that.
There's our short clip. There's our short promo.
Yeah, there's your first clip.
So,
put it on the channel.
So
live.
It's 8 o'clock on the dot. I don't know what that means for Twitter and X and all that.
They're going to 9.
Twitter's going till 9.
Yeah.
Nate, yeah, it's awesome. So you guys should stay. But
and they're also the same thing. Did you know that? Twitter and X?
Twitter X, formerly
I didn't even
known
catch
as
that. That's a good insult.
X, Y, and Z, ABC. Anyway, so questions. This dude was so incredibly wealthy. He's from my home state of Maryland. So this idea that insurance is his biggest thing, I don't know. These are just my questions. Doesn't mean they make so much sense because, John doesn't make sense either. So
it does make sense that the killer would come from a wealthy family, though. It's
no, that's not my point. He was wealthy enough, so why would he have such a problem with insurance?
Because he was in chronic pain.
No, I'm just asking questions.
I answered it. What are you mad at me?
Because he felt so bad for all the other people that have been spited.
Yes, so then that's the point that some people are making.
And then they're trying to make him into Robin Hood.
The second thing is, apparently it came out, I heard about it yesterday, this morning, that he was denied something, but we don't even know if it was United Health yet. Also, did we forget about the fact that Brian Thompson was under investigation by his own company when this happened, and then the stock skyrocketed? All of that still matters. I just think there's a lot more going on here than we want to give credit for.
It's an intelligent take.
It is fascinating the stock went up. How does the stock go up after your CEO gets murdered in the street?
It's almost like people wanted him to die at his own company.
Well, you guys are acting like we haven't.
But also, I don't know what happened to that earnings call. It could have been a really good earnings call.
We haven't learned this concept of how. So, say some other rich super asshole wanted this rich asshole dead, and we now know that the FBI probably, allegedly, looks for compromised individuals and points them in certain directions and things like that. I mean, isn't that the Thomas Crooks argument?
That's been my whole thought process for the whole thing, especially when it was a 2-page manifesto.
So he's on the internet, Luigi I'm talking about now, and he's in chronic pain. He's like, fuck the healthcare, fuck this, fuck that. And the FBI that tracks everything and wants Brian Thompson dead makes a little fucking play date for the two of them or something like that. I don't know. Is that not the theory? If it is a conspiracy? Somebody powerful wanted Brian Thompson dead.
Do you remember?
And here comes Luigi Mangione or whatever.
He also had to have been in State College at one point, if you think about it. There's no way to drive from New York City to Altoona without driving through State College.
You're probably right.
Probably took the bypass, though.
I didn't really see it. He was in and out. But
do you remember something that you said last week where you were, I think John said this last week, where he was talking about the fact that, oh, wait, did I just have a Michael moment? No, I remember. No. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. That was really rude. We were talking about the fact that if someone wants to kill someone else, we don't necessarily know how they're going to do it or why, but then other people can be behind them committing the crime. But dang, I just forgot what I was gonna say.
Can't help it.
I wasn't listening to anything you said, so
Yeah, I was pretty zoned
I
out,
was
too.
fucking zoned
woman
the
talking
fuck out.
But Colin, I will say this: like, you're right that this is a breaking story, and we don't know all the details. So he could have an accomplice.
And Jack, I'll be honest, that's why I'm kind of hesitant to put his manifesto up there, because I just don't know how much of that's even true at this point.
No, I don't think we should put the manifesto up there. Don't give him credit. No. I just remember what we were going to say. I think he's just a patsy. John brought it up, the possibility, before we even knew what he looked like, the possibility of him being a patsy. And it's easier to say we caught the guy, so then people stop looking into Brian Thompson's death if they know that the guy who killed Brian Thompson, so allegedly, is like caught. You know, people would stop questioning the entire situation. People would stop questioning the fact that United Health was looking into this guy if the guy is already dead. Does that make sense? Because remember, our theory last week was that the United Health, like the CEO and the company and the exec board or whatever, were all doing a bunch of shady stuff, and then one of them got caught, and one of them might have been involved and was going to tell and all this other stuff, and now that he's dead, no one's talking about that anymore.
I'll tell you when I will say that I think Luigi did it is when somebody else kills him.
Yes, I do. Well, not necessarily that he did it, but maybe that he knows something.
That he was involved. Same way Lee Harvey Oswald was. Like, do I think Lee Harvey Oswald actually killed Kennedy? No. But I don't think that they kill him for not being involved.
Yeah.
They could kill. Yeah, that's a good take.
Yeah,
that's a good
but
take.
guys, here's a what if scenario. What if his accomplice was named Mario?
And they're
You're
plumbers.
supposed to say Wario. Is it Wario?
No, that's their cousin.
Oh,
Mario.
Waluigi. I think.
Wario
is also one. There's a Wario, and there's a Waluigi.
There's also Waluigi.
Waluigi's the tall one, right? And Wario's the short, fat one.
Yep.
I remembered what I was going to say that he said, and then he left the room and didn't hear it. So it's kind of sad.
What's up?
Well, should we move on to Hawk Tuah?
Yeah,
sure.
guess.
Can I?
Sorry. Yeah, of course.
Can I?
Yes.
To my topic.
Yeah. What? No. We had an order. I think Mihai was next, and then you were after. Don't worry, we'll get to
Wait,
it.
I thought me. Oh, sorry, Mihai. I thought you already went. My bad.
No, we'll get
I
to
don't
it.
care. Do you want to do your topic first? Yours kind of goes.
No, I don't.
Trump's-
This Luigi
Trump
Mangione
person of the year?
topic.
Well, let me just quickly throw I don't know how comfortable you guys are with the temperature, but this game. It's so fucking cold here. It's really sucking.
I'm honestly not that cold today.
Okay, you guys got me riled up.
All right, well, then I'm going to go smoke real quick while you guys talk, and I'll be back, and we'll get through
You don't
want
want to talk about Tuah?
We'll get through everybody's topics then.
You want to talk
If you're
Tuah
cool
me?
with it.
Yeah.
Ew.
What are you mad about getting through everybody's topics?
What? No, I'm not.
You seem like I said we'll get through everybody's topics, and you were like,
Yeah.
Fuck you, goddamn!
It's only 8:06.
No,
We're going until 9, right?
No,
Who
the Luigi
smokes
Mangione
menthols?
topic
Yeah.
pissed me off.
Oh, I see.
I had enough of that.
I see.
Why did that piss you off?
Michael Matthew Rice says Mike is high maintenance. Is that true?
I'm gonna.
Do you want me to bring you a
Does
snack?
she smoke
I didn't say
menthols?
it.
Are you talking about me?
Okay. I just
I mean, I could just smoke it here.
Oh,
do
I'm
it.
down.
We don't care.
Wait. The last time I was here, my hair smelled like smoke for 3 days.
That's because I was ashing
No, it's because
on
I
your
smoke
head.
a cigar. It's because I smoke.
You
a
didn't
cigar.
notice this, but I was
Anyway.
ashing.
No, you can do whatever. I don't care.
Anyway, the whole I just don't think in the end the Luigi Mangione topic really matters that much.
No, I think it matters a lot.
You can
I'm
say that, but
scared.
at the end of the day, everyone's talking about it.
I'm scared.
Yeah,
Well,
I said this last week, but do you think people are going to be incentivized to do this sort of vigilante justice?
Absolutely.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
I don't
this
see how
sort
they're
of
not.
stuff-
I think so.
When the media says this sort of stuff all the time, it never really fully comes to fruition. Like this doesn't. This isn't gonna. It might inspire another case in the future, sure, but it's not going to lead to a noticeable uptick. Nothing like this ever like video games don't, and I don't play video games. Like all of these things that supposedly lead to more violence are never actually able to be shown.
Well, I mean, if one more
on
person-
a graph,
That's a big
on a
deal.
statistical graph.
Okay, yes. So if one more does it, then what? It's like 1,000% increase from last year.
That's
like
the thing. It's like these things don't
do you
happen
mean?
very
Well,
often.
no, because going forward, the dude could be inspired by him, but then from somebody else, and it's still that one person per year.
That's a
They-
huge
But
Yeah,
they were,
that's
but
that
again,
is
going back to the
a
insane
definitive
topic
increase.
before, like these people just find random excuses for why they do things. It's not
No,
necessarily
but-
because of
I
that.
feel like you've
But
walked
it's
yourself
not-
into a corner now.
No,
and now
I'm
you're defending
not.
it.
Here's
No,
my thing.
I didn't.
So we know that assassinations have like statistically objectively gone down since the 1960s and 70s. Like people used to get killed like this all the time. MLK, JFK, RFK.
They used
Malcolm
to before
X,
that.
Malcolm X.
Before that, assassinations happened.
If John
all the
was here,
time.
he'd really
Yeah.
appreciate that, Chronic, but I'll put it up anyways.
chronic. Oh, we're
like
big
the
fans
leader
of
of Austria-Hungary.
No, I'm just
like
my point
3
is
presidents
like,
before that.
But I guess my point is like the law. Okay, so politics is downstream of culture and vice versa. Like if the culture is a certain way and the culture is encouraging people to behave this way, we shouldn't act surprised when they do. We also shouldn't just act like they're not intertwined at all. I mean, we could take this back to like a random topic like pro-life. If people are pro-life, if you think that sex is inconsequential, then expect to see an increase in abortions, especially by people who think abortion is okay. So I am worried when I hear people say it is okay to kill CEOs, it is okay to do yada, 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 and then the people who do it, like Luigi, get praised for it. If you are a worthless piece of scum with nothing to lose and you find yourself capable and smart enough to do the same thing to the CEO of insert company, then of course we're going to see more of these things happen. And the reason why I'm worried is we already know these people's logic isn't sane. Like Jack just pointed it out, like technically if you want to get into the weeds of it, Brian Thompson's not responsible because their whole thing is like wacko. I could be considered bad enough or evil enough just for being conservative to a lot of these people. These are the same people who wanted Trump to die. That's the thing, no one's talking about it. A lot of the people who are encouraging Luigi or fawning over him were also mad that Trump didn't die in July.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same group of people.
Well, but the thing is, there are people on the right who don't realize that, and then they are also agreeing with the people on the left. So they're like, oh, this is the one issue that unites the right and the left. The reason why I care is like, we are the minority. I mean, even though we're technically the silent majority, we still are the minority. The media, music, movies, they're all against us. And if the culture's against us too, then this vigilante justice can be taken out on people who are like us. That's why I'm worried.
I'm sorry.
100%.
I get the baseline logic. I'm not saying that's wrong because, frankly, I would agree with that. However, statistically, I'm going to, unless we see an increase after this, I'm going to hold to the statistics are going to be the same as they were last time. And there might be one person.
What statistics, though?
Like, the statistics, like, this sort of crime does not happen.
Trump almost died.
But that's the
Trump
point.
almost died. I mean, think.
And
so
it never really necessarily has ever happened often. But it's consistent
what is your definition
throughout
of often?
history.
What's your definition of often?
Well, like...
This is supposed to never happen.
Yeah, and I don't understand. President's the most dangerous job in the world.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you just backed up my point. Since
how?
the 1800s, this has been happening. Andrew Jackson. Yes.
No, it's been happening for all.
No. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making, it doesn't take a large number to be a percentage dangerous. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
So what are you trying to say? If 2 CEOs get murdered this year, that'll be 200% more than were murdered last year. So what are you trying to say?
Do you know that statistically? No, what I'm saying is that these murderers are going to find reasonings, like we were saying earlier, for what they do. It doesn't mean that Luigi Mangione is going to inspire more people to do it because he won't. This has never happened statistically before. They just find reasons.
You just can't speak in definitives like that. You cannot say that he will not.
I'll let Jack talk real quick, and then I can say something.
Yeah, and Michael, it's not just Luigi; it's the entire culture. Like I see Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, just tons of people in the public just saying how cool this guy is, and
I agree.
That's
a problem.
Concerning to see.
But I don't think it's going to lead to a statistical increase.
Wait, I have a question.
Sorry.
So, do you see that this is the same? I think I'm kind of understanding your point. Do you see that this is the same logic that pro-choice people say when it comes to Roe v. Wade, that there's no purpose in advancing pro-life legislation because abortions happen regardless. And this is the same way. There's no purpose.
I don't think the two are mutually exclusive.
It's not about exclusivity. It's about how parallel and how similar they are. It's not about exclusivity. So it's there's no purpose in changing the culture because people are going to go out and get abortions regardless. No, I care about what the culture says because hear this. Maybe this will
it's not that I'm not.
Maybe this will make.
I fundamentally understand.
Wait,
I fundamentally agree with you.
I'll make a point, and then let's see what your take is on this specific point, and then I'll shut up, literally. So you care about Trump. I know you're a huge Trump fan, as am I, but I think you're a mega Trump fan. Trump becomes president in a month, 6 weeks. If so many more people, especially in our generation, who are technologically savvy enough to pull off this CEO killing of Brian Thompson, which they want us to believe Luigi did by himself, are you not worried that people our age are going to think it is okay, possible, and even achievable to go out and kill the next president of the United States? They think Trump is a million times worse than Brian Thompson. Aren't you not worried about stuff like that?
Okay.
And then if they do carry it off, Jimmy Kimmel and Taylor Lorenz and all these crazy liberal people are going to be defending them. And they're not even going to get the death penalty. They're just going to get free healthcare and free food and free shelter in jail. It worries me. It worries me.
I get what you're saying, and putting it in that context doesn't change. Fundamentally, philosophically, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that there's always a section of society throughout history that has always been kind of insane enough to do this.
Yes.
And I don't think that you could get more action from that aspect of the society, but I don't think it'll ever spread, if that makes any sense.
Why not?
The statistic will always remain small.
Why not?
Because
there's a reason why we don't say the names of mass shooters. There's a reason why we try not to publicize.
Yeah, I mean, that's would you say school shootings have gone down since Columbine?
Well,
no, they've definitely gone up. There's probably a bunch.
Do you see what I'm trying to say, though?
But I agree.
I get that point. Again, I don't disagree outside of the one part, which is the one will it be statistically higher because of Luigi Mangione? No.
We don't
it
know
won't
that.
be because
I pray
him.
that you are correct. But my point
it'll be several okay, here. I think you finally worked me towards the answer. It'll be because of several factors. He might play a role if there is an increase, but it would be several factors combining together.
I'd rather say it's the catalyst. He's the catalyst and the total result, the complete picture of what our society has been going towards because of the hate towards the capitalism and patriarchy and Trump and all this other stuff. And then we're surprised when it happens against someone who's not Trump. And then we're like, oh, there's not going to be a statistical increase. No, there is. They tried it with Trump. They just weren't successful. Brian Thompson was the next guy.
I was there.
And Brian Thompson is not even as good of a guy as Trump. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Michael, your main argument is correlation does not equal causation. Even if Luigi is a symptom, that does not mean he's the main cause. So what do you think would be the main cause in hypothetically an increase in politically motivated murders from leftists? What do you think would be the main cause?
Well, if we want to look at causes, there's a lot of things, and they've been building up for a while. Rhetoric is a big one. I think rhetoric is a deeper issue than even people going out and doing the act, because that is the base of making the act okay, is the actual rhetoric behind it, saying, this guy is a Nazi, because then, or whatever the hell, and then that fundamentally opens the door for crazies or whatever to, be able to accomplish that act. I think rhetoric
is that not literally what we're saying?
Yeah, see, Michael, I find that position more agreeable, actually, because Luigi by himself is nothing. But if he has if he has institutional backing of people downplaying what he did, that matters more. But that's rhetoric at the end of the day.
Well, but actually, I think if we just take a step before rhetoric, so you were talking about if calling people Nazis rhetoric, that's what justifies the violence, so that's why it's a problem. Why is it okay to kill Nazis? In Minecraft, in the general scheme of all of it, why did it become okay to kill Nazis? Because Nazis were killed and it was okay in World War II. So my point is, if a bunch of people keep saying it's okay to kill CEOs, and then people kill CEOs, which makes more people to say that, then CEO will become the new Nazi. And the main problem is we can't even define CEO or evil man or Brian Thompson, because it's not even as clear as being as evil as a Nazi. That's my point. It's it's on a slippery slope. We've jumped off a cliff. And now we're trying to contextualize assassinations. In what world have we done that for someone who's not a war criminal? Does that make sense? If we were in war and then we killed the other guy's president, it'd make more sense. But this is literally some abstract situation. Health insurance, one of the least understandable concepts out there.
It's, again,
valid.
I'm not disagreeing with y'all. I just don't think that Luigi Mangione alone will be a cop.
Hey, just give me a quick summary of everything you just talked about, and then I'll tell you why you're wrong.
Okay.
Don't play into him. He's been watching the whole time. He's been commenting.
Michael was talking. He was. It's true.
No, he wasn't. He was just done.
Look at the disappointment and sadness in his face.
Well,
Michael
yeah,
Scott, that's amazing.
Don't we want to? Okay.
Finish your thought.
He was done.
Ignore these people. Finish your thought. Didn't you? You were finishing a
He
thought.
was
weren't you?
literally done.
Mihai, can we start your topic? That's all I was.
You
gonna
don't
say.
want to. You don't want to finish your thought.
You suck.
No, because
He
that was
finished
the
it.
thought. Yeah, that was the thought. I want Mihai to get to his topic.
All
Because
up in a
I've had enough of
Kool-Aid,
this.
don't even know the flavor.
Okay.
Bring
That's a
on the
good
Talk
point.
Tuah coin. Mihai.
Yeah, let's go. Let's spit on this thing.
Oh.
And okay. Oh, jeez.
So I pulled.
Did I just kill the vibe?
No.
Do you want me to go back
The
out?
vibe was
already
not
down.
high while you were gone.
I can go smoke more.
No, you're fine. I think his comment killed the vibe for me.
Huck to a girl launched a meme coin and everybody lost their money. People want her thrown in jail. Coming at you from John Rich at Barstool Sports. They have a total breakdown with the timeline on it. So here we are at 5:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
My Hawk meme coin is live!
And you can.
My Hawk meme coin is live!
Oh man, I was about to compliment
So-
you on finding a 3-second video.
A lot of people, a lot of people, for whatever reason, decided that was enough to make them buy her meme coin. As you can see by the context right below, 96% of token supply has been sniped and slowly been sold. So long story short, they sold immediately after, like as soon as it
was,
launched.
yet another pump and dump.
It was a pump and dump by. We'll just keep going through here.
Yeah, go
so
ahead,
there's
sorry.
this guy. He lost 20,000.
What's up, Haley? Hawk to a girl.
That's what I'm saying. Just
I
because that
just
video.
bought your token, and I'm down about like $20,000 right now. I'll flip it around real quick. We can take a look at this chart. So as you can see right here, I bought the token
So
here
this
around
guy's a
like
dumbass.
$500 million
Got it.
market cap, and right now it's sitting at like 70 mil. And so I was just wondering if I could get like a refund for this, or like what the fuck is going on here, because I don't know, this isn't really looking the best, and I kind of bought.
And then you get the classic South Park. And it's gone. And then wait, 5:49. So that's 30 minutes after the
Oh my
launch.
God.
This is during the launch, so right before, right after.
So how does this happen? Because I'm not a good stock guy. So how does something immediately launch and then drop
So
off
what
the
they
cliff?
do to launch to create fake value in it, they give out a bunch of coins to people that have access to it beforehand. So this will be like investors. or-
Michael, the term of art for this is pump and dump.
Yes.
Okay.
But the
So they
theory-
hand the money out beforehand.
Yeah, they give a certain amount of there's a select number of coins probably beforehand that they didn't disclose was already sold to people, and then they would have access to selling those coins before anyone else that now is buying them. So as soon as all these new people come in and buy up coin, this inflated value coin, as soon as those people buy it and then the price doubles, all those initial people, those initial investors that were given the free coins,
They then dump.
they then sell all their holdings, doubling their money while cutting everybody else in half.
The
But
pump
why
is hype.
wouldn't
So
you-
Hawk to a girl.
Yeah.
They say there's $100, right?
Yeah.
Or 100 diamonds, let's say, and they're each worth $1. But you own all of them.
Okay.
So you give 80% of you give 80 of the 100 diamonds to your friends, or you keep 80 of them yourself, and they're worth $1. And then you do this hype campaign. Hey, I'm releasing this new crypto coin, and everybody gets all excited to buy it, but they don't know that you're only technically selling 20% of it. They think that's all of it, and so then the hype will drive the price up because it has demand, supply, demand.
Because a
And so
3-second video, my
you
hot
sell-
coins live, y'all.
You start selling these for much more than $1, and then your $1 that you own becomes more valuable. You sell all of it, fucking tanks the price.
I just don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you just keep it to see if more people buy into it then?
Over time, they all go to zero.
Why take the risk of letting it
There's no
go
that
lose
makes
value over
sense
time?
for like the stock of a company like Tesla, who's actually
Yeah.
producing things
Yeah.
and keeps growing it. That's the gamble. The joke is, if you want to make money in the stock market, you just buy the entire market because it goes up over time.
I just
It's like
don't.
the hardest. Everybody wants to do these get rich quick things. It plays into human psychology, but statistically, the only way, basically, other than getting lucky to make money in the stock market, is to buy these like blue chip stocks that will go out, like Microsoft, Apple, Tesla's probably one of them. The one right now that I think everybody should buy is Palantir, that is owned by Peter Thiel, at least for the next 4 years. But yeah, so if it's all just smoke and mirrors, then the value comes purely from the hype.
But why would other people then buy? Like, if
because they're fucking stupid.
Well, but like, I just don't understand.
So
this is
where
why I
were
don't
you
like
in the whole
stocks.
Dogecoin thing?
Well, no,
this
like,
is not
see,
the same.
I don't.
This is crypto, so it's not exactly the same.
For me,
they believe the hype. That's why. That's why there's the famous saying, "Don't believe the hype."
Just to add some context, I hate stock stuff. I'm gonna have somebody do my stock stuff for me. Like I don't stuff. I hate money. I just don't understand how this works. Like this is
fake.
I
this
agree.
is
Barter.
completely.
We gotta go back to barter.
No, this is completely like people say that money and math is.
But this isn't
complete
stocks. Like, don't
logic.
think that this is what
not
you should be
logic.
invested in.
This
Like-
is not logical.
Mia, can you pull up that clip from Wolf
just
of
don't
Wall Street with
understand.
Matthew McConaughey and
it's
Leonardo
it's fake.
DiCaprio?
It's Fugazi. It's
Can you
Yes,
pull
I
that
know
up?
that scene. I've seen this. I've seen Wolf of
I know,
Wall Street
it's
like
still a
5
good-
times.
still a good
It's
scene.
a good
So
movie.
okay, so if we can move past like what pump and dump is, because I think most people understand what it is. Like
I now know what it is.
No, it's okay, it's okay. But I just my thing is, why is this necessarily illegal?
It's not.
Well, I think there's a
It's sort of like gambling.
well, I think
Okay.
And
Ow.
Sorry, go ahead.
Lima was getting in there.
I think the specific detail that determines whether or not this is illegal is if they planned on pumping and dumping this
Correct.
before. But then there would have to be specific evidence of that.
Correct. How do you prove somebody? So I mean, again, it's a movie and whatnot, but nobody knows. I don't care if it's Warren Buffett or whoever, whether a stock's going to go up, down, or in circles. I think there's quite a bit of truth to that. The only time that's not true if you're on the inside and you're playing some sort of game, like I don't know, Nancy Pelosi does.
Right.
She sure seems to know.
Yep.
Right.
But other than her,
That's called insider trading.
in fact, there's this hilarious meme going on now. Her versus the inverse Kramer. You guys seen that?
So like, what is how? Okay, but like, how do people know before like?
Because they tell
for
them.
insider trading, like this sort of stuff. How do people
something like
know
this.
before? Like
so
if you
say
don't
you work at a
because
big
you just-
pharmaceutical company,
Yeah.
and you know that they're working on a cancer curing drug or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, the company elites know, but nobody else knows that it works. So now you know, like 1 month in the future, your company is going to announce that you just created a cancer curing drug.
You would buy into it then, and okay.
Or, there's all kinds of things like this. And the reason that politicians have such a good advantage to insider trading is because they control what laws they vote on and things. And they know
Okay.
Nancy Pelosi's level, if it's all corrupt, she knows what laws will and won't
But
be
how
passed.
do you
So say-
know?
Well, it could be
how do
something
you know
like
if a stock goes down instead? So, like for instance, we always talk about like
'Cause she knows
I've
that they
heard
didn't get the bid for the contract.
Say there's this stock that produces copper, and they're
Yeah.
based in the United States, and you're a U.S. Nancy Pelosi level person, and you know we're about to sign a trade deal with fucking, I don't know, Uganda for a bunch of really cheap copper. So all copper's going to flood the market. It's going to get really cheap. Everybody that produces copper stock's going to go down. But the average person doesn't know that. You just know that I'm in the U.S. government. We're about to vote on this bill for copper for Uganda, and I know it's going to pass. So you short all American copper because you know they're going to fucking tank. And that could be copper, it could be lithium, it could be gold, it could be silver, it could be any commodity. It could be fucking orange juice. Isn't that the plot of Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd?
I love orange juice.
I haven't seen that movie in a
understand
long
insider
time.
trading? Great comedy movie, Trading Places.
I know him. Yeah.
I
Homeless guy
apologize.
from the
I
street.
just have no like. I am a official dumbass when it comes to.
Here's
stock
actually
stuff.
I should have thought of this right off the bat, Michael. The most famous example in history of insider trading is Napoleon and the Battle of Waterloo and the Rothschilds. It's how the Rothschilds bought England. The greatest wealth transfer in the history of the world, they say. The Rothschilds were funding both sides of the war, Napoleon and everybody else.
Okay.
And Napoleon was going into battle with the Duke of Wellington at Waterloo, and the Rothschild had multiple agents at this battle watching to see who would win. And sure enough, they realized the Duke of Wellington was going to win. He was going to defeat Napoleon, and France was going to crumble, and England was going to be in great shape. And so their agents rushed from the battle and told the Rothschilds, hey, England's going to win and France is going to lose. And so what Nathaniel Rothschild started doing was selling all his stock. Seems counterintuitive for why would he sell if he knows all this English stock's going to be really valuable? Well, there was no regulations at the time. The stock market had just been invented. And so Nathaniel Rothschild, the Rothschilds were already very rich. Everybody else that owned stock in England was like, holy fuck, he knows something we don't. And so they started a panic sell. And all the prices
and then it went down and he
crashed
bought
to
back
nothing.
into it.
And when it got at the bottom, the Rothschilds bought all of England.
40 chess, honestly.
And sure enough, all of a sudden the regular news hit. Oh, we won.
Really?
And to this day, no one knows just how much money the Rothschilds
just
have.
literally took over England. And that is literally what happens in trading places, except it's orange juice concentrate futures. That Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd get screwed
just so you
with
know,
by
I'm
these
not going to watch
But
this,
essentially, they at the climax of the movie and their redemption is they got screwed over by these rich guys. And so they screw them over back because they know something's happening with orange juice, and so they short it, and then they get it. Same thing.
The OG TLT is so funny. He said it, but it went up earlier. Where he was like, they also bought the Catholic Church, which I think is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
they
no
did.
Comments.
What?
No. Whatever.
Okay.
Question.
Who's they?
So,
Rothschilds.
No question.
Oh.
Okay. Question to Mihaly about his topic, like this whole hawk, whatever her name is. So I feel bad for her only for one reason. Someone clearly came to her with this idea, and they only needed her name and her likeness to make this coin popular.
I think you're right.
And then she was just like, oh, yeah, of course,
Well,
whatever.
here, listen. So this is the creators along with her.
Oh, I like CoffeeZilla.
In a space. So this one's actually funny because normally it would be CoffeeZilla that like uncovers these things, but this one was so out in the open and so obvious that CoffeeZilla didn't even have to investigate. He just joined a Twitter space and this. Oh, jeez.
So are these public?
One of these days, I'm going to learn the right button, and that's the one.
Why
This is one of the most miserable, horrible launches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, then why the fuck are you on?
I've been tracing it on chain for a while. You guys generated over $1 million in fees while y'all's fans got rug pulled. There was snipers, but there was also insider trading directly linked to y'all's creator account. What are you guys doing?
No. That's not true.
That is true. That's a fact.
It's not.
Well, it's a fact, and you can see it on chain. So.
Yeah, we know. We trust me. We were there. We could answer that.
You know about the insider trading?
No, there's no insider trading. That's why we can answer it.
Okay, so there's tokens going directly from the main account.
CoffeeZilla, just chill for a second.
And to your point, I'm curious who this guy is in this whole process because he later goes on to then totally throw Haley Welch under the bus.
Well, so Kale was saying she feels like Haley Welch was a useful idiot. This is the guy this is the guy that used her. He's
exactly.
The guy
in this very video, like
the guy
6
that
minutes,
CoffeeZilla's calling out that is arguing with CoffeeZilla, he's the brains behind the scam.
Exactly, but he even goes as far as to say that she is the sole proprietor of the coin at the end of this.
Because he doesn't want to
throws it all back on him.
And what does she say?
She does not respond. She actually in this Twitter, in this space, she went to bed early. Like she just straight up left. Why do I?
We gotta color that button for you or something.
Okay, yeah, we should. It's the guild one. That's the.
Just hate me.
It's new to my whole rotation over
there.
there.
He just hates
but
me.
This is not the first time this happened this year. I remember Boogie2988. He had his own shit scam coin.
I feel like this happens like every 3 months now.
Wait, Jack, did you see? Okay, so Boogie is now on a podcast, right? With Keemstar and Wings of Redemption. And Chantal, that the locale that I'm addicted to on the side, went on the podcast the other night. There's this whole lore about it. It is crazy. She went on there. She was on the podcast. She gave permission to Keemstar to show her nudes to everyone else in the chat, and then she ended up going on her own channel later saying she was abused by them, even though she gave consent. They talked about her husband's shit fetish on there as well, and then she's like, "Ooh, I'm a Muslim now. I can't do that."
So,
all right, make that make sense to anything we're talking about.
No, it's just she went on the podcast. She went on the podcast. She went on Boogie's podcast.
So
who the fuck is Boogie, and why does it have anything to do with what I'm talking about?
So
I'm with Mihai on this. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's locales. It is fat people.
So a few weeks ago, when we were all because we decided, I don't know if the people noticed, like instead of doing a bunch of topics, we try to bring like one topic per person and go through it or whatever in detail. A few weeks ago, instead of whatever topic I brought, or I don't even know if I brought one, I was going to bring up the fact that there was a 14-year-old kid who did the same thing. and he made like
I did see
$20,000, and they doxed him so badly. And then it's like she must have just not been aware of how viral of a story that was, or maybe this like Hawk coin or whatever was already in, like it was already in the process of being done or whatever. But you just saw what they did to this 13-year-old kid.
I was almost happy for that kid. Did you see that video?
I was very happy for that kid.
He's like, losers, I got you. Sold, bye, and then ends the stream.
Yes, it's the LOLCal podcast. It's the LOLCal podcast. Jack, when I saw her go on there the other day, I was baffled. It was crazy. This whole new community now hates her because she's like, because she blamed them for everything she consented to. So.
So here's my thing. I know a lot of Democrats hate cryptocurrency and all this, but it's like, I don't hate it. I have a lot of money in Doge, just putting that out there. This was like during like
your mic is still on. If you
during the whole AMC GameStop thing for the Warriors, for the people who survived that, I was part of that.
You could have said that, Mike.
But here's the thing. Don't you guys think that this needs a little bit of regulation though? Like just something.
Fuck regulation.
No, I'm anti-regulation too.
Okay, all right.
I agree with her.
But I just don't know what it will look like.
Well,
so I don't know if I
Teddy Roosevelt was the greatest president in American history because there was some regulation.
No, I don't even know if I agree with myself. I don't even know if I agree with myself. I'm just putting it out there.
Let me throw this out. You can tell me if it makes sense or not. But here's my opinion on regulation. Is something does need to be regulated, but it's either the market to protect smart, innocent people from scammers, or regulate your intelligence to a higher level and just don't buy fucking Hawk 2 coin. Like you can self-regulate.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's an argument to be made. Like I didn't buy it. Everyone I know didn't buy it. A fool and his money are soon parted. Mark Twainy.
Cryptocurrency just makes what Wall Street does more obvious for us to understand. But
Good
Wall
point.
Street does this all the time.
Good
They
point.
do this with the housing market. The housing market was the biggest pump and dump, and it took a bunch of years, and then we all
So
paid
what
for
happened there then? Now that I have a little bit
that's too much. It's The Big Short.
Watch The Big Short.
The Big Short. I can't get into that.
Is it a docuseries?
It's
or
a
something?
movie.
No, it's a movie. It's good.
With Brad Pitt.
You know, another movie that's actually pretty good that gets doesn't get credit is Margin Call.
Okay.
You ever seen that?
That's all. Yeah, that is a good movie. Yeah.
Can we talk just a little bit about my topic? Like, it doesn't need to be too long, but just a
as long as you want,
dude. Why you keep getting butthurt? Like we're not going to talk about your topic.
Yeah, we got time.
Well,
we got a lot of time. We could be here for as long as we want.
That is true.
Well,
I don't know
not
because
that long, but
okay. Partially because they said they were going to choose Kamala Harris.
Who's they?
Times. And then they didn't.
Why are you saying it like that? Times.
Because they didn't. Because they didn't.
Just real. I think I'm just gonna have.
What is that?
Hold on, just before I don't want to derail it later when I do. So, do you guys care if I smoke a cigarette in here?
No, I don't.
No, I don't care.
If you give me one.
So you're pro big tobacco, huh?
I'll just have to.
Yeah, John, I care.
Only if you get Joe Camel to come in here and
As long
smoke
as
with me.
nothing crazy happens.
You're gonna give me cancer, John. What do you think you're doing?
Sorry, Jack. You're gonna get a fucking plume downwind over there in Indiana, where
Just
the
say
fuck
no.
you are.
Just say no. I wonder if my lungs look like those pig lungs that they use to scare people.
That shit ain't real.
That's what I just said. The pig lungs.
Damn, that was a.
Yeah.
Damn.
What do all of our lungs look like, honestly?
Mine already look like shit. Mine are already dead.
Michael, I added a short list.
It's
an
empty chair.
Okay.
I'm trying.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good.
Okay.
These were his. These are the people competing against Trump for Times Person of the Year.
Yeah, I don't care if you added something. Go ahead, play it beforehand. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's just a picture.
Okay.
If Mihaly wants to pull it up. Yeah.
I think he's trying to. He's looking.
Which one?
No, he can take his time. So
Do you really
short
not
list.
care?
It's under.
The short list for people
You're the one
who.
I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
Time magazine short list. Yeah.
Smoke like you mean it.
We may get showered by anti-fire
No,
devices.
don't say it. Don't say it. I don't believe in jinxing, but don't.
Yeah, so these are all the people that were competing against Trump for Time Person of the Year.
If it was Netanyahu, America would be on fire.
No, and guess what? Okay, so earlier today, Ben Shapiro, in all of his dumbassery, went on his podcast and said, so at the top of the list was Kamala Harris. We knew she wasn't going to get it. Then Benjamin Netanyahu. There's an argument there that he should have got it. But obviously it was
Of
going
course
to
he
be
would say
Trump.
that.
Like,
You know,
no, he
I
definitely should
suddenly
not have
had
got
an
it.
epiphany, and I understand why this happened, because this is going to be Time's excuse for why they gave Hitler Man a Person of the Year.
Oh.
John, do
Famous
you know
stain
who else?
on Time.
That's actually...
John, do you know who else was Time Person of the Year?
Was it Osama bin Laden?
It was you
Close.
and
Oh.
Polly and me and Michael and me.
Yeah, I do remember that.
when
I
they did
remember that. Was that
yeah.
2016 or something? I do remember that.
What are you talking about?
I was 12.
You were the person
So
of the year.
one year they just did a whole big ass mirror for their cover
Okay.
showing your face.
Oh my God.
So
you were.
You think you look really cool right now, smoking on camera?
So basically,
I'm a smoker.
No,
Evan.
no, you said, "Oh my gosh," that's what you were talking about.
He doesn't hold it the cool way though. He doesn't hold it. He doesn't hold it the leather jacket. Yeah, there you go. The leather jacket wearing, hair slicked back. Fucking.
Okay. There's so many ways. You can do the little fucking a little Vulcan if you
for
want.
the Halloween show, we should have just all showed up dressed up like John.
That's
That
You know, the rarely seen pinch it between the ring and pinky fingers.
Oh,
I would
so much nuance there.
judge the person that does
All
that
right.
immediately.
So
this might become my favorite.
Is that how like British aristocrats smoke cigs?
You have one of these guys.
Oh
Hands
my
free?
gosh.
Can you
Mom, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Stop,
Hey,
stop.
I'm just
take that out of your nose.
I'm influencing. Excuse me, I'm influencing you. I'm being an influencer.
You're like shaving years off your life.
This is our
Promise?
fearless. This is our fearless leader right here.
Yeah, that's something like that.
I don't know
Subscribe
about
to-
leader. I don't know about good dude, but fearless is
I was about
definitely
to say.
that part is true.
Don't let your mean
Andrew, what's up? How you doing, brother? Yes, that is a very good comment. Yeah.
Your license is in the studio.
Yep.
Yeah,
Uh,
John.
Oh yeah, your
John,
wallet.
will you blow
know.
Wait, let Jack talk, because he's talking to me
John,
and I'm
will you blow your-
important.
When you blow your nose from now on, are your boogers gonna be charcoal or something?
God.
You got me. You burned me, Jack.
What did he say?
That was so bad. That was.
Jack, that's just Jack's tism. He's just hasn't killed a prostitute lately, and he's just fiending a little bit. Give him a break.
So
Anyway, can you bring up the picture again?
For a few months ago, I started going through all the Times people.
Hey, Chronic, don't you think too hard about
The
that?
Times
I saw that.
people?
I
Okay.
saw that.
Times persons of the years, like in the past, and I just realized like the list is not that impressive. Like if you go through the list from when it started, it's not that impressive. It's just something we're told we're supposed to care about.
Yeah.
And I realized it's not necessarily good people. It's just people who they think are important. So then they didn't want it to be Trump, but it had to be Trump.
Well,
because
yeah.
heroes died.
Well, no.
This is
that
not
was the whole-
necessarily an award.
Well, no, and
the obvious.
I wasn't. Well, no, that the whole point, as I was getting into this, was that they didn't want Trump to be Times Person of the Year. The whole point, in essence, whether it happens all the time in execution or not, is that it's supposed to be the most influential person of the year, regardless of wherever political view or however they stand. Like, for instance, if Nick Fuentes somehow had 500 million more followers, it could have been him.
No,
or
you're
something.
right. That is what they claim.
That's what they claim. And the funny thing is, it hasn't been like that for a few years now. But Trump was so influential this year that it had to be him. And any other person in consideration, even from the left wing who had heard that Kamala Harris was a consideration, laughed at times whenever they did, whenever people would say that, because it's idiotic. Nobody else had as much influence over just the pop culture aura this year as Donald John Trump.
Aura, that's one Gen Z term I haven't been able to comfortably use. But here's the thing, though. I feel like people know things and just do the opposite all the time anyway. Like, I wouldn't be that surprised if they didn't choose Trump. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump wasn't even on the list.
I mean,
people just shaft him like that all the
true.
time anyway.
Well, going
I'm
back to
surprised
the
they
old,
had to do it.
the old sociopath, if I ran Time, this is exactly what I would have done. It's a win-win in every way you slice it. Number one, it brings a bunch of pro-Trump people back to Time. You probably just sold a bunch of copies of that to people that would
I am going
otherwise
to buy it. I am going to buy
copy
one.
of Time in
It gives
past
this
20
little
years.
memory hook in that, okay, sometimes Time is fair because he chose my guy, even
Yep.
though they're not. And then they get to excuse it all away for their liberal fans by saying, hey, we always said this is just about influence.
That's a good
Like
It
call
was
it.
a perfect play by Time. If it
That's
was
a
a
good take.
sports game, it was a great shot.
Like
They
calling for
can't
instance,
lose.
I bought the Times one with like that great picture of Donald Trump from a couple weeks ago. You know, that one that went like mega viral. That normal copy, and I'm going to buy this one. It just backs up the point. Yes, because these are going to be valuable in a few years.
I don't know how about a few years ago, not a few hours ago, I was scrolling on Instagram and you posted the same time thing 4 times on your story. I was like, what the
Yes.
heck?
Do you guys know the
I do
term
that all
butt
the time.
fucking?
Huh?
Butt fucking?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I'm sure Mia's done this. Butt fucking.
Okay, I'll just take these off.
Whenever you're out drinking, and, when you're drinking and trying to smoke and nobody has a lighter, you find somebody smoking a cigarette.
Andrew, by the way, to your comment, I agree. Yes.
Is he
Societal is
Both
intelligence
the
is in the regulation.
Both the nostrils.
Yes, thank you, Andrew. You are right.
That was
we
the
need some
most-
regulation.
that was-
Anyway, so
wow, that
back
was life-changing information.
back to the main.
You're gonna act like it's nothing, but then you'll be in this Mexican cartel situation one day, and
As
they're
he
gonna
smokes
say,
another. Okay.
do you entiendes butt fucking?" And be like, "Yes, when you light a fucking cigarette with another cigarette."
But I learned it from a
bitch."
gringo
And you're gonna save your life.
in central Pennsylvania.
I just saved all your lives.
Anyway,
Thank you.
So
You'd be surprised, actually.
Okay, I've actually read most of this Times article. I'm not. I'll smoke it later, not while I'm talking.
Oh, I thought you were holding it. That's so funny. That's so funny. That is so funny.
Okay. Hi.
Look at your hands. Your
I
hands
am
look
normal.
30-something years old. No, talk. What are you
Okay.
gonna say?
So, stop it.
Just talk.
So,
try to make it look real. Keep that hand down.
Okay.
Bring back mime. The art
Okay.
of the mime.
So,
bring it back.
Anyway.
Do call
So
it.
the
Wait,
whole
call it real
okay.
quick.
Don't
So
go
the
to
whole
me. Don't go
topic
to me. Oh,
for
It's definitely
Well,
her
your
hand.
hand really fits with her.
okay, so the whole Times article, I've read most of it, and it's actually extremely fascinating. They go into like the article actually goes into like when Trump changed like how he approached some of his campaign policies and which advisors told him to do so. And as somebody who was on the campaign, it was just a fascinating article. They talk about how Susan Wiles and some of these other like major players like Dan Scavia changed Trump's outlook on abortion to be like, okay, you know what, we need to be a little bit more moderate here, which I think what helped win him more of the suburban vote. It was just it was fascinating to just get that in-depth view of the campaign. There was also one jab that I found really funny, even as a conservative, that they threw in there. The article writer said, Donald Trump, looking much older than when we last saw him 6 months ago, walked out to me. And I'm like, okay, so you're just going, okay. So instead of saying anything of substance in that sentence, you attack him for being old. I mean, granted, we did that about Joe Biden, so that's why I laughed at it. I thought it was kind of funny, honestly. But I would recommend at least reading it, the online version. There's some, if you're interested in campaigning, there are some good things to pull out of that about how to campaign effectively. This campaign ran everything correctly.
The OGTLT says. Well, by the way, what does that stand for? Michael reads time, so I don't have to.
You don't want to know, probably.
For the T.
Yeah, you're good.
That's funny.
Yes.
So they were ragging on what he looks like. If I have the opportunity to bring up the fact that I met Trump, I'm gonna bring it up.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I brought him up. I met him. You guys can't see my screen.
Trump met a black person? Wow.
Oh wait, actually,
think
that's
that
a
was
great. No, show that again. That's really cool.
Are you being sarcastic? Or?
No,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
All the fucking sacrifices I made before you children
Also-
were even born, and then here I gotta watch you
Also-
and Danny talking with Trump, and Trump doesn't want to talk to me.
What's the Zoom?
That's great.
Okay.
That's incredible. That's so good.
Also, by the way, I
Wait,
just
I
want to
was gonna
say,
say he looks pretty good. He just looks really orange, and his teeth are really white.
I believe it.
There's one more thing I want to say about like the specific part. You might have like met Trump. I saw him at Butler. I saw the.
You
whole,
saw him almost
That is-
die.
you're gonna be like telling your grandkids that.
I
story,
will be
man.
telling my
here's the thing.
kids that
Danny
story.
did both. Danny did both. Crazy
Yes,
stuff. Danny
yes,
did both.
but I have the video of it to prove that I was there.
Oh, that's
at
crazy,
Butler.
that's crazy.
Hey,
He's a really
Pennsylvania
nice
has
guy.
been an incredibly weird place to be.
It has been
A
great.
1,000,000%.
This state's been great recently. I
Speaking
love
of,
this.
while we're just before I let this pass, and just thinking about all the things that happened during the election season here in Pennsylvania being a crazy place.
Yes, I'm aware.
What
of
was
Kratom.
that to that fucking Elon Musk guy that was here in town? If you're watching this right now, you owe me $500, buddy. You fucking made me sign up for some shit online. Said I was gonna get a check in the mail. I never did.
Oh,
So
I think
let me look in the camera.
what?
You fucking you owe me $500.
You talking about
Fucking, I
Dave?
know where you live.
Dave?
Fucking Dave, I'm coming for you.
Is it really
David,
him?
yeah.
Yeah,
Is there-
Dave made me sign up for some shit. Now I just gave all my
hold
data
up.
to Elon.
Wait,
No comments.
Mihai.
Yeah.
I got like 4 checks from that.
Yeah, you're probably supposed to give it to me, you fucking asshole.
No,
You got
no.
AMPAC checks?
Yeah, I got Ampex.
I didn't get
Oh, so
shit.
they actually paid people.
Yeah, they paid me.
I didn't get
They
I know
paid me
someone who
for
got
all
like
of mine.
$20,000 worth of signatures.
That's crazy, really?
Yeah.
Did they actually give him all of that money then?
Well, if they gave it to you, then maybe they gave it to him.
Good for that guy. Jeez.
I wish that was me. That's like a semester.
I got a nice little paycheck that day. I was like, fuck yeah,
It's only
Elon.
20,000.
It's 22.
Oh, semester.
How many people did he?
Semester.
How many
No
people did
comments.
he
In-
get to
oh, you're out of
sign?
state.
Wait, hold up. So okay, 40. So,
So-
22,000. Let's just.
No, Elon Musk like put aside like millions of dollars for this.
Well, yeah, I know.
already,
22,000 divided by 47. That's at least 468 people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
At
think it was
least
22,000, but it was like it was something
Jesus.
crazy. It was like over
That's
300
doable.
signatures.
500 people.
I mean, yeah, but I just couldn't imagine going up to all your friends. Like
Well, you don't need to.
$20,000.
Well,
you
you
don't.
just- you just
I
need to-
imagine it.
But
Well,
no.
I mean,
but
Danny and I definitely got more than fucking 500 people. Where's our $20,000?
Okay.
It was a bit. It was weird.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe.
That's all I'm saying.
maybe it's-
Anyway,
maybe
one
it's
more
still
thing
in the
about
mail.
that
Maybe
article
Sandy's
as
bringing
well.
it.
As somebody who likes photography,
You say
I
feet,
just
I'm sorry.
as someone
Look at what they did to my brain.
Freud was right.
as someone who loves the
You like
art of
licking urinals
photography.
and
No,
shit
don't do
too?
that. Don't do that. Don't do that. to him.
I like really
we were
respected
coming
these
full
last
circle.
2 articles that Times has released. The artistry of these photographs
you.
that were taken is just immaculate. Like these pictures are some of the greatest of all time.
They are good.
Like all of them are bangers. It was just it's great to see a good photograph because people don't usually take good photographs anymore. The art of photography has really died over the last 20 years, and this year
Well, I
there's
think
been a
smoking
renaissance.
indoors is not illegal anymore, and smoking indoors made like a bunch of photographs look really cool. That's my take, and I'm not pro smoking.
Look how cool we all
I'm not
look.
pro
I like
smoking.
that take,
I'm
actually.
not pro smoking.
That is
Have
actually
you guys
a
seen
decent take.
Athletic?
Oh my
Look
God!
at
Look,
my arm.
her arm got white.
My arm is white.
John.
is
the light.
wearing a black sleeve.
It's a light. It's
Can
just
you
the light.
explain to me, John, why the entire chat is talking about Kratom and what I'm missing here?
I don't know. Somebody just asked me if I've heard of
Inverse.
kratom, and I said, yeah, I've heard of it.
What's kratom? Somebody in the chat.
They sell it at every gas
It's
station,
a
but I don't
plant.
understand what the fuck it is.
It's a drug.
Yeah,
What?
it's a drug.
Oh, is it that stupid thing that people huff? That like
No, I think
that,
it's usually like
that
in
hood
pill-
thing.
in pills. It's like a
What-
capsule.
What was that hood thing?
You can
that
smoke
people-
it too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can smoke it.
What's that hood thing that people like do, and then after you do it once, you're dead, pretty much?
PCP.
Fentanyl?
PCP.
No,
Fentanyl.
the stuff from
Fentanyl?
the stuff from the fucking cans.
We're
It went
talking about Kratom,
Galaxy
Michael?
gas.
Yeah,
Sparkling water?
Whippets.
What the fuck
Huff-
is
huff.
what the fuck
Whip
is
it.
How
that?
you're huffing gas.
Sorry,
It's
some
huffing.
of us like the finest of homemade whipped cream.
It's huffing.
Whip it.
So what? You just
That's a
huff
great
straight
song.
what? Like what is?
Nitrous oxide.
and forth.
What the fuck? And these people
Nah.
just
Song.
die? Like they just pass
If
out.
you do too much, yeah, it'll kill you.
I heard that like if you do it once, you're dead.
Mitranga spisosa is a tropical evergreen tree of the Rubiaceae family, native to Southeast
Michael, you've
Asia.
never like been
It is
somewhere
indigenous
with
to Cambodia, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar,
John.
Papua New Guinea, and
I think I
its
know what you're
leaves are
saying.
known
You've
as
never been anywhere with like a
kratom.
lot of fumes and you start to feel lightheaded? It's just that.
Oh, so Bath and
Right
Body
now?
Works.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
When my mom,
Do you have any keyboard cleaner here? We could give it to him.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
no.
Yeah, compressed.
It'd be
air.
like Tally
He's
when
not
Tally's
wrong,
off the
though.
deep end.
Listen,
You guys wanna get high?
I will never do any like cocaine, mushrooms, like fentanyl, heroin, all that stuff is no.
I was talking to my
What are
dad
the
how there's a
S's?
hierarchy.
Well,
Well, I
one
was-
of them I can't say.
I was-
well, one of them in a few years will be fine again.
I was
But
talking
right now it's just
to-
nicotine.
I was talking to my dad about how there's like a hierarchy, and if you tell like a weed user that you thought they used cocaine, they get so like offended. Like, how could you think I use cocaine? If you talk to a cocaine user,
Yes.
how could you use? I think I use meth, and it's just like these people are nuts.
Everybody thinks I do cocaine.
BRB.
What the fuck?
So
Fuck?
Everybody thinks
We
I
have
do
one more
cocaine, but I
topic.
don't.
I didn't. Well, that's okay.
Jesus,
No,
I just
I
look
don't-
like that kind of
you
guy,
stood
apparently.
up like
I don't think
Jesus.
you do So quick thing,
Quick
Luigi.
thing.
I don't want to talk about Luigi, but
I got you, Jack. Don't
We're
worry.
back on Luigi.
No,
Oh,
the last
boy.
sentence I'll say. He did psychedelics. So I think
So
that's why-
that's it. Okay, that's
no,
it.
it's
Yep,
whatever.
There we go.
Whatever. He did psychedelics for his back pain.
What
and
do you think psychedelics do to you, Michael?
I think enough people
I do not
don't
trust.
talk about the bad things. That
I
happen
do
when
not
you take
trust myself on a drug like that, which is why I will never do it because my mind worries too much. So putting someone who worries on something that'll make you have an emotional and psychological breakdown is not a smart thing to do. So no, I will never. No. Never give me a mushroom ever because I will reject
psychedelics are
it.
pretty bad. But
Would you do DMT?
I assume that's another psychedelic syndrome.
Dimethyltryptamine?
I don't. Okay.
Licking
It is a psychedelic, yes.
urine
Okay,
off
no.
toilets in Disneyland
I
is the
wouldn't.
ultimate drug.
You
I will
get
not do it.
How do you
DMT.
know that?
DMT is like the chemical version of ayahuasca. You ever heard of ayahuasca? That's what Aaron Rodgers goes to the jungle to do.
Right.
So ayahuasca is a drink, but DMT is like the same component from a frog that they scrape on. They put on glass and they scrape it off.
Absolutely not. Oh, that's disgusting.
Okay, yeah. So you wouldn't do DMT.
No.
What if I told you your brain already contains DMT?
Don't he?
I believe you.
You remind. Have you heard of this guy called Forbidden Knowledge, Billy Carson? You sound like that guy.
Okay,
Yes,
that
No, it's true.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay, hold on.
No,
But let
no,
me
no,
finish
no,
my
no,
point.
no.
Let me finish my point. So the DMT is made in the pineal gland.
Okay.
And so the theory is that when you die, that your pineal gland releases all the DMT, and that is the visions you get when you die.
That's stupid. Okay. Anyway.
yes, moderation in moderation.
Okay.
So that's my answer to that.
If our body produces it, that's fine. But I'm not getting it from a frog. That's disgusting. You never feed me a frog.
I don't.
Mia, can you pull up on X, search on X for land shark and then ayahuasca?
What the?
I didn't want to talk about drugs.
No,
for too
it's
long.
literally like one of the greatest tweets ever made.
That's funny. Okay, I'm excited. I didn't want to talk about drugs for too long. I'm vehemently against mushrooms, but it is hard for me because there's a lot of conservatives and like people who come back from war, like vets or whatever, that really do think that it has helped them.
That's why I'm a major supporter of weed. I'm a major supporter of legalizing weed because I have seen the help it has done to my father.
Pedantic here is if we're talking about mushrooms, the drug in question is psilocybin, just like DMT.
Stop saying odd shit.
Look at this guy.
Like, look at this image.
Look at this guy. That was really good.
Look at this image right here. Look at that. That is such a solid photograph.
That was a hard segue.
What is this?
Hard segue.
Yeah, it's good.
Listen.
Trump
okay.
kissing the flag.
There you go. So Land Shark, who I think is private at all his tweets, he has some incredible tweets. Ayahuasca is insane because it appears to be one of the most legitimately dangerous drugs with the potential to gigafry your brain, but is exclusively taken by literal turbo normies who unironically want to, like, quote, heal internalized racism trauma and basically get one-shotted by it. Scroll down a little bit.
I can't.
It's a screenshot.
Yeah.
In the X window.
He said that's a screenshot.
I can't.
It's a screenshot.
I can do this, though.
There you go. Literally the most spiritually inept people in existence having their little lib brains rearranged by some Mesoamerican 6D demon who makes them quit their email job, divorce their boyfriend, girlfriend, and become a traveling circus stripper or whatever. And that is literally what happens.
I think it's like spiritual. I think it's
to
really
fucking
dangerous.
people who take... And he's making a point.
I agree. No,
pretty much the only people who go do that are like the last fucking people that should be doing it.
I agree, Kale. People who do like drugs like that are pathways to let things into you that you shouldn't. Just that, and then also like, for instance, playing with a Ouija board. As someone who thinks that ghosts and demons do exist, it doesn't matter if it works or not. Why would you mess with it if some people say it works?
Because I'm a Sagittarius.
Because it doesn't work, and I don't believe it. That's why I mess with it.
The funniest thing I used to tell my friends is I remember
you need to have
over
reverence
COVID
for it.
You want a little?
Wait,
you don't have to be afraid, but that doesn't mean you need to have the temptation
Ouija boards, though,
open.
when you're done? Because I got a story about Ouija boards. Go ahead.
As do I.
I wasn't even talking about Ouija boards, but sure.
No, you want to say? I was saying if you want to say your thing.
Yeah, I remember. I remember over COVID, all the girls on Instagram started to get into like angel numbers and stuff. So every girl had like a different kind of angel number in there.
The fuck is that?
What?
You don't know what that
any
is?
girl. Anyways, my point. No, not the point. Not the point I was gonna make. So they all had like 111 or 1111 or a 333, and they'd be like a guy is texting him at 333 on
Hey,
purpose.
could
and
I
they're
get
like,
a cider?
a guy would text him at 333 on purpose, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's a sign that the guy loves me or whatever."
Yeah, you gotta stay on top of that shit.
555. Yeah, you sound like someone who'd do that.
So why?
Wait. How come no
Fucking
one's
right.
angel number? How come no one's angel number was
40
666?
What's
No, that was the funniest thing. Everyone skips over 666.
What's in? I'm so
Oh, never mind. It was a
confused.
joke.
What's the woman angel number thing?
And
It's like
it's just
is this a Christian thing I don't know? Or is it, okay, I was going to say
no,
like
it's
what?
not a Christian. It's like what's your sign?
yeah, it's like a
Are
zodiac
you a
thing. It's
moon
like
rising?
I don't know any of them, but like 9 is like someone that's had like a lot of trauma, and 6 is someone's very social or like
Fuck.
No one has 666.
But yeah, whatever. Like 3
that's
is
the
someone's social.
devil's
Whatever.
number. That's my point.
Okay,
That's the
actually,
joke.
I kind of want to harp against that.
No,
I
it's
mean,
bad.
that
It's
number.
stupid.
Well, that number's stupid, but it's not necessarily related to the devil. It was,
666.
it was created by Nero after. Nero was the guy who because he killed Christians. I mean, I don't associate with it because it's still bad. But
Catholics also believe there's divinity in the number 3 and 666. Anything with a trinity in it is considered divine.
I'm pretty sure.
Happy Holy
666
Obligation
originates
Day to
at
Catholics.
I don't know if you know this, but 666 was originally 616, and it's just the gematria for Nero.
Yeah.
Emperor Nero.
That's what I was saying.
I guess my point though is girls do not have 666 as an
okay,
angel number.
but the whole point is the whole thing about like 666 being the devil. It's
Regardless,
really
it still is.
It's
It is still perceived today,
As-
regardless of how we
it's
got
the
here.
same
yeah.
thing. It's the same thing as the Nazi symbol. It's never going to go back to its original.
Yeah,
like,
it's not a Hindu
form.
peace symbol anymore.
Yeah, no. But it's still. Yeah.
Hit him, Jack.
And that's why we should buy
It
Canada.
depends.
Oh God.
It depends on.
Because
In the
Catholics,
devil's defense.
Oh, let's not go into
the KKK appropriated the look of the Catholic whatchamacallit.
Oh my
Well,
God.
the KKK and Catholics dress like that similarly, but they still dress it up as it regardless.
Well,
Do you guys know?
but like Catholics were like, I mean, not Catholics, KKK people in the KKK were like Protestant. Anyways, besides the point, whatever. That's a valid.
Do you mean bishops? Were you trying to say bishops or priests?
The KKK appropriated like the priestly wear of another culture, not necessarily like Catholics. I think Catholics like in Spain or something like that. But
yeah,
whatever.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's cool. That's cool, and that's why we should buy Canada.
Okay.
It's the hardest
Yeah,
segue you're
that's a-
ever
that's
going
a
to
good
hear in your
segue.
life.
That's a good
It's the
segue
hardest thing you're ever gonna
into
hear.
the last topic.
Oh no, I don't want this to end.
What's the wait? What we have another? Oh God.
Well, I mean,
So
just
this isn't-
so quickly.
this
Twitter,
isn't actually-
Twitter will end at 9. but
Twitter's
we can-
done.
It is.
Twitter's done.
It's 9 on the dot.
Yeah.
Or 9:01.
We can. The YouTube
Yeah.
can go as
I
long
need
as
to-
you guys want to go. So.
Yay.
Yeah, so this is not actually Justin Trudeau. It's a parody account, but the Truth Social post from Trump is real. It was a pleasure to
Oh, it's
have
a parody
dinner
account?
the other
That's
night
sad.
with Governor Justin Trudeau of the great state of Canada. I look forward to seeing the governor again soon so that we may continue our in-depth talks on tariffs and trade, the results of which will be truly spectacular for all. DJT. Yes, so he's trolling. He's trolling Justin Trudeau because in the recently he said that he's planning on adding Canada to the United States as a 51st state. And he's continuing to, he also has interest in annexing Canada because they're absolutely shit at governing their own borders because they keep on letting people in over and over again without properly vetting them. What do you guys think about this?
I think it's funny sentiment, but I don't. There's no part of me that ever actually want Canada as a 51st state because that's a lot of liberal,
So there's two-
liberal
You know what?
states and electoral college.
There's
Go ahead, Colin.
So I think there's a few things. It's like I don't know what I want, but I do know I have an idea of like what I would like to achieve. No, I don't know what I want to achieve, but I do know what I like or what I want. I think Canada. You know, I hear this voice that's being so loud in the other room. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's
a
like
ghost
it's like
voice on
Danny's back
speaker.
here speaking on speakerphone and yelling at us.
Don't do that to it. I don't think he'd do that while we're doing the show.
Well, I'll say this: I always liked Robin Williams' quote about Canada.
Which is
It's like living in a loft apartment above a really great party.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
Rest in peace.
so my take on this is similar to Mihai's.
Hold on, hold on, Jack. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah,
One thing I know.
I cut you off. Sorry.
No, you're right. Canada deserves to be conquered. Like that's where it comes from me. It's like Canada deserves to be conquered.
Yeah, at any other point in history, they would not exist.
Yeah, they deserve to be conquered, but I don't want a 51st state. So then how about we just like
Territory.
Take the good and leave the bad, but then how much good is there in the first place?
Oh, there's a lot. They have a lot of resources.
Other than just the justice of like
they
them
have
being.
a lot of
I'm
resources.
coming. Other than the justice of just them being conquered, but then again, like them as a people, I do not want them to have any say in anything that goes on in the United States.
Yeah.
But they have done something that's so incredible. They take all these immigrants from these conservative countries, or at least socially conservative countries, and then create the most liberal first generation children known to man. And I think that is something that America needs to learn from if we can do the opposite. Like all the I'm not being so serious. All the people who have come here illegally and
Dr.
have had
Tetanus
kids.
says we could take Canada for $333.
You should have made it.
Is that his angel number?
We could take
It should have been 666.
We could take them.
But my point is, if we could do the opposite, of what Canada is doing with the immigrants and people who come here legally and illegally, then I think we have.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Okay, there's another aspect.
Okay, no, Michael.
Saying that
I'll let Jack finish.
We gotta give Jack a crack.
So, while I agree we need to subjugate Canada, they do not deserve to be made into a state, as that is a reward.
Yes,
they
I
should
agree.
be treated no differently from a territory and not be allowed.
Puerto Rico, part 2.
1,000,000%.
They should also be forced to wear a red maple leaf at all times in public, so we can distinguish
because maple syrup is good.
Jack, they should have a red maple leaf on their jacket pocket right here.
Do you know that maple leaves do not represent Canada at all? And it's actually a very elitist logo.
Did you guys think that was a Holocaust
British,
joke?
right?
Yeah, is it really?
There is no maple trees west of Toronto, I believe it is.
Hey, since you're the
so
producer,
like a majority of Canada has no maple trees in it, but they use it as this elitist logo for the small part.
Pull up a full screen internet and Google Canadian Crown lands.
While we
I'll crack you up.
Okay, so for the Canada topic, I would want them as a territory because that gives us more access to the Arctic Ocean, so we can fight Russia up there for the oil, because there's a lot of oil up there that I want. So let's.
They can keep it.
Territory. No, I want that oil. Give us all the oil. America's oil, oil is half the reason why America is overseas constantly doing these stupid wars.
That's why I don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just need to have all the oil ourselves. Bang. There we go. That's also.
So you're just saying let's just win the wars. Okay. I don't know if you guys have
let's
seen.
just take Canada so we have all of the oil reserves ourselves.
This is mildly related. So Trump posted on his Instagram. Instagram's the only thing I'm on. So Trump posted on his Instagram like 20 hours ago.
I'm quirky. I'm Kale.
Did you guys? Whatever. Did you guys see the meme where he posted a picture of him and Jill Biden and was like, "Get someone who looks at you the way Jill looks at Trump."
Yep.
She's actively the first lady of the United States right now. And was like,
just quick. So the Canada has a lot of its land is the Crown lands, and do you know who owns the Crown lands of Canada?
Is it the royal
the Crown family?
The royal family of England.
Crown
fucking idiots.
Canada's not even really a nation.
Canada has a shit ton of land. It's by land.
It's beautiful.
One of the biggest countries.
It's the second biggest country on the face of the
majority of
earth.
that land, in my understanding, is called the Crown lands.
It's the biggest. Okay.
And nobody can. It's kind of like our state parks and national parks. Like the government took it over under the pretense of preserving that, but it's really just about controlling land.
No, it's okay. So Canada's the second. Canada's the second largest nation on the face of the planet, only behind Russia. Those Crown lands, some of that, the Canadian government has
Canada's
control.
Not bigger than the U.S.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Canada's bigger than China.
Canada's bigger than the U.S.
So is China.
No, China and the U.S.
China is bigger than the U.S.
No, because
okay, let's make a bet.
They can't.
Okay,
Bro,
let's make a bet.
Bro,
how much you want to bet?
$1.
Gentlemen, bet $1.
$1.
Sure. Because the fact of the matter is, depending on the resource you use, it's either going to say China or the U.S. That no research firm can decide which one's actually bigger.
Sure they can.
Back and forth.
Yeah, it's actually pretty simple.
No, National Geography has said both. We are virtually tied. for third.
No,
and
we're not
fourth
virtually
place.
tied.
Yes, we are. I
Nope,
can find
we
you
are not.
different sources that say
3.705 million
Christ
miles
almighty,
square.
I know what I'm fucking talking about. Don't do this to me because I will prove you wrong.
I'm proving you wrong right now as we speak, actually. 3.8. Oh, wow, would you look at that?
Oh, U.S. is bigger.
Nah, what's it? 3.5 of land. They
No,
both,
you cannot
the
include
problem,
the water.
yeah, that's the
can't
true
include the
problem. Is
water.
Put up
United States.
which is bigger land area, U.S. or China. Let's see what it says.
ChatGPT, please
And
tell
if
me.
Google sucks, then yeah,
I
let's
should
do.
use ChatGPT.
Then it
See,
says
okay,
Facebook
by
is the largest
total
by-
area in square miles, the U.S. is third, but with China fourth. It'd be total area in kilometers or the other logistics that are used, like with oceanography boundaries. China's third.
We cannot count
so
water. No, we cannot count water.
It's depending on what you use.
We can't. I just don't.
Okay,
believe
well,
it.
according to theglobalist.com, which is hilarious.
Britannica.com.
I'm on the globalist.
Guys.
China has 9.3.
Oh look!
What happened, Jack?
Look!
Guys, really quick.
What does it say right here on Wikipedia? On the
Oh, yes, we
third,
have Wikipedia.
Water.
third and fourth. No, look, they have the U.S. and
That
China.
includes water. Wait, Jack.
tied
Jack,
third
what are you
and
saying?
fourth.
What are you saying, Jack? What are you saying, Jack?
Guys, I have to leave.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
say thanks for having me on. Yeah, I gotta get going. Thanks
Happy
for
birthday,
my
Jack. We love you.
Hey,
love you, Jack.
take it easy,
Happy
Jack.
birthday,
Happy
Jack.
birthday.
Happy birthday, G.
All right.
Many candles and blessings.
All right. Have a good night.
What?
That was kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, that's on the on your ultra wide screen. Just close Zoom. Just end meeting.
Canada is a grower.
So the reason China has more land, though, is because China is, as we speak, building more
Google.
islands.
Oh, okay, so Google AI
even
just
mean?
apparently said, according to one of the chatters, the U.S. is slightly larger than China when including total area of land and water, but China is larger in terms of land area alone. Okay,
So what does that mean?
So that's the opposite of what Britannica just said.
And say sorry.
Then the globalist
No.
says that China has a land area of 9.3 million square
Am I
kilometers.
wrong?
And
though?
the U.S.
Because
has a land area of 9.1 million square kilometers.
That's the same thing. China has more land, but when you count water, the U.S. is bigger. They're both saying the same thing.
Yeah, I just
Yes.
don't believe in water. I mean,
But
come on.
China has more land.
Even water is a concept. I don't believe in water.
Is it wet?
Is it wet?
Right. See, but like this is one podcast where that just wouldn't work. We'd all like explode and kill. And,
I would.
and kill each other in Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
I just want to make the point, the obvious point of when Google says one thing and
Alternate
another,
facts.
these sources are not necessarily wrong, but there's certainly a method in 2024 for an accurate calculation of land area.
Oh, I absolutely think so.
Sounds
And
like
I think
China's
that
winning it.
I would like to do an actual like land area competition between the two and have someone do an actual.
You want to
map.
go get our survey equipment and go you and me?
I would.
All right,
I
let's
would
just set up a
actually-
photographer
I would-
station over in
I
the
would
corner.
love that. I am not a math guy myself, but I will watch somebody else do that, and I will see their math, and I'll be like, okay, good. I trust
Send
you.
me. Choose me.
Oh, the black woman. We'll do the
That's a good
DEI pick.
reference. Whatever you say.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't really know what else to say
What
now.
was
I
that?
was doing the wow guy.
Oh.
Okay. As
You guys
hide.
are too young to know who that even is.
Russia is getting
Cut
bigger.
it out.
I just want you to stop saying odd
You
shit.
should have played that like 30 more times today. We need different versions of that.
You got to do the Billy Madison one where he's like, "What you've just
Brazil's
said."
number 5, by the way.
What you just
There you
said
go.
is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent
Now that I know this is
response
here.
are you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Whose voice is that?
Everyone in this room
From Billy
Yeah,
Madison.
is now
Is
dumber
that Adam Sandler?
for having listened
No.
to it.
Oh. It's on the other
I
side.
award you no points,
I already know.
May
what-
God
and
have
may
mercy.
God have mercy,
Mercy on
on
your
your soul.
Okay.
It's one of the best lines in fucking. It's in Billy Madison of all things.
Wait,
Billy Madison's a great movie. I think that's his best
Honestly,
movie.
It's that or Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, it's honestly those two, but I think it's. I mean, there's a reason the production company's called what?
One of the fucking
Happy
hardest
Madison,
times
whatever.
I've ever laughed in my life is in Happy Gilmore at the beginning when he goes to the batting cage.
Yeah, it's like 364 days till her
Well,
next
it's
hockey
all-
tryout.
It's all him taking
Also,
but the funniest
Carl A.
fucking part is when Carl Weathers shows up and he leaves, and in the background, that kid comes back in and tries to do it.
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace, Carl
You barely
Weathers.
even notice it, but when he starts talking to Carl Weathers, like the camera's focused on him and everything, and in the background you barely notice it. The kid just gets fucking crushed by a fucking fastball in the batting cage.
Wait, what were you gonna say?
Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Well, but
Apollo Creed.
What I was going, no,
You
from
mean
Star
Apollo?
Wars. No, Star Wars. That's where I know him from.
What was it? You mean Dylan?
So
From Predator?
So, what I was going to say, Kale, was the reason why I care so much about the USA-China thing is because China is our biggest rival.
Are you whispering
So
in the
we
mic?
need-
Yeah, why are you?
So we
is
need
Xi
to-
Jinping listening?
So we need to make sure that we are dominant three, which is why I support. Which is why I support taking over
Canada.
Just for the territory expansion. So we are officially probably number one in that case. We beat Russia. Hell yeah.
Unless,
Frick you.
so the only thing is we'd have to sign into law that Canadians cannot become Americans.
Perfect.
Like never.
Good.
I'm okay, and they could take that.
Yeah.
Whatever they
I
want
just
to
want that.
We should come up with some sort of compromise where they're not like a full human, but not like not yeah. 3/5 would be good.
No,
Yeah,
the
it's
one-sixth.
like-
I think 3/5.
They're not quite 3/4.
I would compromise on 3/5.
The 1/6. Remember from a couple weeks ago, the 1/6. Please.
1/6 what?
At our meeting a couple weeks ago.
What'd you get?
Remember January 6th was spelled as 1/6.
Oh yeah. I was wondering where I heard this joke from. Right? Yes. The Canadians should be 1/6 of a human being.
All right, I want you guys to
I
watch
mean,
this video.
1/6 American
I'm gonna make you watch this video.
Wait, what video?
Oh God. No, is this how we're gonna?
Wait. Are we watching the whole thing? Please show us.
Resulted, as a matter of fact, in Brown assaulting his wife with a lead pipe and firing a gun at a car that she was in. These are charges that Brown denies. He was released yesterday on $15,000 bond. He joins us from Atlanta to discuss the charges, and we welcome you, James Brown. How did all of this trouble begin?
Living in America.
I've seen this.
There's nothing wrong.
I feel good.
Nothing wrong at all. You're not in any difficulty, but you're out on bond.
No, I'm not.
I love the way the TV looks.
Have all the charges been dropped?
Yeah, I'm out on love.
Well, are you out on love or out of love? Which is it?
Out on love. Alone from night to night, you find me.
Now, James, this isn't the first time you and your wife have had a problem. Are the two of you going to be able to work this out?
Let's talk about some music.
You want to talk about music, and you don't want to talk about what happened?
No, it's all over.
Well, let's talk about your tour. When are you leaving?
We're leaving tomorrow.
And where are you going?
Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Now, your fans will have read all about this, James. Aren't you concerned about that?
No, Dankeschön. I'm concerned because there's nothing wrong.
And what are you going to say to your fans when they ask you some questions about it?
I'm going to say I feel good. Papa's got a brand new bag. It's a man's world.
Well, that's the second time we've heard that in 2 days. That's very interesting. Now, don't leave us, James. You stay right there.
I'm
We
not
have
gonna leave.
more
I
that we
wanna
have
do
to talk about. Well, tell us a little bit about what you're going to be
Hello,
doing
Ted.
on this tour.
What'd you say?
What are you going to be doing on this tour?
I'm going to be
Where are
doing
you-
Papa's got a brand new bag, living in America. Sex machine, get up off of that thing. I feel good. Jam.
Was he the guy that?
Now, I understand that you have already... James, I have to ask you one serious question here. I understand you already have started divorce proceedings. Does that mean that you're now eligible?
Yes, I'm singing. I want to mingle.
You want to mingle.
Yeah.
Now, the women love you when you get out there. Why do you think that is?
What'd you say?
The women love you when you get out there.
Why is that, ladies?
Well, I'm asking you.
Huh? Because
Why
I
do you
look
think
good.
that is? You
I
look
smell
good.
good. I
Yes.
feel good.
You sweaty.
And you sing good.
And make love good.
Oh. Well, there we are. We don't have to ask anybody else. We got that from the source. There you are. Now, you're involved in publishing a gospel magazine. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Second Coming. It's out of Augusta, Georgia, it's Anchor. Joseph P. Young is the editor, and James Brown is one of the advisors. And we're doing a fantastic job. The Second Coming. It features, on this week, I think we have the Pope and I believe the Williams brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And next week we're going to have Reverend Al Sharpton, I think, on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be doing a lot of good things, and hopefully we'll get Brother Ted Turner on the cover. Ted, where you at?
James, we want to thank you for being with us today
Wait
and
a
giving
minute,
us an
I just got
opportunity.
here.
Oh, is there something more you want to say that we haven't covered?
Yeah, I want to say a lot of things.
Okay,
I
go
love
ahead.
You. I love America. I love everybody.
Well,
I feel good.
It sounds to me as though you're not troubled by any of this at all.
This is a man's world.
Thanks for reminding us of that. Every once in a while, we forget.
Get up
But
off
we've
of that
remembered again. James, good luck on your tour. Thanks for being with us. I guess we're going to hear lots more.
Hasta luego.
The funniest part of that video is the title. Is this James Brown's strangest interview? As if there's more options.
I believe it.
James Brown walked so Kanye could run. If James Brown was around in today's age with the internet, he would be Kanye.
Since we've totally fucked our copyright infringement,
I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right, man.
Are you still gonna be here?
It seems like it.
Wait, this is copyrighted? Even though this is like a CNN interview?
No, it wasn't from this. It was from an earlier one. But you might as well play Tales from the Tour Bus, one of those James Brown ones, since we're hanging out.
This is fun.
The Bootsy Collins
So
one.
here's my thing. How did women fall for people like James? He was just sweaty all the time. It wasn't even like he was more handsome when he was younger.
Man could sing, though.
Before you play it, I'll ask you this, Jen. My theory is dudes that act like that are demonstrating some sort of total independence from any sort of authority structure, which sort of prevents them as the authority. Like, a dude that just doesn't give a fuck is wildly attractive to women.
But I don't know if he was like that when women started liking him first. He became popular, and I think if someone's
Well, he was
popular,
an
people
extremely
like,
talented singer. I mean, he's a great singer.
yeah. I just
But
think women like people who are popular.
Yeah, to a degree, yes.
Like if you're a celebrity singer, even if you look kind of
that
crazy.
raises the question of like, well, why are they pop? Like, you know, yeah, I agree. Women like men. I think the word is status.
Okay, that's a valid take.
So men tend to like women that are attractive, regardless of their status, and women tend to like. So men like physical attraction, and women like status, but both of those tend to be indicators of genetic fitness.
Okay.
So high status men will give you good offspring. This is all happening subconsciously.
Okay. Even though he's so sweaty with his perm, he's sweaty all the time.
I just think it's one thing to sit here in 2024 and look at him. It's another. It's another thing that to imagine that you're in a theater or room or stadium or something with 20,000 people in it, and he's the most important guy. You tell me. I'm not a woman, but it seems like women are very attracted to that sort of thing. You put a bunch of women in a building with 20,000 people in it. The hottest guy is the one that everybody's paying attention to.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is.
Which one did you want,
valid
John?
take.
Huh?
Which Tales from the Tour Bus? Orange Sunshine?
One about James Brown. Yeah, that's a good one, I think.
Gotta get an ad block or something.
We should just get YouTube Premium, but
No, I just muted before I.
We can do that. You want to get a premium? I just saw the YouTube TV account we have went up to like $100 a fucking month.
Did
so
it?
We might have to rethink that.
Absolutely not.
just cancel when it's not football season, honestly.
It's not a bad idea. Although we have this incredible Penn State home game coming, which is hilarious.
Are you guys going to that?
I'm
I
not.
tried to get
Fuck no,
tickets.
I'm
I was gonna, but it's not worth
$200
$500 for 2 tickets.
You guys want to watch it here?
Yeah, I'm staying an extra day just to do that.
I don't know. I might tailgate still, but possibly.
Oh, we could you could tailgate and then watch the game.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this one.
Frankie, myself, Chicken, Chopper. What we would do was we would crush up 2 or 3 Orange Sunshine and put it in whatever we're drinking, and we would pass them around, you know.
Orange Sunshine was the name of maybe the most popular version of LSD known to man.
And so, you know, we back there getting high, and next thing you know, out of the clear blue, James Brown comes over to join us. And, you know, James' whole thing was no drugs. He had fired people for getting high and stuff. So he comes over and he says, "Hit me." And it's like, "Nah," I said, you don't want none of this. And he's like, give it. So I'm saying to myself, do I give it to him? Yeah, give it to him. So he starts just going at it. He's drinking. and he ain't giving it back, and ain't nobody saying stop. And we just standing there amazed. So when he gets finished, we go in to play the set. And James didn't know it at the time, but he was tripping out of his freaking mind.
He was smiling like a chess cat, for real, you know. It got him.
He did some way out dance. Then he did this new thing called the moon. He stood like this for about 15 minutes. And we were trying to figure out what the heck is he doing? He wasn't doing nothing but this, you know? And then he would do his head like this. And he told us it was the cool new dance. When that gig finished, James called us back to the dressing room and he told me, son, y'all ain't on it. Don't have it. Y'all just ain't killing me. And we looking at each other like, this motherfucker is crazy. When he would go off into his James Brown tantrums, we would start falling on the floor. That shit was funny. He tried to bring in these rules, and the rules just didn't work on us.
I never forget, it was Dallas, Texas. We were playing a show, and we obliviated. You know, we crazy, man, so out of our minds. And that night, we just lost it.
All I remember from that night is that the net on my bass turned into a snake. And I looked at it, and it looked back at me. And I threw it down and ran.
I looked back at James, and he just shook his head. You know, he was just done.
James found me backstage, and he comes in, and he's angry, and I'm still tripping. So I'm looking at him, and he's talking. David, I can't believe you got off the stage. And his face begins to look like it is turning purple and look like volcanic, lava spewing out his face, his forehead, his hair is fire. And then he just said, y'all fired. Jojo, come here and get this fool out of here. They picked me up off the floor, threw us all out. That was it.
That reminds me of the country version that you showed me, where it's like these cartoon things.
I was about to say Tales from the Tour Bus was produced by Mike Judge, who's you know King of the Hill, but Idiocracy and Beavis and Butthead and all that.
Oh, okay, the style of things.
All right, now I got to tell you got to go out and catch this turtle, and you cut him out of the shell. Now he might still be alive, but if he don't, you cut his head off, take his guts out. He's still got skin on his tail because that's how they have sex. A
With
male
their
turtle.
tail?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
A male turtle has got a dick in his tail, and a female turtle's got a pussy in her tail. And he
Seems
gets up.
like you know an awful lot
Oh,
about
well, listen, I'm
turtles.
here. I have fucked every kind of animal, woman there is, but a turtle, and I tried.
I never had turtle soup, but Johnny apparently considers this to be the third and final insult and erupts. Gun is fired. It hit Larry Wise right in the forehead. Thankfully, he was hard-headed and kind of went around it and it came out scalp, and it goes through the hat. The hat flips off onto the floor, and he started bleeding.
It just barely went under his scalp. You know, wasn't nothing serious.
Wise, fearing for his life, runs out the door. According to one of the witnesses, he was booking it down South High Street. Johnny, for reasons that no one knows, scoops up Larry's hat, the Jack Daniels hat, runs out the door with the gun, yells at Larry.
Come back, Larry. Said I won't shoot you no more.
Johnny gets in his car and takes off. During that time, he looked over and he saw the gun. He threw it out the window. Drives back to Larry Adams' house. Well, the hat is found when the police search his car with an incriminating bullet hole in it, sitting there on the seat. Paycheck claimed he didn't know how it got there. and the police went in and made the arrest.
Paycheck needed money fast. Through his buddies in the Hells Angels, he contacted Ralph Buss to raise the $50,000 bail.
I personally called Johnny Cash, and he answered the phone as House of Cash. And I said, Mr. Cash, I represent Johnny Paycheck. He says the House of Cash is a misnomer. Then we contacted Jerry Lee Lewis, who actually did a fundraiser for Paycheck. We got a check ultimately for $1,400.
Somehow, between Merle Haggard and some of his other Nashville cronies, Paycheck made bail and was finally released from county jail.
On New Year's Eve, there's a party going on at the Sunnyside Bar, which is about 5-6 miles west of Hillsboro. There's about 200 people in this bar. Paycheck shows up there.
He walked in there and he had a T-shirt on that said, "Kill them all." As he's coming up on stage there and putting the guitar on, some smart aleck out there in the crowd went and busted one of the balloons. 200 people dove under the tables. And somebody asked him, said, "John, said, why did you shoot that guy in Hillsboro last week?" He said, "Because the son of a bitch had it coming, that's why." And every one of those people that heard that showed up in court and testified against him.
The trial was like a three-ring circus. There was a TV camera, there was a photographer, there are reporters from newspapers from all over Ohio, and amid all that, there were some groupies. You wouldn't describe them as hot except that the weather was warm. The judge presiding had one arm. He had lost his left arm in a farm accident. The judge also had a tendency sometimes to get headaches. He was sensitive to light.
He was very, very concerned about sunlight coming into the courtroom.
So he would quite often, on the bench, wear sunglasses.
2 pairs of sunglasses.
Either prescription or he'd have a clip-on. And sometimes he'd put on both of them. Well, Johnny Paycheck walked into the courtroom. He really didn't make any effort to try to clean himself up for the trial.
His clothes didn't look good.
His hair was long and I would describe it as scraggly. He had a beard.
And it was much too large. It wasn't trimmed. He looked dangerous or close to psychotic. He had a curious resemblance almost to Charles Manson.
That's just the first one I saw that pulled up.
That's a great. We should do a whole show on just Tales from the Tour
just
Bus.
breaking it down. It's an unreal show. I don't know how he hasn't made more of those. I feel like they blew up after. Like, I don't know when they came out, but I never heard anyone talk about them until like recently.
I've been watching this for a while. Wait, go back to that real quick. What year did they post that?
That was posted a year ago, but that's just some random guy posted
it. Double sunglasses.
Yeah.
Well, Michael said he was going to be back in a minute, and I don't see him.
Jack sent something to our group chat. Well, I don't know if this is a surprise, though. Diddy is now facing explosive rape allegations from 3 men detailed in separate lawsuits. Was he not facing rape allegations from men already?
Yeah, he was. It's a whole Epstein thing all over again. It's getting cold in here, isn't it?
I'm okay. I feel like we have to create a bingo card for Ciderhouse, and the free space is that.
How many people are still watching?
My mom. She's not watching.
What's it say in OBS on the left side dock?
Concurrent?
Yeah.
57.
Guys, go to sleep. No, I'm kidding.
Might as well keep going.
No, I'm kidding. So for the chat should help us create a Ciderhouse bingo card. The free space can be John blames it on a international pedophilic.
I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Here, hold on, John. Wait 2 seconds before you leave.
What's happening?
This is the one I thought I was playing.
And then he would just totally. He was hell bent on self-destruction.
He had a 5-year cycle.
Yeah, he had about 4 of those.
Yeah, and he was clean cut, and don't take her, she's all I got. He just as tame as and doing everything like a businessman, and then all of a sudden he put that hat on. I thought, okay, the 5 years is up, I'm going home. We was in Canada, and Paycheck got drunk and rowdy in the hotel there. So the hotel people called the police on him. They come down, they hauled him off. Anyhow, went down to get him out the next morning and had to pay the fine. Paycheck didn't even have a shirt on. I had to go to court without a shirt. I mean, it's in Canada, and that little deal there where they all have to get up and all hail the Queen, something like that. Paycheck went, the Queen.
I think Johnny Paycheck was the real deal when it came down to being a gangster.
John Paycheck.
He could have been a Crip.
He could have been a Crip.
Very easily.
We just did things the way we wanted to. And somebody didn't like it, we'd tell them where to kiss it.
Johnny didn't take no shit.
In October of 1976, Johnny released what many consider to be the quintessential outlaw country record, 11 Months and 29 Days. This was a reference to the length of his latest stint in prison for check fraud. This charge earned him a new nickname, Johnny Bad Check. A psychiatrist might be.
He actually is one of the few people. So, like Toby Keith, I don't know if you've heard the song "Don't Let the Old Man In."
Yeah.
That's like he wrote his own death song. Johnny Paycheck kind of started that. He's like the OG that wrote his own song for his death. It's called "The Old Violin," and the chorus goes, "Tonight I feel like an old violin, soon to be put away and never played again."
But he died old.
He did die old, yeah.
Good for him.
Let's see how old Johnny Paycheck lived to. You ever heard the song "Take This Job and Shove It"?
I don't know.
Take this job and shove it.
Well,
I ain't working here no more.
There's a time when we were both here. You play a lot of songs. I don't know if you played that one though.
Born 1938, died 2003. So it's pretty solid life.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid. I was like 1 year old. 1 year old.
I was freshly 3
years old. Merle Haggard, If We Make It Through December, one of the best Christmas songs ever. But I like Alan Jackson's version better, if anyone cared. Do you know who Skip Ewing is?
No, I don't.
What?
Skip Ewing?
Yeah.
Like Patrick Ewing?
Yeah. He had a pretty good song. Whereas like Christmas Carol, that's a really good song too.
Never heard of this guy.
Yeah, you just don't know your country.
I guess so.
Yeah, but he was like older though. Like he had a mullet. Anyways.
What are we talking about?
Christmas country music. The best kind.
What's the best Christmas country song?
Oh, there's so many though. If We Make It Through December, Alan Jackson's version is probably my favorite.
That's wild. I would say
I saw George Strait in concert.
Stop, no way. Christmas Cookies, George Strait.
San Antonio.
You know, in Texas, there's 3 important people.
Go on.
Fucking, I forget the quote, but it's...
I was wondering. I was like, that's a dramatic
George
pause.
Strait, God, and...
George Strait.
J.B. Mooney, maybe. I don't know.
George Strait in Texas, that's not a joke. He is Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He deserves it. He's pretty up there.
If you don't know, anybody's still watching. So you have country. If you live in Texas, there's genres of music. There's country and there's Texas country.
Yeah, like Texas country radio is totally different than the rest of the country.
And it's like 2 different crowds.
Like Aaron Watson is a really popular...
Dude, you know Aaron Watson?
Oh, yeah, Aaron Watson's the man.
So Aaron Watson was a great friend of a guy whose wedding I went to down there.
Really?
And Aaron Watson, as a favor, played the wedding
No
for his
shit.
buddy.
Did he play Going Out of Style? Never going out of style.
The one song I remember was "Shut Up and Dance."
popular.
That was the one all the girls were going crazy over. But here's the funny part. So because he was friends with this guy, and I was at this wedding, so it was obviously family. I went to the house where their band stored all their instruments. So I've played Aaron Watson's guitar. I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
It's sitting there in this case that says Aaron Watson. I said, I think I should play that guitar. Everybody goes, don't fucking do that. And so guess what I did? I said, okay. And then I just fucking pulled it out.
That's awesome.
And played it anyway.
No,
but he was pretty good. I won't lie.
No, he's a good. I mean, I haven't met him like you have, but he seems like a cool guy.
There's a famous bar in Houston called Big Texas, which is like not that big of a bar, but it gets all these really big acts, and so we saw him there too.
Nice.
He just sort of like made his own way within only Texas, and Texas is such a big place. It's
huge in Texas.
Huge, but not known anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly like that. That's fucking hilarious that you know who he is.
No, I do like a lot of his music, but he's like in the first person
So
I thought
I
of when
got
he said
a
that.
picture with him somewhere.
Nice.
That's funny.
I didn't know you listened to country. That just blows my mind.
John?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't.
He
I hate
fucking
country.
hates country.
It was hilarious because we're sitting there at this wedding and like people were going fucking crazy because it's Aaron Watson was like huge in tech. I didn't know who the fuck he was. Everybody's like all these fucking and you know there's all the relatives, the younger high school, college girls and stuff. And they're like Aaron Watson, fuck. So everybody's going drooling all over him. And then here's me. They all called me the Yankee, right? The Northeastern guy. So that's literally I sat. You could tell that I didn't fit in with the Texas people just by the way I talked. And so yeah, I think he was kind of dumbfounded by me because everybody was sucking his dick, and he was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, I don't know who you are, man. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. Like I'm not being one of those guys. But like I've never heard of you. I don't know your songs. Like, you seem like a nice dude, but, like, I'm not going to blow you.
I don't know if you get this reference. He's like the Wattpad girl at a concert. It's like...
Wait, you know who Aaron Watson is?
No.
Oh.
I know of his songs. Skunk 12, David Allen Coe.
I was drunk.
You never even call me by my name.
Day my mom.
Yeah, so I had this, like, whole experience with this guy, and I had no idea who he was. I mean, we hung out with, we had dinner with him, everything. Like,
That's like a Hallmark movie, then you guys fall in love. If you're a girl.
No, I'm not like bragging. I'm just saying I thought it's one of those funny. It's like you meet some fucking super celebrity and you're the guy who doesn't know, and so they kind of like get attracted to you because they think it's weird.
That was the you don't get the Wattpad thing, but
okay.
it's like this trope where it's like a girl at a concert and she's like reading a book during a concert, and then the musician loves that because she's like not paying attention.
Yeah, that was
to
me, but I was a dude and I genuinely didn't care. He's like 5'8", like I'm like fucking a foot taller than him.
I don't know why I thought he'd be taller than that.
No, like I just tower over him, in my opinion, humbly, better looking, like whatever. I just like was in. I just had zero fear and was not impressed by him.
In the same sort of way James Brown's good looking.
Like James Brown.
Wait, James Brown was sweaty.
No, but
he was always
without
sweaty.
even knowing who he was, but knowing from the context that he was really. You know
what I mean? That you see that video?
It fucking bothered him. Like it bothered him that I wasn't all about him, and I remember that for the rest of my life because I was like, what's happening right now?
Dang, if you were a girl, he would have like definitely wanted you.
No, I know.
How long do I have to keep John Prine up on the screen before you acknowledge him?
Oh,
I don't know who John Prine
I also
is.
saw John Prine live, and it was incredible. I was in Harrisburg.
John Prine's a man.
One of
Rest
the
in peace.
Incredible songwriter.
Yeah, he's not a singer. He's a songwriter. You just got to keep that in mind.
He was really good live, like really good.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Wow, I can't imagine you like.
It's wild to me that
listening to
this
country.
guy though, like,
John Prine's not really.
Is this guy?
I wouldn't call him country.
Folk, bluegrass. What is it?
I would definitely call him country.
You would call John Prine country?
Look at that hair. Look at that hair. Wow.
I don't know that country would have called him country at the time, but I think by today's standards, he's definitely country.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was good live.
Speaking of live,
Should we just wrap this thing up now, or what are we doing here?
well, I just found out that Zach Top is going to two places that I could go for his concerts, and they're
Where?
both sold out. One's in
Yeah,
Maryland.
I think that's a yes. We should wrap this up.
One's in Maryland, and the other one's in Philly. And
Nah, Zach Top's the man.
they're both sold out. I almost cried this morning. Anyways,
Is he playing arenas yet, or what's he?
well, he's playing at the Fillmore, which is really close to me, and then he's playing in Philly. But I would rather go to a concert in Maryland than in Philly. But they're both sold out because everyone loves him and his mustache so much.
You should pull up the chat. We should say goodbye to the chat before we go.
Yeah, I get it.
Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose. What? Where did the chat
It's a
go?
John Prine song. It's a John Prine song.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was like, how did
Sam
we get
Stone came home
Vietnam song
to his wife and family.
There's the famous
after serving in
the hook is there's a hole in Daddy's
Beyonce's
arm
not
where all the
country.
money goes.
Beyonce's
and the
not
gold rolled through his
So if
veins.
you guys kind of
like a
enjoy
thousand railroad trains.
Pretty good, buddy.
And ease his mind in the hours that he chose.
If you kind of enjoy this, you should
While
subscribe to the
kids
Cider
ran
House YouTube
around
channel.
wearing other
So we can have
people's
60
clothes. Yeah, so it can take me another 5 minutes to find the chat button.
Worth mentioning, so we're transitioning Ciderhouse to its own channel. Thank you for everybody who's joined us and is still with us, but it'll stay on my channel for as long as it needs to, but it's also being simultaneously recast. It's on YouTube at Ciderhouse Podcast. On X, it's at Ciderhouse Show. But we're going to let these young kids launch their own channel. Hopefully you caught the breaking news video from the other day, but we're gonna be moving back on this particular channel back to actual John Ward stuff, which I know you guys are all a fan of. Did we turn the heat back on? Apparently, or it actually dropped below the setting, didn't it? Yeah, it's getting cold in here. So it's like 9:30 something right now, right? Or 9:40?
9:43.
So we've gone almost double the length of the show. But anyway, I do just want to make a point for the chat. So Ciderhouse has its own YouTube channel. We'll get an Instagram set up. We'll get all that stuff set up. But
I think there's an Instagram that doesn't follow me back.
I think the only one person has the password to the Instagram account.
I also could probably get it from that person.
Like I'm not an IGer. I'm not an Instagrammer.
We
so
know.
If one of you guys, I know.
You're not putting that up on the gram. I mean,
guys-
I send him things on Instagram, but he doesn't respond for like
Well,
2
he never
weeks.
followed me back on Instagram.
If somebody wants to take that over, we can get that booted back up. But yeah, so Ciderhouse is going to become its own thing. It's part of the whole launch of Studio Center here that we've just opened up. Ciderhouse, the idea was always to get a recurring crew of college kids, and you're all graduating in a year or two or something like that. And so anyway, give it a follow if you enjoy it. If you're still here, I don't think I put it in the link in the description, but I'll get it out there. But anyway, you can go on YouTube. It's all one word, at Ciderhouse Podcast.
Dutch, how fucking old are you that you went and watched Earl Scruggs live? God damn, holy shit.
But anyway, just to finish that thought. So this show is not, as you can tell, strictly political. It's more cultural. And so I very much appreciate you guys. Mihaly is now very adequate at running it.
Somewhat. So there's a couple things that threw me off today. You guys switched chairs, so that's why I kept going to her every time I meant to go to you, because it was just like wired in my brain that this button was John and that was her.
I sat here last week though.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I think she did actually. I think
because you guys stopped me from sitting there.
You're bullshit complaining. Kale, you had a number of comments that people are ready to see you on your own
now
show.
Anyways.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
You had a number of comments on people are ready to see you on your own show.
Stop. No way. My ego.
John, I can't hit the stream.
So the reason I moved your mic earlier is because
it's taking me out of focus.
Yeah, it fucks with the camera's focus because it's right in front of your face.
Wait, did I do a good job of talking louder?
I think you did, honestly.
Yeah.
John, nothing's working.
Thanks. Thank you.
Huh?
Thank you.
Nothing's working. What? It's frozen?
Yes.
Well, this is my sign. We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Can't even do it live though. Everything's.
All right, I'm gonna go help Mihaly shut down the show. Can you click in OBS to switch scenes?
It's just a wheel.
What a hilarious way to end it all.
Ciderhouse being once a week, I'm not against, but it's like there's
I think
so
the
much
board
stuff
just
to talk
died,
about.
and now it's just a spinning wheel.
When something's
I'm coming over.
When something's once a week, it's like we have like a million things to talk about. I'm not saying we should make it more than once a week, but still.
That's what you need your own show for, Father.
What am I gonna talk about, guys? I don't know what I want to talk about. I like hanging out with my friends, though. I don't want to talk about myself. I want to consistently slam dunk on Michael. And
say goodbay.
Goodbye,
everybody. Thanks for joining.
Goodbye. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. I like to go. I cannot tell a lie. Goodbye. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Adieu. 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 To you and you and you.